Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of Timcast IRL. Tonight is Joe Biden's State of the Union address, and we had a great super chat from someone. They said, bless the speechwriters for Joe Biden, because what are they going to have him say? It has been an awfully brutal year. We've had more COVID deaths in the past year than the year before under Trump. Inflation is consistently breaking records. We now have a new war, one of the most significant and serious wars breaking out in Europe. So I guess Joe Biden will do his best to keep morale up. I don't want to be such a downer and be like, all Joe Biden can do is depress everybody. Maybe we'll see him pull it through. But that's going to be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we will be talking about news, a lot of crazy stories. Belarus has told NATO that they're pushing Russia towards World War III. But get this, they've also voted on a resolution, passed. Now they are no longer a nuclear neutral country. They are now a nuclear country, nuclear state, whatever you want to say, however you call it. They are allowing Russia to stage nuclear weapons in Belarus. Ukraine has already accused Belarus of invading from the north. The U.S. says, well, we haven't seen any proof of that. But regardless, it seems like things are absolutely getting really, really crazy. So here's what we're going to do. We've got a bunch of people who are hanging out tonight. We're going to be just chilling, having a good time. We're actually having a drinking game. We have a bunch of beers from our friends over at Old 690 Brewery in Virginia. Great people, good beer. And we are going to drink every time we have this amazing bingo list. Every time something happens, we'll make a mark and then take a sip of beer, and we'll see who wins. So this is the work of Keean Bexte, Lauren Southern, Seamus Coughlin. I don't know, were you down there, Ian? Or
Negative, no.
No, Ian was sleeping. Yeah. And they came with a lot of really great jokes. I participated a little bit. And so there's things like if Joe Biden says man, if he says our democracy, if he plagiarizes. I think you guys spelled plagiarize wrong.
Good.
Well, I didn't spell it. So.
Walks the wrong way. Oh, tells a fake story.
Yep.
Gaslights, curses, fake tough guy shtick. So we'll get into all that stuff. But because it's kind of a special night, I'm going to do this real quick. We have a great sponsor, Virtual Shield. I'm super excited that they've sponsored the show as long as they did. For those that don't know, they're the first sponsor I ever had on YouTube. They've been with us all through everything we've ever done, and they're here now. So go to Surfing Internet Safe. If you would like to get a virtual private network service, this is a basic layer of security for you as you browse the internet. If you've been paying attention to the show and the news, you can see why it's so important. Because the January 6th committee and other government agencies have been given I shouldn't say your data, but given the data of journalists, of politicians, of high-profile political individuals by these digital, by these ISPs and by these phone companies. So these politicians just go to say, we'll just call it an ISP, and they say, give us the phone records of this politician, and the phone company says, okay. They just do it. No warrants, no nothing. It's an extreme violation of your rights. Well, there's one thing you can do if you're concerned about this, because it does affect everybody. You look at what's happening with the Capitol Police and the intelligence agency they've become, and they're spying on people, whatever. You go to Surfing Internet Safe, sign up for Virtual Shield, download their product, and this will give you a basic layer of security. It sends all of your data through an encrypted channel, so people who are trying to spy on you have a much harder time of doing it. No security is perfect, but this is an excellent way to make sure you're staying safe at least a little bit. So again, Surfing Internet Safe. Check out their website. You get a deal if you go there. It's a lifetime 50% discount by signing up right now. And again, shout out to Virtual Shield for making this show happen, sticking with me and all my content and channels from when I started YouTube till now. They rock. These are the companies you guys should be supporting. That being said, let's get a quick round of introductions. Joining us in this we have a lot of people today. We've got a couple journalists, someone who has been covering the Freedom Convoy. We got Keean Bexte. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm
Can you pull your mic up a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Get it real close.
I'm a journalist from Canada. Obviously, I was covering the Freedom Convoy, and I'm the editor-in-chief of thecountersignal.com, and our job in Canada is to combat the propaganda that comes out of the state broadcaster, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. It's a $1.5 billion Justin Trudeau propaganda arm. So that's what we do, is we publish everything that they don't want Canadians and people around the world to see when it comes to news about Canada. So I'm happy to be here. It's exciting.
It's going to be fun. We have two Canadians who are going to help comment on what Joe Biden is doing. We also have Lauren Southern.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
If you haven't noticed, Canadians have massively infiltrated the American conservative political movement. So this is
what's
just,
up with that?
We're starting to take over Timcast.
What are you
Isn't
talking
Crowder
about?
Canadian too?
What
Yeah,
Canadians?
yeah.
What Canadians have infiltrated the American political commentaries
think of
on
any.
the right? I haven't heard of such a thing. It's ridiculous, absurd.
I heard someone, I think it was Shuan Head that tweeted out, the only good thing about the Freedom Convoy and Justin Trudeau's like overreach of power is now Canadian commentators are finally talking about their own country.
That's fair.
That is
But
hilarious.
yes, I'm Lauren
Get wrecked.
Southern, Canadian journalist, filmmaker. Keean and I have actually made a movie together.
Yes.
Which one?
The Mass Graves Hoax.
Yeah.
You should watch it. Some spicy content. But yeah, I guess Seamus.
Throw it over to me. So
Shameful
I'm an
Seamus.
American, an actual real American who comments on
From
American
Chicago.
politics from the Chicago area back there. So I comment on politics. I do cartoons. If you guys want to check me out at Freedom Tunes, we release animated cartoons every single week, sometimes twice a week. And we're going to have a pretty funny one up about the state of our military in light of the crisis with Ukraine and Russia. I think it's going to be pretty funny. And yeah, I'm here to talk with some friends and some Canadians about Joe
That was
Biden.
Canadians.
Well, my name is Ian is in Canadian. I'm going to look at that, let that
Canadian.
joke drop.
Ian, yeah, that's great. I love
Before I
it.
toss it over to Liz, I'm going to give you a couple of corrections from yesterday. We mentioned the Gallipoli campaign. England and Australia invaded Gallipoli. I said it was in World War II. Well, they beachheaded on it. It was World War I. And secondly, we're talking about Vasily Arkhipov is his name. Vasily Arkhipov, one of the Russian hero that prevented World War III, is one of 3 commanders in a sub. I said that he got orders to fire nuclear missiles. What actually happened was they were underwater and cut off from, or they didn't have any orders from Moscow. They were depth charges, and 2 of the commanders on the sub wanted to fire nuclear torpedoes, and he said no. Wait for orders from Moscow. Then eventually they came to the surface and realized they weren't at war and that he had prevented what could have been a catastrophe. So. Happy to get that out.
And you know what? In the name of correcting potential misinformation, I referenced Men Against Fire last night, which is contested. It's not gospel.
Good
Thank
to know.
you.
Just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Are we doing all our fact checks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren, there'd be
Getting them out
too
of the
much
way.
time
What do you
if
got?
you started doing your.
relax,
We don't have enough
relax,
time
Seamus.
if you start
Relax,
rattling off everything
alright.
you've gotten wrong.
No, I said that the Australian politician didn't say New World Order. She 100% said New World
Australian?
Order. The Australian health administrator when she
wow.
was saying we're going to
that's
create.
right.
Yeah, so I said.
And the Ukrainian member of parliament said we're
Yeah.
fighting for the New World Order the other day.
Yeah,
We got
so
Lydia pressing buttons.
very
over there.
interesting stuff tonight.
Did you
I'm
press
having
any of
the
the
time
wrong
of my
buttons?
life. I have not pressed any of the wrong
okay.
buttons yet. We'll get there. We have a cool new shot to try out. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, hit it. I'm
It's
gonna
gonna be a
crack
great
a
night.
window open.
You wanna? Yeah. So this is our Oh, look at this! Look at all this nonsense. There goes Tim walking behind Ian. It's so cool.
How do I look down, right? I'm looking down at who's below me on that. It's like the Brady
Me.
Bunch.
You're looking down at me.
Looking at Olivia.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, I'm gonna look over to the right.
That's hilarious.
All right,
Oh,
Tim's
hey, I'm
back.
What up, bud?
Tim's
So, man, this is a special episode. We're probably gonna go really long hanging out here, so we got a bunch of beers. I think we're gonna need more.
Mike.
I almost never drink, so I have like a beer, and I've imagined that's the limit that I'll have is
Yeah,
a beer.
I have a
so
Diet
we'll see.
Coke, so-
But I just want to make sure everyone is aware. There's been a bunch of issues with live streams that have commented on public broadcasts, State of the Union addresses. So I did my due diligence. I contacted YouTube and I said, "Can we comment on broadcasting the State of the Union address?" They said, "Yes." They've worked really hard to make sure that these false takedowns don't happen. Because what'll happen is Joe Biden is speaking, but his words are being broadcast on like every network. So what happens is the automated system will be like, "Hey, this sounds like CNN right now," and they'll take people down. We are going to be using the official White House broadcast. We have 50 minutes and 56 seconds until it goes live. And the other thing, just to make sure, is I said we're also going to be playing a drinking game where every time Biden does something that we expect him to do, or maybe not, we'll take a drink. Is that allowed on live streams? And I was told definitively, of course, exclamation point.
You know what?
And very cheerfully. So I said, all right.
And I'll also mention this. We drink responsibly here. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I drink responsibly,
don't
despite the
speak for
Aren't you
stereotyping.
drinking
You don't know
hard
anything about
alcohol?
me.
You're drinking
Stop it. Be
hard
quiet.
liquor
False
while the rest of
accusations.
us
We
are-
all having
I'm
beer.
having
He's
a
got
beer.
whiskey.
This is coffee.
Nice
I'm being
coffee.
The
false-
Irish. You
More
just can't trust them with
misinformation from
anything.
fake news Lauren Southern,
how
who
it's
makes
gonna go
anything she
tonight.
wants up about American politics because she's Canadian and doesn't have to face the consequences.
Hey,
I also
Malding.
want to mention.
Seething.
The thing about
Tim
Canada,
mentioned we have 51 minutes until it starts. Of course, one of the options on our bingo card is starts late. So
We're
might
all
be
drinking
longer
for
than
that one.
51 minutes.
That's right.
He's going to be late. We're all drinking for that one.
I want to point out that Canada is America, North America.
North America, that's
North
true.
America.
Shout out to Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian discoverer
hope
that
he's
they named it
listening,
after.
Ian.
No, he better
He's
be
a map
listening.
maker, right?
Yes.
So
He's a
here's
map
what
maker.
mine says. I have one that says if Joe Biden uses Newspeak like Latinx, I have to drink.
Latinx.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
scared.
That's a good one.
Are they all the same or are they all different?
They're supposed to
There's
be
like
different.
some variation.
Yeah.
Some variation.
There's inappropriate contact on mine. I'm
Uses-
sure that'll happen.
That'll
Uses
happen.
fake
I'm
words.
excited for
Yeah,
that.
use his fake words.
Fake tough guy shtick. That's a good
Racist
one.
by accident.
Racist by accident
Yes,
is my
that's my
favorite.
favorite.
Might as well circle that one.
Yeah, just let's get out of the way.
Whispers.
Whispers. He'll do that. He'll go, get vaccinated.
Like, I don't have a dog in the fight, but if he does walks wrong way, I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a
So-
couple. How
so-
many of these should we read out? I mean, I don't want to spoil the jokes, but it's also possible
We'll
he
call
doesn't
him out
do
when he
every
does
one of
it.
these things. Yeah, that's true.
So it's going to be funny too because we're going to have to judge if something was like adequately racist. You know what I mean? Like racist
or
by-
accidentally.
Well, no,
Yeah, it might have just been
no. I mean,
blatant
like
over-
if he says something and we're like, okay, that sounds like it kind of was racist, you know.
Tim-
But what if it's
So
Tim, we're gonna
subjective,
give him
yeah.
the benefit of the doubt he would give us if we
Okay.
said something
So
that
it's
was
always
essentially
racist,
construed
yeah.
as
Of course,
racist.
Yes.
So what does the winner get?
Inappropriate content.
Winner has to finish their drink.
Hey,
Couple
we're gonna
beers,
drink
huh?
right when it starts. He's gonna
I know,
walk
I
up
was
to
gonna-
Kamala.
Come on,
Harris.
man. What are you
Yeah, what does the winner get? Have you guys?
The winner gets your abacus.
President gets
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I have to win at that point.
Yeah, you do.
you go.
Okay, wait. Only Democrats clap.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's funny.
snap.
That's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen multiple times. Well, we'll see,
is it-
Tim. You actually don't know. What if he doesn't do any of these things? It's his best speech ever. He goes out. He's like, "My fellow Americans, I say, on the dawn of a potential third world war, we must come together as a nation." And we're like, "What's going
Forgets
on?"
what he's saying.
10 seconds of silence.
So he's gonna be like, "My fellow Americans, we stand on the precipice of a great world war, World War III between
Ukraingas,
Kringus."
Corn pop.
Corn pop. I actually suggested when we were making this that we include saying corn pop, but I was like, we should have like wager bingo spots where it's leveraged. So like,
Yeah.
because the likelihood of him saying corn pop is like 0.01%, you got to like chug your whole beer if he says
Oh,
it.
snap.
And
Yeah.
then it's like,
Okay,
whoa.
corn pop or malarkey. We have to chug our beers.
Malarkey. If you
All
say,
right,
dude, if you
guys?
say the words malarkey at all, I'm gonna lose
I'm
my
writing
mind.
this down.
Lydia is on it.
I'm really enjoying this because like the story we have to talk about right now is that Belarus. Here I'm using the Daily Beast because I love it. They say Belarus issues dire World War III warning as it gets ready to send troops to Ukraine. They've also approved Russia staging nuclear weapons in Belarusian borders. Ukraine has said they've already invaded. You've got a Ukrainian journalist in Poland telling Boris from the UKPM that World War III has already started and NATO needs to intervene with a no-fly zone. And I'm sitting here like, this is like the most serious news I think I've ever experienced in my adult life. I don't know if any, I guess, you know, look, with Iraq, Afghanistan, and those wars, I wasn't really worried they were going to nuke us or send, you know, wave after wave of their own men.
You know
to
what,
the-
though? They said
the
they
war.
could, because that was the whole thing. They talked about WMDs, and they were saying we have to go over there because we don't want to
Right.
find out it's too late after they already nuke us. And then it's funny because even though they made up all these lies about how Saddam was close to getting a nuke and how that was a WMD, they said, well, we weren't lying about weapons of mass destruction because there were chemical weapons there that can be considered WMDs. Very
Yeah, and I
sneaky.
think there were. I mean,
Yes, but that's different from nuclear weaponry. Obviously, when they were saying weapons of mass destruction in the minds of the public, that construed an image of nuclear weapons. And then they said, "Oh, of course there were WMDs." It was like chemical.
So let's just
But-
put layer upon layer on this one. So we got all this stuff happening, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of freaking out, you know, kind of freaking me out. But you know, we can all laugh here and make fun of Joe Biden, and you know, if there's one thing Joe Biden's done is he's made us all laugh.
That's true.
Probably
I
something.
know that's the thing about Joe Biden. I said this as soon as he got elected. Finally, a president who can't disappoint me.
Yeah.
There's no possible way.
That's a good
and, you know, he makes us laugh every now and again. It's true. It's true. And so, yeah, horrible situation going on over there. We don't want to make light of it. It is frightening in many ways, but one of the purposes of comedy is to be able to get people to keep their spirits up through difficult times.
So there's another thing that happened on TV. The president of Belarus, Lukashenko, was pointing to a map that showed what appeared to be the Russian military plan from Russia and Belarus into Ukraine. But there were several attack points drawn on the map that haven't happened. And so, of course, many in the media are saying haven't happened yet, as if it's, you know, the actual plan that Russia has. And now, if that's true, and I don't know why it would be, I don't know what that map is. It shows, I think, 4 accurate attack vectors that have already occurred, as well as several others that make people think they might occur because some are like right after Kharkiv, there's like another attack movement.
Okay,
And
is the implication that there's like some planning, or that that's just their guess?
the implication, well, I don't know why the president of Belarus put the map up. Like, he was explaining, like, here's what's happening. But the implication is that what they're saying, Belarus, an ally of Russia, they know what the military plan is, and they've effectively shown the next move will be to move into Odessa and then into Moldova.
Or they could be fake plans.
Yeah,
in a-
exactly.
Right.
It could just be.
But
sort of
but if it
manipulation.
is, it could be fake. The scary thing is, and maybe this is just him trying to freak people out, trying to fog of war, confuse people. That's
false orders. They call that.
or like psychological manipulation. This implies Russia will invade another country. Notably, the disputed territory is Transnistria, which has already got Russian troops there, which could be then used by Russia as a staging ground to bypass Ukrainian defenses and then move through the southwest of the country. It might still remain just a Ukraine thing, but you've also got Kaliningrad. There's a lot of crazy stuff here, man. So I don't know.
Yeah,
World War III.
At a glance, the red lines on this, I mean, this is like a Daily Mail article I'm looking at, and I haven't investigated the map, but maybe those are red lines indicating where infiltration has already taken place, like where there's Russian special forces awaiting action, because they said Moldova is already infiltrated, Crimea was already infiltrated, obviously, and it looks like a lot of parts of Ukraine had already been infiltrated on the map, maybe. I don't know, but I would imagine more that it's a battle map or a fake battle map.
Yeah, I mean, to what Tim was saying about the fact that there are certain places where they're saying they're going to attack. They couldn't. I have absolutely no idea. I will say this: we should believe the media about as much as we would if they were reporting on anything else.
Oh, yeah. I tweeted. I love this. Whenever anything in the media happens, I'm just going to call them the people who believe Jussie Smollett.
No, exactly.
So, during COVID, I was like, the people who believe Jussie Smollett are lecturing me on COVID. And then I tweeted, and I got like 3,000 retweets. Then I tweeted the other day, or maybe this morning, the people who believe Jussie Smollett are lecturing me on Ukraine. And it got like thousands of retweets.
It's true.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
and you're
sorry.
from MAGA country, dude.
I want to
Yeah,
clear
I know,
this
it's
up.
true.
I saw you on Twitter trending, and that was awesome. And then I found out it was because you said, I don't like appeals to emotion. Is that what it is? Appeal to emotion? It's a type of argument, an ad hominem, or an ad emotionum attack or something?
It's an appeal to emotion. So so I was trending for that,
Logical
and they're trying.
fallacy.
First, they got it wrong. There's a video clip of Zelensky talking about civilians dying, but the translator is crying as he's saying it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The
So when you're-
propaganda. That was the news story that went viral.
Appeal to emotion, what you were talking about is a logical fallacy characterized by the manipulation of the recipient's emotions
Correct.
in order to win an argument. So I understand your point.
The idea here is that they're playing this video clip of Zelensky being like, children are dying and civilians are under attack. And the translator is going, we must fight for our children's freedom. And I'm just like, that person should be fired. No joke. That person should be maybe not fired. That's a little harsh. They should
Administrative
be
lead.
Well, if I were the boss and we were doing a live translation broadcast, I'd go up to the guy and I'd be like, let's get you in here, man. Get you a cup of coffee. Why don't you have a seat? Breathe a little bit, and we'll get someone in here who can no disrespect.
So this is the translator crying, because I've seen this. So it's funny, the trending you're talking about. I follow a bunch of lefty accounts to get their side of things, and I saw your tweet screenshotted like 4 times before I even saw your original tweet. And this comment was from a bigger account saying, the thing that really pisses me off about this war is the leader of the country being invaded, saying he thinks it's bad that kids are being killed.
Like
So that's what they're suggesting you're saying, right?
Well, I don't care about those people. Like it's like if you.
Well, I mean,
came
so
to
they
me-
didn't watch the video in the original.
Of course,
And I think-
and they did that on purpose, because if you actually watched the video, you'd be like, it's not the president who's talking because I don't understand Ukrainian. It's an EU translator who's crying as he's talking. And so my point is, what they're trying to do with a lot of this propaganda is appeal to your emotions to get you to join a war effort.
Yes.
Of course, the zealot pro-war lunatics are going to come after me for whatever I tweet. I tweeted a very obvious joke. I mean, of anyone who's smart enough to understand. It's Zelensky doing the red salute. I don't actually want to do it, but the communist salute. And I said, whoa, the president of Ukraine just did the communist salute, or maybe he's supporting Black Lives Matter. I can't tell if he's supporting communism or critical race theory. Like, duh. And so Ethan Klein of H3 was like, he's actually trying to claim that Ukraine's president is a communist because he's using the international sign of resistance or whatever. And my response was, you're going to love this. It was a great response. I said, thanks, Ethan, big fan.
Me too.
That was it. I don't care.
He's so
Whatever,
great.
man.
He was like, Tim is actually a big fan. Can you believe that?
I know. Could you believe it?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Some people actually responded to the left accurately on this, and they were like, someone said it's a joke, chill, and they're like, well, I can't tell it's a joke, and so he needs to blah blah blah. And then someone responded, Tim believes that taking Twitter seriously and engaging with people is ineffective, and it's healthier just to treat it all like it's unserious and a big joke. And that's fairly accurate.
It might as well be, because even the serious accounts that are verified, the mainstream media, they're just being serious, but spreading misinformation as well. So if you
Jokes
take
of
it
your
seriously,
own,
you're
yeah.
almost in a worse position if you take everything you read on Twitter seriously.
I've said this before. Twitter's a terrible website. When you are having a good day on Twitter, it's because you said something mean to someone and everyone thinks you're funny. When you're having a bad day on Twitter, it's because someone said something mean to you and everyone thinks that's funny. That's what the website's for. Just being cruel.
I tweeted
Absolutely.
out, deter sarcasm, speak with honesty, because emotions, people are bouncing on a needle's point, about to lose it. I tweeted that out because I keep seeing a lot of people I follow on Twitter are joking right now, like being sarcastic, and it's not translating in text.
Yeah.
And it's confusing people.
Did you see the girl that did the poem to Putin?
Oh,
Where she
yeah.
was like, if I were
gosh.
Putin's mother,
Oh,
I
my
would have
God.
held you. If I was your mother, I would have held you tight, Putin. You would have had mommy milkies. It would have been all okay.
Mommy milk. Wait, what does that mean?
That is not
Like,
family friendly.
she got absolutely like obliterated. I kind of feel bad
Was
for
she
her.
serious?
'Cause She was
was
being
being
serious, but she was
100%
trying to be like
serious.
artistic and like
Was
she actually has like a good soul. You can tell she's trying to be nice, but it doesn't work on Twitter. This website is for emotionally destroying each other.
That is like the ultimate I can fix him.
Yeah, it really is.
I can fix
Absolutely is.
Putin.
It is. You know what?
pretty
You know.
bad.
You know what they
That's
don't like
cringy.
about me on Twitter is that you're right. It's for emotionally destroying people, and they have no power over me. So someone tweeted at me an image of the NPC meme, but it's me wearing the baseball tee and the
I
beanie.
saw it was hilarious.
And so I posted on Instagram because I think it's funny. And there's a bunch of funny ones. There's one where it's me, but my head's a blimp and it's got a beanie on.
So good.
So it's like I'm in a hot air. It's a hot air balloon. I'm in a hot air balloon of
your
my
brain.
own brain
Yes.
with a basket that I'm standing
cool.
in and a little beanie on top. And I'm like, I think that's great. My
hilarious.
favorite though was the Patriots.win, formerly the Donald, have been making all of these really funny these memes about the propaganda coming out of Ukraine. So like the ghost of Kiev and like. So they've been like the cuck of Kiev is Mitt Romney or whatever, but they made one where it was like, this is the fence sitter of Kiev. His sitting on the fence has held the Russian forces at bay, and they superimposed my face over some Ukrainian soldier.
awesome.
And then in the comments, they were like, I hope Tim sees this because he's gonna laugh. And then I put, I can't
Correct.
confirm. True.
Well,
I'm like, dude, that's the thing. Like, I'll go on Twitter and they can say literally anything. And when Ethan Klein tweeted at me, like, what am I supposed to do? What is any regular person supposed to do when someone's just making up stuff or insulting you or doesn't care?
You're supposed to drop your jaw and stutter and not have because you just got
never.
owned.
Sometimes
That's
people
what's supposed to happen.
Sometimes
You know what?
people retweet the one that they have issues with and then explain why it's wrong. I didn't like that because they just like then you're retweeting the person you disagree with. I'd rather just ignore it.
I
But
just retweeted it with ha 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 ha.
There's that great anecdote where it's like if you get in the ring with them, someone who's just trying to pull you down, it's like you're getting in the mud pit with the pigs and you just get dirty and the pigs just
Yeah.
get happy. Whereas you're kind of standing on the sideline, have fun, pigs. I like you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
you know,
time.
You know what I'm gonna do next time? I'm gonna you know what I should have tweeted? Because I'm thinking like I obviously can't respond with like, here's my actual argument, blah blah blah. Like that's stupid. Nobody cares. So I just said, thanks, Ethan, big fan. Because like I'm trending now thanks to him. You know what I mean? There you go.
nice work.
I think next time I'll just put I'm sorry. That's it.
I apologize. I publicly
I
apologize. to Ian.
publicly apologize.
Have me on your podcast, Ian.
I wouldn't say that.
No.
No, but like the point of the apology is they would be like, is he being serious?
do you think you could hashtag I'm sorry to trend?
Yeah.
See if you can pull it
Just
off.
be like, I
Start a
apologize
trend.
for being wrong.
Do a public apology and then like plug Raid Shadow Legends or something like halfway through your public apology.
They reached out to sponsor me, and then they like
done
looked
it.
at my channel and they were like, "Ooh, we made a mistake. That was an accidental email."
There's a hilarious meme of Putin. It was obviously a fake translation of him speaking in Russian, and it just was a long troll into saying that his invasion of Ukraine was just a hilarious advertisement for Raid Shadow.
Oh, I saw that.
That's awesome.
It's him talking, and there's like text, and he's like, I did all of this to generate massive global attention for a very important issue. Raid Shadow Legends, available now.
Count Dankula.
We did it. We had a joke, Seamus. I don't know if I don't know if you have the Fauci YouTube one. Should we mention?
No,
I don't know
we
if- I don't know
can't
if-
say that one. No, that's
Okay.
yeah.
That was a good one.
Or the
It
one
was
where
good.
he's
Thank
just
you.
trying to follow
No,
up
no,
with
no,
Zelensky on his taxes or something.
What?
Yeah, that
what
one.
happened? Well, so Tim and I wrote some. We did some funny improv, some funny jokes, which is going to be for my supporters behind the paywall because it would absolutely get us deleted from YouTube forever.
I gotta.
post some
All right,
yeah.
guys.
But
I
you
want to.
can't do that to people.
I want
Yes,
to
I
pull up.
can. I absolutely can.
I got to pull up this
This is
this
so
fact
Product
check.
of my own
This
labor.
is amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important fact check for you from PolitiFact. You see, Maria Bartiromo.
Yeah.
How could she? She said, we have doubled our oil imports from Russia in the last year.
Who does she think she is?
Who does she? Mostly
Dummy.
false.
That's mostly
Yeah.
false.
Mostly
I'd say.
false.
Yeah.
PolitiFact clarifies the U.S. did not double oil imports from Russia in the last year.
Okay.
What actually happened was, according to PolitiFact, the U.S. did double the amount of crude oil import from Russia last year.
So they
It
were
says
using,
both of those things in the same article.
They meant mostly false, like mostly peaceful.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I have to interrupt I hate to do this, but the crude oil is one type of various types of oil imported to the U.S.
And?
So we doubled one type, not oil in general.
Oh.
But she didn't even. Maria Bartiromo didn't even.
Yeah, no,
say
it was
oil.
terribly written. Terribly written.
Why is oil in
When-
parentheses?
So when
about our
when,
important.
when Maria was talking, she was talking with Jesse Waters, I believe. She said we have doubled our imports from Russia in the last year, referring to generally just oil.
Well, that's supposed to be in brackets, not in parentheses.
It is. The point is, her statement is correct. She wasn't speaking very specifically and absolutely. She was saying, here's one particular
Yeah,
issue.
so if she was referring to crude oil, it's absolutely correct. But of course, the fact check just assumes
Yeah, it's
like,
gonna be
yeah,
pedantic.
completely.
yeah, why
false.
didn't they put crude? When they add, look at this. They added the word oil to her quote. She did not say
To
that.
make
Okay,
her wrong.
And here's the thing too, with the mostly false, you could put like that can go either way. You can say
Mostly
mostly
true.
false or mostly true.
mostly
It could
true.
be mostly
That's
true.
the
She meant
magic
crude oil.
mostly.
She
Yeah.
That's
like
what I'm
how the-
saying. They're using it the way they use mostly peaceful. Mostly is a magic word.
The word maybe means the same thing as maybe not. It has the exact same meaning.
It's
Yeah,
so blatant
exactly.
too. The mainstream media and these fact checkers, they're trying to pretend like, and they did this in Canada as well. You know, when you buy oil from the Russian regime, you're directly sponsoring their war effort. You're paying for it, and these mainstream media journalists are just so desperate to make it to gaslight Canadians and Americans into thinking that
Gaslight.
that's not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pun,
He's
pun
not
was
Biden.
completely
Bingo,
intentional.
yeah.
It's into thinking that that's not what is happening because they want to draw your attention away from Keystone XL. This like obvious policy decision that should be reversed. It never should have been canceled in the first place. But the mainstream media they're just breathless in their support for the Russian regime.
Was the Canadian was the support for Keystone really powerful, and then the Americans wanted it shut down, or did everybody?
Oh,
Depends where you were.
This is-
in like Alberta, it was super supportive. Western Canada generally was hugely supportive of this.
wait.
And then
Sorry, Ian. We don't ask the Canadians about Canada. We ask them about America.
Oh.
Yeah, I want the
the whole
outside
thing.
perspective, right?
Yeah.
But no, continue, please.
so I mean, lots of Canadians wanted it. There was no Canadians really saying we shouldn't do it. The opposition was American leftists and frankly foreign funded activists in Canada because you Americans
Absolutely.
fund eco radicals.
no, but Keean, you should mention
We fund you guys too. What are you talking about?
you should mention that
How dare-
those radical activists held and like blocked the pipeline for years, and they had to go through the legal court process to get them arrested, get them taken away. And so people talk about the Ottawa,
Yeah.
like they were there for 2 weeks, and it was hurting industry. The people blocking the pipeline have been there for years,
Yeah.
and they still went through the
Total
proper
double
process.
standard when it comes
Well,
to blocking infrastructure.
No. Come on. Be honest, guys. They weren't honking horns.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
That
no,
was
they
the
just
terror.
killed. Like what?
It's violence.
Did they kill an RCMP officer? No, they attacked
Actually,
him.
so this was a different pipeline. This was a
Okay,
pipeline
this is a
heading
different one.
westbound up in northern BC. But as the truckers were occupying, as some people are saying, but basically protesting in Ottawa and honking a lot, there was an actual terrorist attack in northern British Columbia for this northern gateway for this coastal GasLink pipeline that was going to carry liquefied natural gas. They actually a bunch of camouflaged men, radical indigenous eco radicals funded by Americans, came into this site and trashed a bunch of vehicles, burnt things with hatchets, tomahawks, the whole shebang.
Millions
right?
of dollars in damage.
Yeah.
But you can't compare that to honking.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
True,
people's
Tammy.
ears were hurting.
Yeah. Have you seen the article about the phantom honking? This
Yes.
was from
Yes.
What is
Oh,
it? Yeah, what is it?
Goodness.
Ringing.
Tell me about it.
Apparently, it's people hearing honking after
goodness.
there's no honking.
Maybe the trucks are just gone, but people are like actually honking
The
their
spirit
horns because
remains.
that's what cars do, and they're like, I can still hear
Yeah.
them.
It's
I have
like they're
PTSD
acting
from
like
the
it's
convoy.
PTSD. Yeah,
You totally
for
can.
sure.
You know, what you need to understand is these people probably do have PTSD. And here's the issue. If you are a soft pink mass
Butter soft.
of cookie dough that has never experienced any hardship, and you grow up that way, and your entire worldview is based on living in a padded room of pastel colors and sing-alongs and Harry Potter and Star Wars, then when someone walks in and yells at you, it's traumatizing to you. You have. So I'm half kidding, but for these people who have been, pampered, urban, elite types, or not even necessarily elite types, but they lack any kind of hard experience. Hearing those constant honkings is stressing them out because it does two things. The first is the physical agitation of constantly hearing the honking. I don't mean any kind of violence, but like its presence is physical to them, but also the psychological impact of them being potentially wrong. These are people who are desperate to fit in. And all of a sudden there's a big popular movement outside and they're all cheering and dancing and screaming and you're not a part of it.
Yeah.
They seek refuge online where people are like, don't worry, we hate them too. You're one of us. And that makes them feel better in their anger. So yeah, some kind of trauma, I suppose. And now, people are probably just honking their horns. And as soon as they do, someone probably screams and freaks out.
It's happening every weekend. I don't think people realize. Like, even when I was going to the airport in Canada, there were still people on every bridge. Everyone has Canadian flags on their cars. I never realized how many people thought like me until this whole...
I didn't realize that many Canadian flags were sold. It looked like 4th of July in Canada with
the
our own
Canadian
flags.
flag has become like the American flag.
Yeah. And liberals
it's a
have to
symbol of
like...
patriotism.
Yeah.
You guys have a maple leaf on your flag.
Yeah.
And I
Tim,
hope...
Are you about to make fun of our maple?
I was going to say it's very cute.
I'm into it.
Adorable.
Yeah,
loved it.
Ben Franklin wanted the
Listen.
turkey.
Little
as
maple
our-
leaf
as
is
our
a
animal.
turkey.
Yeah.
All right,
We used to have a
guys.
nice
All
flag.
right. I
I
see
see how
how
it
it is.
is.
The liberals
Let's get
changed
out of
it.
here.
The
Keean.
liberals created this maple leaf flag.
What was
that,
what was it before
I
the
like
maple leaf?
maple
It was the
syrup.
red ensign,
Red
and it was a
ensign.
beautiful flag. I encourage you to
How do I
look
look it up? Can I look it up?
Red Canadian red ensign, beautiful flag. But then the liberals, they took everything that was good about our country,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
wow.
That was cool.
it was a nice flag. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
This
way
is it?
better than a
Right?
maple
Yep.
leaf.
That was our flag
What?
through World War
And it
One,
has-
World War Two. Well, the crest was a little bit different. It changed over time, but that was the most recent version of the flag.
They're the
What?
leaves. Now they're
Is
very
this one it?
small.
Dude, how long till they
That
put a
was the
maple
first
leaf
one.
on our
This is
flag?
the first one?
Scared.
I like the maple leaf,
Based,
but
hey?
I want more color.
That was the one they fought in under World War Two, I think.
Look at
Sorry,
this.
World War One.
So rad.
Look at this amazing
beautiful.
Canadian flag.
So all the
There's
people-
You know
no-
how much
hold
more
on.
respect Canada would
Right.
get if that was still your flag?
All the people that say Canada's not part of the British Empire, check please.
Well, of
what?
course, yeah.
Can you guys tell me? Do a little bit.
Wait,
just,
wait,
You know
have
what?
any
You know what?
power?
Let's
Hold on.
not make it. Let's leave them alone.
Yeah,
Hold
let's
on,
leave
hold on a
them
minute.
be.
Hold on a
Good
minute.
work.
This
Good
is
work,
legit. You
Seamus.
said this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is from Wikimedia. Look at this.
Freaking
Not
cool.
only does it have the Union Jack, which is the United Kingdom, it's got a crown, it's got a bison, I believe, a fish, but also a wreath of maple leaves.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
the three.
amazing.
I've heard the three leaves. I could be making this up, but I heard that it represents like the three different populations in Canada, like
Oh.
the English, the French, and the Indigenous.
Cool.
Nice.
I like
What
that.
does?
So within
Oh,
that
these.
little
The
crest,
three.
the three there.
There's two of them.
So
though.
these are a lot of local communities that were merged.
These were all like the different parts of Canada,
So cool.
like New Brunswick and all
I
that.
like the thistles.
So,
what is
that,
the single-
that crest
So hold on.
has generally
Represent.
changed.
when did they decide to ruin your country?
Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, what
yeah, it
happened?
was actually quite recent. Like I think maybe in the 60s.
That was
Lester B.
my thought
Pearson,
too,
right?
but I don't want to
sounds
spread
right.
any
I don't
more
wanna-
fake
yeah, I
news.
don't
65.
I said an
Yeah,
RCMP officer was
65.
killed by those protesters. I just want to clarify they just like threw bombs at him or something.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
was
So-
severely
That was
injured.
it.
There
That
must
was
have
That
been,
was it.
considering what the stereotype of Canadians being like very polite. You know, I guess in the 60s they had this like very powerful flag, and there was some Canadian guy who was just like, I don't think we should be so violent, you know.
Let's change that flag. There
And this
Yeah.
is the
It's
frustrating
might be
part. This
rude.
might be like esoteric Canadian politics, but I'm from
Bring
the
it
West, from Alberta. I'm an Albertan separatist actually, and it's frustrating about that flag because that's the maple leaf, and there's no maple trees west of like Manitoba,
Oh,
right?
it's
So
not
The city
whole
these like
command.
Eastern elitists came and said, yeah, let's put the maple leaf on the flag because that represents Canada, but really that's just the Laurentian understanding of Canada. These like Eastern, like Trudeau, all of these Eastern liberals have decided to sort of usurp the understanding of Canada and replaced the Union Jack and all of those, that beautiful crest that obviously represented every part of Canada, and then said, nah, we just want to use a leaf from a tree that only exists in Quebec.
You know, I actually really like that this happened to the flag because it's such a simple and concise way to explain how they made everything dumb and horrible in Canada. And you're like, okay, well, in this time frame, they took this out, they removed all the people who live in this part of the country, and now it's just like this elitist, oversimplified, kind of like a globalist flag.
They did
Yes.
the modern corporate art to
Yes.
our
Oh
flag.
Yes.
my gosh, it's a modern logo. I mean, how long
totally
before that
is.
happens in America? They're like, these 13 stripes represent 13 slave colonies. We need to change this flag altogether. Just a star.
What would it be,
Yeah.
like the McDonald's Golden Arches or
Yeah,
something?
Yeah.
something like that.
Something
same
corporate.
color. Yeah, 100%. No, it'd just be like the star by itself, maybe, or I don't
Yeah.
know.
A single
They
star.
changed it. They,
That's disturbing.
Like identical to the Canadian flag.
It'll
with
just
stars.
say
Yes.
BLM.
I don't know
Excited for
whoever to
this.
ask, but if
It'll
we
just
can
be a
make
fist.
the Canadian flag, if you add more color, I'd be down. Like a psychedelic flag would be neat, but I don't.
I don't
probably
think
too
Canada's
soon.
going to make a psychedelic
No,
flag
probably not.
for their country.
But like a
Well,
blue, red, white, and blue is a little cliche.
What if we added stripes, horizontal stripes, and then we did like a rainbow?
Oh.
You know?
They've done that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like
there you go.
that actual flag has flown on Parliament Hill. Like I,
Stop.
What do you
I
guys
don't
think
remember
about
that.
symbology in general and flags? I mean, because I personally, it's like burn the
Symbology.
flag. I
You
don't
mean
care.
symbolism?
Yeah,
Yeah,
have you ever
Okay.
watched Boondock Saints?
I think once, yeah.
Has anybody here watched Boondock
Nah.
Saints?
It was a cool cartoon.
Willem
the dad
Willem
was
Dafoe,
awesome.
when the cop is like symbology, and he goes symbolism.
Okay, I'm making up words because I'm English.
that's what Joe Biden's going to
Yeah,
Joe
Biden was supposed to
Everyone
do
gets
that.
yeah,
Save it for
symbology is a
Biden.
thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a thing.
symbol.
Yeah.
But that's like the study of symbols, isn't it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
study of symbols.
Right.
In general, do you think that it's because I find it's kind of like cult worship, like everyone worship me because I have the icon now, and if I'm the one that has the badge. Like I don't
Yeah,
burn the
I mean,
flag
like,
if
a
you want to
flag-
burn
I
the flag.
disagree.
don't
I
care.
a
think
flag is like it is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like it means to people something. Obviously, it means something different to everyone who sees it. When I see that Canadian, we call it the maple rag in Alberta.
Yeah.
It brings on ideas of Eastern oppression, just like you guys probably would have felt Americans back in 1770, whatever the heck it was, when you guys threw the tea in the harbor and decided to become a bunch of
Was it
traitors.
73?
Traitors. Okay.
Traitors.
Scandalous.
Like
you
unfair
can go back,
taxes.
sir.
I
You can go
never.
right back on up there to Canada.
Being
if
from
you like.
Alberta, does it feel like
peaceful.
the big cities of Canada are ripping you guys off?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because like they tell us we can't have pipelines. They tell us we have to shut down our oil and gas industry. They force weird taxes on us that make us pay for social programs in Quebec, which are ridiculous when it comes to managing their budget. So we fund their social programs. They go deeper into debt, and we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So before we move on, I just have to ask: are you guys kind of feeling the national divorce thing in Canada as well? Because
Totally.
you're
It's
talking
been
about
going on
Albertan
for a while.
separatism. Yeah.
Trudeau and Biden as well. It's mirroring on both sides of the border. They're both saying that, we're the most united we've ever been.
Oh, are we?
And that's obviously not the case in Canada, and I assume the United States.
Yeah.
also.
Should
I
have
would
made
agree
that the
that-
free spot on the bingo.
I mean, Biden and Trudeau are probably more united than ever before,
Yes.
but the people of their country are not.
The actual
United
countries.
under Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
So
Come on, man.
we had one guest was saying that Canada has actually had very serious points of near I don't know about total collapse, but like breaking apart in like the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, Quebec, it was like 49% to 51%, wasn't it? For secession
close.
for the Quebecois people.
It was a couple thousand votes.
It was very tight.
And that would have made them an independent nation.
Yeah, and they are very culturally different. Like if you go to Quebec, literally it feels like Europe to some extent.
It's
They're
actually
they're
Latin
like
America.
France's mentally challenged cousin.
But isn't Montreal in Quebec?
Because they speak English.
So Montreal is fairly like half and half though, like half kind of French
Yeah,
but kind of
yeah.
English. But like Quebec City isn't it like all French?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have such
but
a
they're
French
also very
supremacy
conservative.
too. Though. They are. That's the thing. I'm having so much trouble because when you go to Quebec and you don't speak French, they're like horrible to you. But then all of the cool politicians are coming from there now because they've got that sense of nationalism, like
Good for
Pierre
them.
Poilievre,
Maxime Bernier.
Maxime
well, Pierre
Bernier,
actually is
yeah.
from Calgary, just like Ted Cruz.
Is he?
Yes.
I just
Ted
he's
Cruz
got a
is
French
from
name, so
Calgary.
I'm just discriminating.
If they were to, if like Quebec did secede, would they be then with the British? Because like I'm a little, it's fuzzy about the connection between Canada and the British Empire. I know it's part of the Commonwealth. I believe it's part of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
We were part of the Commonwealth.
And then so if Quebec was to secede, would it still be part of the Commonwealth?
No,
Or-
they do not want to be a part of the Commonwealth.
And then
They're-
would the British like just send in the royal, the Canadian
they
Mountain Police or
care?
whatever, and come in and
No,
be
I
like,
think
oh,
that,
the
like,
king says.
there was a Supreme Court ruling that like the Clarity Act is what it was called, and it allowed for any place in Canada basically to separate if there was a clear margin and a clear question when it came to secession. And it's a big question whether or not Quebec would have met that if they were over 50% or not. But at the end of the day, they weren't. They were at 49%. So nobody really knows. But if they were, you know, say 60% of them voted to leave, there's a Supreme Court ruling that says we can do it.
49%. Oh, they needed 60?
Well, they needed more than 50 at least.
And they got 49.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. What a
Well,
weird,
let's-
strange, dark coincidence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk about what's going on here in the U.S. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to, because it's a special episode, Timcast.com. If you guys haven't already, this is, we got a team of journalists. They report on news every single day. We fact check. We have a bunch of shows. If you want to support our work, go to Timcast.com, become a member. I don't think we're going to have a member segment tonight because we're probably going to do this show long because I imagine the State of the Union will be a bit of time. But if you want to keep the show going, if you want to support our journalists, signing up at timcast.com, you'll also get access to our whole members-only library. We have a ton of awesome members-only shows, including one with Lauren last night.
Yeah.
Talked about flat Earth for some reason.
So good.
We
I
went
I was
to
there too.
Atlantis,
When you pulled
moon
the
landing.
great
the
bunch
Earth
of
dome.
crazy
some
nonsense.
wild
It was
stuff.
amazing.
It was fun. It was fun. So you can definitely support us there. And I just want to mention, too, because for those that are just tuning in, we do have these bingo cards, and we're about 20 minutes out from the scheduled time for Biden's State of the Union.
Allegedly.
He will
In
be
which,
late.
allegedly, in which we will be enjoying these fine beers from Old 690 Brewing Company. And whenever Biden engages in one of these behaviors, we will be taking a drink and marking it off. So I've got like only Democrats clap, mentions January 6th, uses a fake word, fake tough guy, starts late. I was just thinking this, like, what if he starts by literally hitting every single one of these in one paragraph?
You just die.
Where he like, he's late. He comes out and he goes,
I ended COVID, man.
no, he comes out and he's like, I'm sick of these bullies. People like Putin, Donald Trump, who exponentially get worse,
Yes.
especially with January 6th. And then only Democrats clap.
Yeah.
And this is after he tripped up the stage.
Yeah, gets pulled off early.
going to stop Russia. We're tuning Ash up under
Yes.
pressure.
Does he read this off a teleprompter?
Yeah, his
for sure.
teleprompter is really bad at spelling, and so he just like
You
writes
can
random
see him
things. and
squint.
then-
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
disturbing.
yeah.
Well, that should have been one squinting at the
Oh,
teleprompter.
squinting would be a good
And-
one.
And people need to
I
realize,
said
too.
that. No one
Where
wrote
were
it
you?
down.
No, that's
I
not true.
said
You
that.
didn't. First of all, you absolutely
You
didn't.
ignored me.
He got all that eye work. He
I'm
got
sorry,
like
what's
an
the-
eye
what did you
tuck or
just say?
something.
No.
Now he looks like he's perma-squint.
Yeah.
But you can tell.
I think a lot of people misunderstand, too, when Biden will stop talking or stutter or stammer, it's not always because he's losing his mind. It's because the prompter isn't moving fast enough.
Yeah.
So you'll notice
So
this
just
with...
wait.
Well, the Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
One of the things you'll notice he does is he has his special thing where he adds words,
Actually.
or he does a thing where he was like, and some might accuse me of rooting for Russia, which I am.
Oh.
Like he adds that last bit because it allows the prompter to move a little bit. I'm assuming that maybe that's just who he is. But there are some points where I'm like, he did that because I've read from prompters before. I've done news reports, and it's like you're waiting for it to catch up, and if you have that freedom, you can do it.
A lot of places will have like the pedal though.
Yeah, you should have that.
So
speaker.
I did the news in Australia a bit, and the pedal stopped working once. There's no other like worse fear in the world than being live on the news and your
What did you
teleprompter
do?
pedal.
Did you wing
Oh,
it?
I can't even. I think someone else beside me saw that mine wasn't working and just like saved my ass.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
Is it like you push it
goodness.
forward and it speeds up and you push it back and it goes backwards?
Yeah, and like you got to be like driving a standard manual
You need a
car like
license
that
for it.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, Biden could not handle a pedal.
No.
No,
I
I mean, he can barely
yeah.
stand up.
Yeah,
So here's what we're going to do. Instead of doing the normal super chats, because I think we'll just read super chats while the State of Union is
yeah,
going.
let's do that. That sounds
So
fun.
I'll be laughing and joking and drinking and marking off our bingo cards. But then we as well will read your super chats like often as we can, within reason. Funny jokes and comments you might have to add to things or fact checks, and then we'll be fact checking as much as we can as well. I think most people here, considering the eclectic bunch we are of politicos and people who read the news, I think it's going to be very easy to fact check a lot of what Biden says. He'll say something and then immediately Seamus or, Keean will just be like, oh, that was X, Y, and Z. He's
Keean's
wrong.
quite the expert. Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. We still have about 17 minutes. I do believe they'll be late, but let's talk about what's happening with this People's Convoy.
Oh.
We have this story from the Daily Mail. The People's Convoy reaches Illinois as it makes its way to Washington, D.C. for trucker anti-mandate protest. Capitol is on high alert ahead of State of the Union address. I will also add over at timcast.com, we have a reporter, Elad, who's currently tracking with the convoy right now. He's going alongside and interviewing them. Those videos are up. Be a member if you want, but they're free. We get that news reporting to you guys. But this is interesting because this is not the Freedom Convoy. This is the People's Convoy.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, so the Freedom
There was
Convoy,
two.
I don't know if the Freedom Convoy for the U.S. didn't make it or what's going on with it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was just one the whole time. I was surprised.
It was like
two
12
there,
actually.
too.
I just know there's a convoy, and it's got about 250 people, and it's going to be arriving in D.C. on the 5th. And they're like I mentioned, maybe it's just for the State of the Union, but they have put up all the barricades around the White House. Sorry, the Capitol. 2 different white buildings.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But yeah, they
They're
put
all
up all
the
the barricades. They're pretty worried about this. Do you guys think it's gonna get like Trudeau level, where it's just gonna be honking in the Capitol?
No.
No.
January
What do you
No.
think's gonna happen?
The DC police are very, very good at dealing with protests. And I imagine, for one, the truckers probably, I think there's a good chance they won't even be able to make it into the city. As they start arriving, there's going to be cops at key entry points, and they're going to, fan the trucks in the other direction. So I don't think the trucks will get into the heart of DC like what happened with Ottawa. Boy, did they really screw that up. The simple logistics could have prevented the protesters from succeeding. But man, Canada, Trudeau and the provincial government didn't seem to know how to handle that. But I think the U.S. is going to be able to. More importantly, however, I think the bigger risk is they'll let them come in. And then you'll get some narrative about insurrection.
Again,
Yeah. They'll manipulate it. They'll use it, and they'll say, "Oh, let them come." And there's already been reports. People are saying that there have been feds who are trying to infiltrate or incite people, and they're like, "No." So I'm hearing that many of the people are saying they don't want to go to the core of DC for that reason. They want to stay slightly outside so they can make their point. Be like protest and obstruct enough without actually getting anywhere near close to these buildings.
Well, isn't it interesting that this had the effect of making people feel too afraid to protest near the actual center of political power?
Yeah.
But
Madly
you might
disturbing.
just have Ray Epps on the
exactly.
side of
Ray,
town. Like,
yeah,
come
Ray
on,
Epps,
guys, get over here.
Ray Epps drives a truck, and then they open the Capitol building parking garage and let the
Yeah.
trucks go in there. And they're like, they had an insurrection in the parking garage. They weren't supposed to be in there.
He's got an open invite. If Ray wants to come on the show and talk about stuff.
Maybe. I don't know about that.
FBI, no FBI, what's up?
Maybe. I
What's
think
up
we have
is
to.
D?
I think he would have to do a sit down interview answering a ton of questions before we would just have
Many.
Yeah,
Didn't
Do
you
you
just
play
buy?
Magic
Didn't you
here?
just buy a lie detector
Yes. No, that's not
did we
work.
just buy one?
for
I would love to
donuts
test
or
one of
something with the
those.
fridge? You needed a lie detector.
Oh yeah, somebody. I bought a bunch of these donuts, and they come with. You have to like build them yourself.
Yeah. they're
Was that
great.
you, Ian?
No. Did someone eat just the donut?
Ian's
No.
got
Or they
frosting
just ate
all
the
over his
frosting?
face.
Yes.
Worse.
That
the
wasn't
frost.
me. That's
Someone
horrifying.
stole
blasphemy.
7 icings
What?
from our donut
We
box.
have other sugars in the house. Why would they do
I
that?
want people fired.
But they didn't eat the donut.
How
So somebody
dare
like took
they?
the icing and just drank it.
I would be so
Dude,
mad.
I think it might have been Joe Biden.
That's probably who
Who's
it
the
was.
sugar
Joe
head?
Biden sneaking in at 3 a.m. and he's like, "Come on, man!" But he's whispering to himself, "Come on, man!" As he's opening up the donut box and stealing the
come on.
icing.
Who's Hunter?
So anyway, yes.
Oh man.
The plan is everyone's denying it, so we got a lie detector. I think we're ordering one or something.
Let's
like
do
like
it.
a fake, thrift store lie detector or something like that. A used polygraph, and
Can
then
you
we're
get
gonna
like a top CIA quality lie detector? Can you just
Don't
buy them?
it's all
work.
BS
They
anyway.
Don't work.
Yeah, they don't really work that
Because
well.
it's if you think you're lying, it'll go. If you have
It's
agitation, but if
looking-
you're lying and you're calm, it won't know. That's
looking
why they
for
don't use them in
stress.
court.
Right.
It's looking to see if you're stressed
All
by the
it's looking
question.
for,
Yeah.
So if you're nervous the whole time, it's fine. But if they see stress when you answer a question, they're gonna think.
By the
"Ah,
way,
he's
that's
lying."
how the neural net and metaverse is going to be tracking you. If they sense your emotions, they're
Oh,
going to know.
dude, they can read everything.
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
gonna have to have just a solidly clear mind when you're in there.
I've already joined the what are we calling it? Are we calling it the continuum or the singularity? The singularity,
what?
right?
Gosh, why?
The singularity.
Oh, don't like that.
So I got a whoop.
The
The-
boss.
I
is
got
like
the
you've
the
joined.
singularity.
What is
Yeah,
this?
Luke convinced me. He said, "One of us." When I was like,
good,
"No,
yeah.
Luke, stop!" and then he pinned me down and he put the whoop on my wrist.
What is that?
You were right.
It tracks your health and it shows you like your strain and your recovery. It shows you your heart rate, your skin temperature, your resting heart rate. My resting heart rate, 48.
Beautiful.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, so I went to the doctor for a physical because I was feeling sick. Turns out I was dehydrated. And they hooked me up to the heart rate thing. And I looked at it, and it was in the low 50s. And then it dropped down to like 45. And it started going, "Wah, wah, wah, wah," like low heart rate warning.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine. And the nurse came in, and she was like, "Are you very active?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay." And then she's like, ignored it.
Yeah,
And
when
was
I
like,
worked in the
"All right."
cardiology unit, we had a biker guy who ended up in one of the ICU units. I'm assuming he got hit by a car or something, and his alarm was constantly buzzing, and we had to set it to a lower rate because he was like hanging out in the 40s, 38, 39. They thought he had a
Whoa.
heart block, and I was like, "No, it's just really freaking fit." It turns out.
Wow, good
So,
hearts,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
My goal is to get my resting heart rate to 1,
Nah, it doesn't work.
just for a moment.
No, I don't think so.
wanna try
The
it.
Do
lowest
that.
I've ever seen it was for me was 42.
That's pretty low.
Yep. And like I exercise a lot. But anyway, the whoop is it. Somebody said because Luke was wearing one on the show, and somebody said that it like sends all your data to the corporations or whatever, and it's got like a bunch of lasers and it's tracking everything. And I'm like, I don't know. It's telling me,
They have it all anyway.
Luke wore
But
that?
you know what
That's
the interesting
surprising
thing
to me.
is? When I wake up, it tells me like, here's your recovery from your sleep. And it's always telling me that I need to sleep for like 12 hours, but I sleep for like 6. And I'm like, I can't sleep anymore. I'm working. But it shows my recovery rate. The funny thing is, I don't need it to tell me if I feel good when I wake up because I
Right.
feel good or I feel bad.
That's weird that it's telling you feel good.
Tim,
no,
you
it
just
shows
think
it
you
says
feel
like
good.
78% recovery or something. It's a green, and it's like, good job.
like
and I
it's-
wake up, I'm like, I feel great.
Because technically it's proprietary, and if a crazy person gets the corporation, they could be like, yeah, let's tell him he feels like trash. Let's tell him his resting heart rate's way lower than it is. Like, screw with
No,
people.
but when I was dehydrated, I had 2 nights where my recovery was extremely low. And the issue was I was drinking regular water, not getting electrolytes. So I wasn't retaining. And that was the problem.
Interesting.
So I thought like I drank a bunch of water and then I was told by the doctor, drink Gatorade. And so I
Yeah.
drank a bunch of Gatorade. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, man.
Your heart needs electrolytes.
I did not realize because I'm always drinking, water or like lemon juice and water and stuff like that. So electrolytes. It was making me
that
feel
black
down.
water is really good. We got this new mineral black water. It's a little sweet, and it's dark brown with minerals. It has 72 different added minerals. Pretty cool.
Looks gross.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It is. Yeah.
You know what you guys have too downstairs? You have air in a tank.
Air in a can.
Did you
I
breathe
literally
it?
have air in a can.
I did.
It's
What would you
trash.
think?
It's not air.
It was just air.
nothing.
It's not air.
What
It's
is it?
not.
It's
Oxygen.
95% oxygen.
Pure oxygen.
You know what?
It's not the same thing. So this is I'm a smart ass, right? So we
Yes.
were at
I hate you, Tim.
yeah, we were at Dick's Sporting Goods, and we were getting a new treadmill and we're getting a new workout thing because we genuinely here want everyone to work out, and I even said like I'll get like a trainer to get everybody to exercise because we want people to eat right and be better and be strong, and the guy they have these oxygen canisters at the counter when we're checking out, and I said inhaling pure oxygen is bad for you. It's 95%. And the guy goes, no, it isn't. It's just air. And I was like, nope, actually, it's not. It's oxygen. And he goes, and what do you breathe? And I was like, we breathe air, which is a combination of mostly nitrogen,
Yeah,
carbon
nitrogen,
dioxide,
oxygen.
trace gases like methane. And then he was like, oh. And I'm like, people really think that we breathe oxygen. That's like all air is.
78% nitrogen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't like the atmosphere ignite if it was like above like a certain percentage of oxygen or something like that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Rust
that's probably why it
immediately.
burned off. That's probably what happened.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know all about
Maybe
that.
that's
All I
what
know is that I learned when I was like in 5th grade that it's mostly nitrogen or whatever.
Yeah.
We're just
a
breathing.
lot of
It was an
nitrogen.
inert gas.
Nitrogen is a fascinating chemical.
Is it?
So it's air. It's I'm sorry, it's
Nitrogen.
gas.
You got
It's
another
not air.
chemical.
When you say what's in there, it's gas. It's fluid. It's not necessarily air.
Oh, hey,
It's
the
a kind of air, I guess.
All right,
So
so, air.
come on.
So yeah.
Let's go with air.
they officially started the State of the Union stream.
They started early.
Is he
no,
on
no,
time?
No.
I can't
It-
believe
it-
Biden's trying to compete
The
with us.
stream has begun.
Oh, cool.
But right now it's just a picture of Joe Biden.
He needs like a band to play it. Like
Does
he
that
needs
mean
Why do you
he's on
think
Coldplay or
they?
something.
Why do you think they disabled the comments? I thought there was like a First Amendment here in the
Yeah,
United States.
81 million.
Why do you
votes,
think they
maybe?
hid the dislike count?
That's crazy.
Do you guys? Hey, install
Oh,
install the dislike button app on Chrome.
Let's check that right now.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't
I have it
actually
on my
do that.
laptop.
It doesn't
Oh, no.
actually show you the
Chrome.
real dislike count.
Yeah.
It guesses.
Based on what did you get?
It guesses based on
What you used to
you can
get,
read
maybe?
you can read. They say the first wave was based on the data they already had on dislikes, and the next is based on metrics that correlate with dislikes or something.
I feel
So,
like
like-
we could test this theory by looking in the back end and then getting someone else
Yeah.
to use it on our video, you know?
Yeah.
I could see you could track the amount of total clicks, then the amount of total likes, and then subtract it, and then get the amount of total dislike clicks.
I will
but they don't have a
say,
dislike button anymore, do they?
I've noticed
Yeah,
that since they've gotten rid of the dislike button, I get way less dislikes.
Yeah, I was gonna say people
Yeah.
don't feel as driven to do so because it's not gonna be a bad look for you.
in the beginning
I
of
hate
YouTube,
it.
it was a
It is dumb.
5-star.
It's
Remember
weird.
when they used to rate 5 stars, 1 through 5 stars?
Yeah.
I would give someone 5 stars or I wouldn't vote. I hated trashing people.
Like Uber drivers.
Yeah,
You got to give them 5 stars or
That's right.
or just don't worry.
otherwise they get fired.
They know
Come
where you
on.
live.
Unless they're speeding, and then let everyone know
Come
they're
on,
not
man.
safe.
So they disabled the comments, and I just want to say, so we have right here the President's State of the Union address from the White House official YouTube, which of course is public domain.
Of course, yeah.
And Chet is disabled. I would love to see that nightmare of a hellscape if they allowed it, and they should. And I actually think I think they should be obligated to have that because what's interesting is it says they've disabled it. That means the government has barred the public from something that should be there.
Like, didn't they try to sue Donald
They
Trump for
did.
blocking people on
Successfully.
Twitter?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the argument they could say is by having no chat for anyone, it's not,
Very equal.
but I would argue this. They've disabled chat for the public, and chat is a basic core function of a live stream. Therefore, my argument is the government is suppressing the right of the people to speak at a public event.
And dissociate.
Especially when the internet has become the new public sphere.
Yeah.
You look at with lockdown, like you
Yeah.
forced us in our homes, and now we're all online, and now we've got the metaverse, and now this is the new public sphere where we all talk and deal with our issues. And
It's
Should
like
we
if
sue?
the president was doing it in the public square and a politician was speaking in the public square and they said, you can come and watch this, but don't you
May
dare
not
speak to
speak.
your neighbor.
Well, let me ask. I'll ask the audience. For those that are listening, do you think that we should inquire? I say inquire because do you think we should inquire about filing a lawsuit over the disabling of chats for public broadcasts?
Hit 1 if you think so.
No. Hit 20
20.
because 20 means
You rolled a
critical
20.
success.
You're correct.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, if you think we should inquire about suing to enable, make sure that core chat functions that are a basic part. So let me explain. I say inquire because I don't know the law. We'll talk to a lawyer and see what they say. But here's my argument. When you start a live stream, and we do every day, Monday through Friday, not every single day, but we have to actually choose to not have a chat. We click disable chat. Actually, they may have changed that.
no, I
should
think
look
it's
at
still
that.
you can enable and
Yeah.
disable chat. And
But I
chat
think it's
replay.
they might have changed it to by default be disabled. In which case,
It's replay is disabled by default, but I think chat is automatic.
well, so there's the question. If chat is, everyone's saying 20. Absolutely.
everyone's saying 20,
If
yeah.
if chat is it says chat is disabled. That says to me that they have chosen to remove it. I think then the government should not have access to remove something. It's a private company, YouTube. Donald Trump got sued and lost over blocking people.
Yeah.
I don't think Biden should be able to get rid of the streams. And I believe that, you know why they disabled it? Because it would be people saying, we hate you, you're awful, we hate you.
It would be funny as
It would be
hell.
hysterical.
Yeah.
It would.
But instead, because the public is not allowed to comment on this and make fun of Biden, we're going to have to provide that service for you
That's
guys.
right.
I'm sorry.
we're here for.
I am down. Everyone's saying 20, so
Yeah.
I will absolutely. We'll do is we'll start with an inquiry. We'll see where it goes. There are other people who are better versed in this than I, and we'll see what we can get out of it because they may have changed. I don't know. They may have changed the way they do it on YouTube, which could give the government special arguments that they might be able to succeed in.
It's like when you don't allow replies on your Twitter. Like
Yes.
at that point, you've already lost the argument
Right.
at that point. If
Yeah.
you're not allowing people to comment on what you're saying, it's because you're either wrong or nobody likes you.
That's an interesting question too. Can a politician disable replies?
That's a good
In
question.
Canada, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
Trudeau's done it. Opposition members do it. Mayors do it a lot because there's no accountability there.
But you guys don't have a little thing called the First Amendment.
No, and it's awful.
Yeah.
Treasure your First Amendment because that's the best thing you got from throwing tea in a harbor.
Well, I mean, maybe the second.
First
The
and
second's
second.
good too.
No, it's true. It's true. Like Dave Chappelle said, the second is just there to make sure, in case the first doesn't work out. I think the first is the first for a
Yeah,
reason.
you got to be able to discuss if the second goes wrong. You gotta be able-
Right. Yeah,
Well, but then the thing is, I mean, the second doesn't just protect the first; it protects all of them.
Right.
that's true.
It's interesting. They were
But so does the
definitely
first.
philosophers, the people that made the U.S. And I like how they put the first one as speech
What
and
happened?
then
Nothing.
weapons second.
Oh, you're like freaking out.
No, I was
you
just gonna
lost
say.
your
I
mind.
hope that we get more viewers than the State of the Union does. No, I don't think we will. I was just gonna say the tweet about this only got 7,000 upvotes and 2,000 comments.
No, guys, we do have to. We got to ratio Joe Biden.
think-
Everyone,
We need to ratio
everyone
Joe
watching
Biden.
this,
Agreed.
share this
I'm gonna
link.
tweet that. We
Do it.
need to
Let's
ratio
do
Joe
it. I'm gonna have
Biden.
to tweet that too.
So
I'll be so embarrassed if he gets more views than us.
no, I'll be so
Can you
mad.
imagine more people wanting to watch Joe Biden than you?
The
No.
president, no.
I just,
can't.
I
No.
don't care who you are.
I'm
Yeah.
unimportant.
All right, you're more worth. Oh, my
Listen, we are all going to commit Sudoku if you do not
I'm almost
ratio
like,
the president.
we are
Yeah.
going to play Sudoku. It's a fun
yeah.
game.
I am deeply concerned about Joe Biden being our president. I guess I'll put that on the table now.
So I'm gonna shift things real quick because we have a couple minutes, maybe even 1 minute till the start, and I just want to mention something. And I actually am torn between talking about it, but I think we should. And that is that we got swatted for a 5th and 6th time today. So last night we were swatted. And I want to make sure, the reason I'm bringing it up is because there's security concerns over why it keeps happening so frequently. And I want to make sure it is known that we have instructed the police to respond every single time.
Yep.
And to take it seriously every single time. And we also have armed guards, and we have upgraded our security substantially. And the swatting has actually gotten a bit worse. I actually have now, I got to keep some of the details vague, but I was just sent photos from our security cameras. Several officers armed with short barrel ARs coming up to my house.
Exciting.
So this is going to be a fun year, to put it mildly. But we talked to the cops. They said, there's some concern about bringing it up when it happens because it highlights the issue. And my concern is what they could be trying to do is they do a swatting, and then the cops show up. And then as soon as the cops are like, okay, it's a swatting, and leave, they then come in afterwards. So when someone calls back and says, help, we're being attacked, they go, we already went out there for a swatting. We're not going back. And that's the real attack. So that's why we've been like, no matter what happens, you get a call, you show up, and they're like, you got it. So that's why we keep having the police, but they know about the show. So if they're greeted, we have, security has been up substantially. But now what's happening is, this is the interesting update. We've got FOIA information has been released to us, body camera footage. We have a name. I'm not going to say the name,
boy.
but the phone calls are automated. These are automatic swatting phone calls. Someone has created a bot that has, we believe it's a fake name. It might be a real name, but the police have determined that the phone calls are automated calls, recordings coming from California. The police have denied our FOIA request on some information because they're actively investigating what has now become like the most severe felony you can possibly engage in, because we've had 6 swattings. It's now become
Insane.
federal because we are on a tri-state border in the Washington D.C. area between 3 states, and now the swattings have penetrated, have crossed jurisdictions.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're now dealing with is not a single swatting. We're dealing with FBI level federal offenses between multiple state jurisdictions and federal offenses. So it's become extremely serious. We'll see how that plays out, I guess.
I was
Do you-
told,
do you, we hear nothing but bad things about the FBI, especially in the right-wing media sphere in Canada. Do you guys trust the FBI? Are they a reliable organization to deal with issues that you have on
I think-
non-political level?
I think there's a I've talked with different feds who work in different agencies, and a lot of them have said you got to understand the culture war exists everywhere. So if you know people who are leaning one way or the other, that's the exact same within these agencies. So I actually met a guy from the NSA, and he was like, my coworkers who are woke, it's insane, but me and my friends who work there, we're not, and we see it and it's scary. And I've heard that. So as it pertains to the FBI, I think there's an issue of the Biden administration being Democratic and that giving them a lot of sway. I think if you look at under Bill Barr certainly wasn't a big fan of Trump, but it certainly wasn't the same as it is under Joe Biden. I don't know if it wasn't necessarily the FBI, but we saw some stuff under Bill Barr that you'd probably be like, okay. And the Durham probe, it's a special prosecutor, so there's something there. We'll see how far it goes. Ultimately, though, I think the interest of the FBI is maintaining the status quo of the bureaucratic state. Mm-hmm. So I think, based on my experience, when it comes to certain high-profile issues, they'll deal with it like any crime they're supposed to deal with. When it's political, then you're going to see politics play a role. So as it pertains to us, I think we're probably like on the edge of something being substantially political to where they would care about politics. I think more so they would just be like, wealthy DC suburbanite individuals are growing increasingly concerned over the swatting, and high-powered lawyers who live just outside of DC are angry that they're hearing this. And so whoever is doing this is probably going to get a bunch of dudes in full blackout gear kicking their door in very soon, because I got some photos of something just like that. So
Oh boy.
we'll see.
Oh boy.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Is he
already
late?
it is 9:03.
We're late.
The State of the Union is late.
Lydia,
All right, someone breaking
no.
off one of those beers.
you got some pens over there, Lydia? I want to
Yeah.
pass
Here.
them
Oh,
around.
I finished my beer already. This is
got it.
bad.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Seamus, just
a
stand
bad
up
look.
and take one.
He's late.
We've got blonde ale and we've got raspberry wheat.
Take 3, Tim.
Seamus,
Stand up and
Take
take
as many as you
Seamus,
want.
go make
Sam,
me
would you like a
drink.
pen?
What's that?
I got a pen.
Keean, you
Get
want?
out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, let's see. Starts late. It's already
pen.
started late. All right.
Thank you.
I knew, but that was almost a freebie, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's definitely
no,
a freebie.
no.
Here, you take that one.
It
The
counts.
State of
Alright,
the
we're
Union
ready.
is late.
I'm taking the free space.
Oh yeah, the free space.
Yeah.
So what do you win if you win? Another beer?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
another beer.
All right.
Got my Diet Coke. I will not be
Starts
drinking.
late. I'm already winning.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. I need curses. He's not gonna curse. That's a tough
Come
one.
on,
He
man.
does curse.
He
Like-
might, yeah, every now and again.
What about son of a
He might
bitch?
like
Is that a
literally
curse?
cast a spell.
Yeah, he might actually.
He might cast a spell.
That is a type of curse.
Sure, not a shout of pressure.
Gets mad at a fake Republican. What does that mean?
Yes.
It means like when he'll get into arguments with people who aren't there, and he's like, he'll have like some hypothetical Republican he's getting mad at, where he's like, I'm losing my patience with you, that kind of thing.
If he walks the wrong way, gets
Yes.
mad at a fake Republican or curses, I win.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I have the same one.
Oh,
as
it's
you.
here. It's here.
Come on, man.
You have the same winning conditions?
Yeah.
I got hairy legs.
There's a lady. Who's that lady? Is she the sign language interpreter?
Yeah.
All right.
Does she know how to
I
say
love
hairy
I love
legs
this
in sign
conspiracy theory that the whole thing is pre-recorded.
It is
And I'm
not.
like, dude, there's way too many people there for that to be the case.
Yeah.
But people were saying it, and I was like, I don't know, man. Joe Biden can't. This is going to be interesting to see if he can make it through this.
Oh, so behind my head we have 123 live viewers.
They're
can't
winning us.
see.
We're getting
We are getting.
How are we
ratioed.
losing to Joe Biden,
How are we
the
losing to
president
Joe
of the United
Biden right now?
States?
81 million votes.
Hey, I'll say this: we got 60. We're half. You
Kind
know,
of.
I
Not quite.
love and appreciate all of you who are watching us as we are going to be listening through this
I do love you guys.
and drinking through this.
Do we have sound? Do we want to put it in the computer?
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
on the TV right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
All right,
banging.
Don't worry, we're still getting
I'm
warmed
so
up.
glad this is happening.
Whoa! What are they doing?
Oh,
They're
quit banging that in my ears,
smacking
bro.
Things. Jeez.
Wow, that was Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy.
Everybody,
worse
if
than
you're
honking.
upset that hurts your ears, it was Pelosi who did it.
Nancy's fault.
Thanks, Nance.
Okay, we got to watch him very closely here.
Yeah.
If he walks the wrong way.
I'm so curious.
Oh, and also watch out for inappropriate touching at this moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah. Inappropriate touching.
Did you see
yeah.
that I think it's a news article where they're like 71-year-old man inappropriately touches girl, and it shows Joe Biden, and then like it awkwardly cuts away and back, and he's not. It's no longer. He's not
No
on
longer
screen.
there.
Oh man, the moment you've all been waiting for.
We're all here. Let's go.
Come on, man.
And we'll be reading your super chats periodically as well. From the start of the State of the Union address, we'll be getting in your comments.
He has not tripped yet.
Wow, 141,000 watching now at the White House's YouTube.
You know what though? The fact that we're up to half
Say that
that.
Hold on.
What was that like?
I'm trying to see if the Republicans are clapping. Because it sounds like not everybody is clapping.
It's very golf claps.
Really waiting for those touches.
You know what, the Republicans, they're gonna clap.
They're team players or whatever.
They're classy, Tim.
There's Ukraine. Oh, Ukrainian flag. I see a Ukrainian flag.
Why was
I don't
that
think the
not on
Democrats
TV?
clapped when Trump walked into his last one. I was watching a video of it. It was very high energy, but I don't think the Democrats were clapping.
And all the women were wearing white.
Yeah. Was there a statement there that
we
I
are a
missed?
silly people. We are a silly country.
Unserious.
Absolutely. Not a serious thing.
Those Ben Franklin, TJ, they were like in their 20s, man. Well, Franklin was a little older, but those guys were
Yeah,
young.
he was older. He was older.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson was what, 26?
Yeah, they were young.
Oh,
Man,
there's Millie.
Oh, that almost looked like he was
That looked
walking
like a
the wrong way.
stumble.
got real quiet. Is he being guided by someone? Oh,
Oh, we should have put his handler
His
somewhere in
handler.
here.
Oh, here he comes.
Has a
Ooh.
handler.
Wow, he's a spry
what if?
guy, hey?
I gotta say, like,
spry,
what
yeah.
if it really is like a perfect State of the Union with no errors?
That would be awesome.
It's the most famous
Yeah.
speech ever delivered by any president in the long run. We just look like idiots. This is played in history
Wager.
classes.
What is it?
Oh, I thought he looked super confused.
If
for a minute
if
there.
Biden does not, how about this? If you don't get at least 5 on your bingo card, you gotta chug your beer.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, you
Absolutely.
gotta pay
Bang
attention.
thing again.
I kind of.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
It sounds like she has
Wow.
toilet paper in her cheek.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dentures.
That was way
tall.
different than how she introduced
Is
Trump.
she playing the drinking game
for
too?
Trump, she
She
just said
is,
the
yes.
President of the United States.
All
She
right.
uses vodka.
Okay, what's happening? It's getting quiet.
It's awkward.
10
moment.
seconds of silence.
Yeah.
That girl on the right.
Chat disabled.
They should have put her name.
DJ on Super Chat says there are a lot of empty seats in the chamber.
Wait, did he trip?
The laughing face.
I heard that
Someone's-
Pelosi banned certain
Someone said he
people from
tripped?
coming.
Someone said he tripped in chat. Did he trip? I didn't see it.
I
Because
didn't-
that's on
If you
the
didn't
card.
see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Keep your eyes on the
Thank
prize.
you all very much.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you, General. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Please. Thank you so much. Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President, our First Lady and Second Gentleman, members of Congress and the Cabinet, Justice of the Supreme Court, my fellow Americans. Last year, COVID-19 kept us apart. This year, we're finally together again. Tonight...
Oh, geez, don't clap.
Does this count as taking credit for ending COVID?
Yeah, does this count
No,
as
not yet.
gaslighting?
It hasn't
He'll
gone that
get there.
far,
He'll
yeah.
get there.
As Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, but most importantly, as Americans, with the duty to one another, to America, to the American people, to the Constitution, and an unwavering resolve that freedom will always triumph over tyranny.
Triumph.
All right, fairly neutral.
He's already having
It's a
hard
solid
time
start
talking.
for the man.
You know what? He's doing
I wonder how
okay.
much adrenaline they shot him up with before
Yeah,
this.
curious.
You know, by the end of the
About the
night, we might be cheersing
He's
him.
got horse epinephrine.
Yes.
My legs are
6 days ago, Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to shake the very foundations of the free world, thinking he could make it bend to his menacing ways.
Russia?
But
Tough
he
guy
badly
shtick.
miscalculated. He thought he could roll into Ukraine and the world would roll over. Instead, he met with a wall of strength he never
What is that one?
snap.
Wrong word.
He met Ukrainian
like
people.
That's not a fake word, though. He said
said
wall. He
mall.
stuttered.
Right.
That was
I think,
a stutter,
do we
and
have
I-
stuttered or stumble or something?
Yeah, I don't have it on mine,
I can't believe we
unfortunately.
don't have that.
I just said, yeah.
From President Zelensky to every Ukrainian, their fearlessness, their courage, their determination literally inspires the world. Groups of citizens blocking tanks with their bodies. Everyone from students to retirees to teachers turned soldiers defending their homeland. And in this struggle, President Zelensky said in his speech to the European Parliament, "Light will win over darkness." The Ukrainian ambassador to the United States is here tonight, sitting with the First Lady. Let each of us, if you're able to stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world of Ukraine.
This is not a strong
Thank
start.
you.
Does
Thank you,
Pelosi
thank
have
you,
to
thank
make
you.
noise directly in the mic like that?
It's the dead church.
Another
Can't help
attention
it.
He's
horse.
just oblivious.
They just defeated Putin, guys. I
That's
don't think
true.
you realize what just
World War
happened.
III's over.
She looks so uncomfortable.
Right, she's strong and she's resolved.
Uncomfortable.
To instruct these
Kyoto
people to
says
stay
need
silent.
put his pants block on the board. It's already happened.
That's the free part. It's given.
Yes. We, the United States of America, stand with the Ukrainian people. Throughout our history, we've learned this lesson. When dictators do not pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos. They keep moving, and the cost, the threats to America and America to the world keeps rising. That's why the NATO alliance was created, to secure peace and stability in Europe after World War II. The United States is a member, along with 29 other nations. It matters. American diplomacy matters. American resolve matters. Putin's latest attack on Ukraine was premeditated and totally unprovoked. He rejected repeated efforts at diplomacy. He thought the West and NATO wouldn't respond. He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready. We are united, and that's what we did. We stayed united. We prepared extensively and carefully. We spent months building coalitions of other freedom-loving nations in Europe and the Americas.
fake word?
Americas
He's
and
almost
Asia
there.
And
Yeah.
African continents.
They fixed his mic, though.
We're like 3
confront
minutes
Putin.
in.
Like many of you, I spent countless hours unifying our European allies.
Is it not sad
shared
that we're
with
like,
the
well, him
world in
slurring this
advance.
much isn't a big
I
deal,
know.
or
That's
worth
right. He's doing
noticing
pretty
or
well.
taking a drink
Precisely how
over?
we would try to
I don't have
falsify
slurring.
I don't
and
either.
justify
I
his
thought it would be
aggression.
too easy.
We countered Russia's lies with the truth. And now that
Oh, that's
he's acted,
misinformation, right?
The free world is
debatable.
holding
Well,
him accountable.
misinformation. Oh, he is kind of talking about misinformation.
No, he
members of the
said
European
we
Union,
countered their
including
lies
France,
with the
Germany,
truth.
Italy,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they've
as well as
lied.
countries
They've been
like the
pushing
United
lies like
Kingdom,
crazy.
Canada, Japan,
Well,
Korea,
Ukraine.
Australia, New Zealand,
We
and
put
many others,
misinformation
even
in quotes because
Switzerland,
we think he's going to say it.
are inflicting pain on Russia and supporting the people of Ukraine. Putin is now isolated from the world more than he has ever been. Together,
It's in quotes, so it's when the word misinformation.
Wait,
Yeah,
does Kamala Harris have
Together.
only a Ukrainian flag pin on?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see. She's hard to see in our.
Actually, we have a super chat. Goldilocks says, "Why are there so many Ukrainian flags in the American Federal Building?"
together, along with our allies,
There was a
we are
Ukrainian
right
insurrection
now
here.
enforcing powerful economic sanctions. We're cutting off Russia's largest banks from the international financial system, preventing Russia's central bank from defending the Russian ruble.
What was that?
That's it. That counts.
He made up a word.
Is that a fake word?
That's
I don't know if
fake
that's a
word.
fake word yet. I don't know if we're
We're
quite there.
choking Russia's
He was trying to say
access.
ruble.
We're choking Russia's access to technology that will sap its economic strength and weaken its military for years to come. Tonight,
He keeps saying words we
I
don't
say to the
understand, but
Russian
we know.
oligarchs
I know, we
and
know it's an
corrupt
actual
leaders
word.
Who built billions of dollars off this violent regime, no more. The United States.
This is the fake tough guy
That
shit.
sounds like
Do you
Yeah,
think
I
he's?
think
Yeah, do you
he's
guys
tough
think
guy
he's being
shit.
tough guy?
Absolutely.
Say.
Because
No
they're not
more.
doing
He's-
anything
he's
except
like-
sanctions. Like it's
Yeah.
So do we agree that's fake
I
tough
think
guy?
fake
Let's
tough
get
guy
it.
came out.
yes.
Let's
fake
just
tough
wait.
guy.
Hold
Department
on.
of Justice
It might
is
get faker.
assembling a dedicated task force to go after the crimes of the Russian oligarchs. We're joining with European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets. We're coming for your ill-begotten gains. And tonight,
That's fake tough
I'm
guy. I
announcing
think that's fake
ill-begotten.
tough
Actually, I
guy.
think the
our
Russian
allies
oligarchs
and
are
closing
kind of
off
a problem.
American airspace to all Russian flights,
It's
further
ill-gotten.
isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on
Yeah,
their
he said
economy.
ill-begotten.
Ill-begotten.
That's
That
not
means
a,
born wrong.
Yeah. So
Ill-begotten.
Ill-begotten,
Only
ill-gotten.
son. Yeah.
But begotten is not a fake word.
Right.
Right.
So
Use
that
the wrong
idea
word, not a
was
fake
right.
one.
So that's
Misuse.
fake tough guy
Not
shtick.
The ruble has already
I would
lost
say so.
30%
I already
of
crossed
its
it off.
value.
Fake tough
The Russian stock market has lost 40% of its value, and trading remains suspended. The Russian economy is reeling, and Putin alone is the one to blame. Together with our allies, we're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom. Military assistance, economic assistance, humanitarian assistance. We're giving more than $1 billion of direct assistance to Ukraine, and will continue to aid the Ukrainian people as they defend their country and help ease their suffering.
He sounds like he's drunk and falling asleep. I know that's when I talk and I'm drunk and I'm falling asleep. I'm like, get my
Sundowning.
words.
He is,
Sundown.
yeah.
I mean, it's actually really sad.
I know.
All
and
things
terrifying.
considered,
But let me be clear.
it's real cognitive decline.
Our forces are not engaged and will not engage in the conflict with Russian forces in Ukraine.
That's a fake
That's
word.
a
We're
made
not
up
going to
word.
I love it.
Europe
I'm writing
to
it down,
fight
clown
Ukraine,
fic.
but to defend our NATO allies in the event that
These
Putin
words,
decides
you
to keep moving west.
It's a fake word.
For that
Is that kind of
purpose,
a fake
we have
word?
Yeah,
mobilized
yes.
American
Clown fic.
ground forces,
Clown fic.
air
Clown
fic.
squadron,
Clown fic.
ship deployments to protect NATO countries including
Oh, I
Poland,
got two more to
Romania, Latvia, Lithuania,
Oh,
and
me too.
Estonia. And as I've made crystal
It's time.
clear, the United States and our allies will defend every inch of territory that is NATO territory with the full force of our collective power. Every single inch.
That's fake tough guy
Yeah.
for sure.
There's
If we
a
don't
lot
have
of
it
that
already.
in this speech.
We
yeah.
circled that 7 times.
Is this his red line?
Does
Yeah,
it ever get,
right?
like, is it ever tiring as Americans to know
And
that,
we're
like,
clear-eyed.
NATO is your
Ukrainians
military
are fighting
might,
back
and it's
with
like we
pure
rely on you
courage.
completely?
Yes.
But the next
Well, and then
few
other
days,
countries go,
weeks,
why doesn't
months
America have this social
will be
program?
hard
All
on
the
them.
other developed countries do.
That's
You spend so
right.
much on your
Violence
military
and
because we
chaos.
are your military. We are your
While you
military.
may
And that's
make
part of why we
gains
can't
on the
afford the social
battlefield,
programs. Though even if we
you'll
cut
pay a
military spending, we still
continuing high
couldn't if you look
price
at the
over
numbers.
long run.
Correct. Thank you, Seamus, for
Pound
running
of
that rant for
Ukrainian
me.
people.
Ramtack
Proud,
super chat
proud
says, "Is
people,
this the
pound for
state of
pound,
the
ready to
Ukrainian
fight for
address?"
every inch of
Apparently.
country that
basically,
they
yep.
have. They've known
He knows it's
30
going to make
years
him
of
sound popular to
independence,
harp on this. Right?
have repeatedly shown that they will not tolerate anyone who tries to take their country backwards.
That's right.
To all Americans, I'll be honest with you, as I always promised I would be. A Russian dictator invading a foreign country has cost around the world. And I'm taking robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy, and that we use every tool at our disposal to protect American businesses and consumers. Tonight, I can announce the United States has worked with 30 other countries to release 60 million barrels of oil from reserves around the world. America
16 million.
60.
will lead that
That's
effort.
not a lot, though,
I'm
is
going
it?
to crunch the numbers because we use like a
releasing
zillion.
30 million barrels of our own strategic petroleum reserve. And we stand ready to do more if necessary, united with our allies. These steps will help blunt gas prices here at home, but I know news about what's happening can seem alarming to all Americans. But I want you to know we're going to be okay.
96 million
We're going to
barrels.
Is
be
that
okay.
gaslighting?
He's almost
That's
with
History of this
gaslighting.
That's
era is
gaslighting.
written.
He said we're going to be okay. We are not going to be
No,
okay.
that's
We
That's
You're
not
right.
quite yet. It's a lie.
The rest of the world
We use
stronger.
20 million barrels a day.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're releasing 16 and
No,
then
60.
30.
While it
Three,
Okay,
three
it's like
days.
3 days.
3 days.
And then
of oil.
30. So that's, nothing.
Oh
Are
no,
the
we
Republicans
got
not
Putin
clapping?
now.
Yeah, we got
while
him.
it shouldn't have taken,
Well, it looks like the
while
Republicans
it
No,
shouldn't
at
have
least
taken
fine.
something so
generals that aren't.
terrible for people around the world to see what's at stake, now everyone sees it clearly. We see the unity among leaders of nations, a more unified Europe, a more unified West. We see unity among the people who are gathering in cities and large crowds around the world, even in Russia,
Like in convoys
to
in Norway.
demonstrate their support for the people of Ukraine. In the battle between democracy and autocracies, democracies are rising to the moment, and the world is clearly choosing the side of peace and security. This is the real test, and it's going to take time. So let us continue to draw inspiration from the iron will of the Ukrainian people. To our fellow Ukrainian Americans who forged the deep bond that connects our two nations, we stand with you. We stand with you. Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
The Iranian
He'll
people.
never,
Wow.
he'll never extinguish their love of
He
freedom.
said Iranian.
Yeah, he
Oh
did.
my
And
gosh.
he will never, never weaken the resolve of the free world.
He
said
meant Iranian,
Iranian.
Tim. He
He
meant
said
Iranian.
Uranian.
No, I mean, technically he's correct. That will not get them the hearts and minds of the Iranian
I mean,
people.
is he lying?
Fact check.
He's talking about Uranus, and I don't think there are people there.
Dude, he's had like a super interesting
tonight
word use.
in
Homeland,
an America
proud
that's lived
people,
through
iron will,
two
hearts
of the
and souls.
hardest
Like,
Very
this is
Nazi
like a
things
very
ever
like
faced.
right-wing speech,
Unified
but
Europe.
only for a
Pandemic has
different
been punished.
country.
Yeah.
And so many families
Iran,
are living
apparently.
I read it. Yeah.
struggling to keep up with the rising cost of food, gas, housing.
Inflation.
Oh,
so
he actually
much more.
acknowledged it.
I understand, like many of you did. My dad had to leave his home
Is
in
this a fake
Scranton,
story?
Pennsylvania to find work. So like many of you, I grew up in a family when the
believe
price
him.
of food went up, it was felt throughout the family.
Wasn't he rich?
It had an impact.
I don't know. Let's
That's
look.
one of the first things
Let's
I did as
fact check
president
that.
was fight to pass the American Rescue Plan. Because people were hurting. We needed to act, and we did. Few pieces of legislation have done more at a critical moment in our history to lift us out of a crisis. It fueled our efforts to vaccinate the nation and combat COVID-19, delivered immediate economic relief to tens of millions
He
of
wasn't
Americans.
rich.
It helped
He
put
was,
food
then
on the
they had a
table.
down
Remember those
turn
long
for a
lines
bit.
of cars waiting for hours just to
How do
get a
you-
box of
That's what
food
Google says.
put in their trunk?
He was wealthy and suffered
cut the
financial
cost of healthcare
setbacks
insurance.
when
Oh,
Biden
you're
was
right.
born. Yeah.
And as
He's
my
the
dad
poorest
used to say,
senator,
it gave the people
which is not
just
poor.
a little bit of breathing room. Unlike the $2 trillion tax cut passed in the previous administration,
Can I drink
that
anyone?
benefited
No, I have.
I've been
About to
doing that the
drink
whole
anyway.
American
time.
Rescue Plan.
How else could you get through
Wait,
it?
what
Booing,
did
we
they
didn't have
just
that as a
do?
The
big.
American Rescue Plan
What did they
helped
do?
working people and
Yeah, what
left
did
no
they
one
do?
behind.
He was talking about
Those are
Trump.
Republicans? Ah, talking about Trump.
Folks,
Did he actually say Trump?
$2 billion tax cut. Trump, $2 billion.
Did he say Trump, though?
No. Yeah.
And it
no.
worked.
Previous
He said,
administration.
yeah.
We'll think about
it
that.
worked.
That's blaming Trump.
Yeah, but we just have
Yeah.
Trump in quotes. Do we have blaming Trump on here?
I do not.
Are the words blaming Trump
I
here?
said that. Remember, if he blames Trump.
We
We
did
have
say
gets
blame
mad at
Trump,
a-
but I think it was
It
written in here
worked.
as Trump in
We
quotes.
created jobs, lots of jobs. In fact, our economy
did
created over
not create
6.5 million new jobs.
That's
just
a lie.
last
That is
year.
This is
out and
gaslighting.
out
This is
lie.
gaslighting.
This is gaslighting.
Yeah, that's
And
gaslighting.
1
congratulate
year.
self.
Than
Yes,
every
congratulate
president
self
in
and
the United
gaslights.
States
Yep.
of America.
Wow, I got a lot already.
I got a
Economy
lot,
grew at a
yeah.
rate of 5.7 last year, the strongest growth rate in 40 years.
It's
The first
interesting
step
that they
in
don't have
bringing
camera shots
fundamental
on
change
the
to our
gaslight.
economy.
Well,
They don't have
that's
camera
gaslighting.
shots on the
Working people in
Republicans.
this nation for
Are they
too
even
long.
there? I don't know.
So
I saw
just,
Madison
just to
talk.
clarify real
years,
quick for the
we were
gaslighting,
told the tax
we
rate for
lost
those at the
millions
top
of jobs and only
benefits would
recovered like
trickle down and
90% or
everyone would
something. So it's
Right.
not that we're creating jobs,
Yeah,
we're
That
recovering
trickle-down
jobs.
theory
It's a
led
great
to a weaker
resignation.
economic growth, lower wages, bigger deficits, and a widening gap between the top and everyone else in nearly a century. Look,
Look fat.
Vice
Heckling.
President Harris and I ran for office and I realize we have fundamental disagreements on this, but ran for office with a new economic vision for America. Invest in America.
They had fun.
Educate Americans. Grow the workforce. Build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because we know.
He sent
Because
out
we know.
top-down checks and built
Okay,
nothing
so
from
only
the
the
bottom up.
Democrats are clapping now. Those are the Republicans right there.
It's like a confused
Oh,
clap,
they're
too.
literally
Can we
not.
say
They're
only
right.
Democrats
When the
clapping?
middle class grows.
Democrats
Yep,
clapping,
Democrats
yeah.
clapping
Middle class
across it
will
all.
grow.
I need one more.
And
I
the
just need
wealthy
two
do
more
very
still.
well.
I need mentioning January 6th and I win.
America
Yeah,
has
You're
the
gonna
best
win.
roads,
He hasn't
bridges, and
yet,
airports
though.
on
I'm curious
Earth.
if he does.
And now our infrastructure is ranked 13th in the world. We won't be able to compete for the jobs of the 21st century if we don't fix it. That's why it was so important to pass the bipartisan infrastructure law. And I thank my Republican
Oh, we're
friends
supposed to drink when we cross them
join.
Oh,
off.
that's right.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no,
I think
yeah.
to invest
I need 3 to 6.
Rebuild America.
8, 6.
the single biggest investment.
Oh, I gotta
Which
drink
one
two
did you
more.
guys just cross?
Democrats only.
It was a
Slap it.
bipartisan
I'm-
effort.
I'm
I wanna
way
thank
ahead
the
of you
members
guys. I've just
both
been drinking
parties
this
who worked
whole
to make it happen.
Smart.
Oops.
We're done
If he
talking
says
about
January 6th, I
infrastructure
win.
weeks.
Oh,
What?
snap.
I need one
I
more.
think I,
Come
I,
on,
I have
dude.
the same sheet as you. I must.
Oh yeah, we're both gonna win.
Look,
What do we win?
He just needs to
Another beer.
inappropriately
Go on,
touch
yeah.
someone, and I might be okay.
That'd be cool.
it's going to
There's no
transform
one for him to
America
touch, I'm afraid.
to put us on a path to win the economic competition of the 21st century that we face with the rest of the world, particularly China. I've told Xi Jinping it's never been a good bet to bet against the American people.
His good friend
We'll
CJ
create
Ming.
good jobs for millions of Americans,
Xi Jin-
modernizing roads, airports, ports,
Chicken
waterways, all
Caesar
across
salad.
America. And we'll do it to withstand the
Amazing.
devastating effects of climate change and promote
Devastating
environmental
infects?
Infects.
We'll build a national
Also a
network
word,
of
not the right word.
Infects is another
500,000
fake word.
record
Effects is what he meant to
Getting
say.
what he's saying?
Began to replace the poisonous lead pipes so every child, every American has clean water to drink at home and at school.
Platitudes, but I like the
We're going to
the idea.
provide
This actually kind of just makes me sad.
affordable, high-speed internet for every American.
Nice.
Rural,
Gamers,
suburban,
finally,
urban.
no longer
You
oppressed.
could be a slave in the metaverse with no
That-
latency.
that's
Hey,
called-
hey, he's talking about me here.
Yeah, no.
I am oppressed because I can't
Many
get
of
good
you have
internet.
announced
We're
the
talking,
news.
Lauren. We're
point.
talking gamer
And
reparations.
tonight,
Absolutely.
I'm announcing that
Let's
this
do it.
year we will start fixing over 65,000 miles of highway and 1,500 bridges
He
in
forgot what he was
disrepair.
going to say.
That was a Joe
No, he
Biden
caught
3-0
himself.
for
You gotta give him that. It was close.
Yeah. I really want to mark it off, but I won't. Oh, look, they're not clapping. Kavanaugh just sitting there.
When we use
This is so
taxpayers'
awkward.
dollars to rebuild America, we're going to do it by buying America. Buy American products. Support American jobs.
Yeah, we want China to have
Federal
something nice.
government
Yeah.
spends about $600 billion a year to keep this country safe and secure. There's been a law on the books for almost a century to make sure taxpayers' dollars support American jobs and businesses. Every administration, Democrat and Republican, says they'll do it, but we're actually doing it. We'll buy America to make sure everything from the deck of an aircraft carrier to the steel on highway guardrails is made in America from beginning to end. All of it. All of it.
I like it. I'll give him credit for that one for sure. Say good
If he
stuff.
does it,
Yeah, it sounds near
But
impossible.
folks, to compete for the jobs of the future, we also need a level playing field
a loving
with
playing
China
field, did he say?
and other competitors. That's why it's so important to pass the Bipartisan Innovation Act sitting in Congress that will make record investments in emerging technologies
mumbling.
and American
I know.
manufacturing.
It's really bad.
We
Like,
have
it's
to
just
invest
normal to
almost
us.
2%
Slurring, yeah.
of our GDP
Why wasn't that on our
in
thing?
research and development.
Is this
Our
considered whispering?
brain
Don't now.
automatically
I think he
corrects it.
whispered.
Oh yeah, I
China
checked
is.
whispering.
Yeah, he's
ages
whispering.
Let
ago.
me give you one example
Yeah,
of why
Hold
it's so
on.
important to pass.
Did he?
Like earlier.
If you travel 20 miles east of Columbus, Ohio,
He did get real
you'll
quiet.
find 1,000 empty
Okay,
acres
I'll
of
question
land.
that.
So, yeah.
It won't look like much, but if you stop and look closely, you'll see a field of dreams,
So
the
embarrassed.
ground in which America's future will
What?
be built.
Kevin Costner.
That's where Intel, the American company that helped build Silicon Valley, is going to build a $20 billion semiconductor megasite,
I hate
up
it.
to 8 state-of-the-art factories
They're
in
already
one
prepared to lose
place.
Singapore.
You mean Taiwan?
10,000
Sorry,
new
yeah,
jobs.
Can't.
And in those factories, the average job about $135,000 a year. Some of the most sophisticated manufacturing in the world to make computer chips the size of a fingertip that power the world in everyday lives. Wow. From smartphones, technology, the internet, technology is yet to be invented.
Man-made horrors beyond our
Exactly.
comprehension.
Yeah, right? We're getting there.
In the field of dreams.
Yeah.
Who's here
Field of
tonight? I don't know where
nightmares.
Pat is.
Called the
Pat, there
field
you
of
go,
dreams
Pat.
because you have to be
Stand
asleep to
up.
believe in it.
Yep.
Who's Pat?
Who is Pat?
Pat,
Pat who?
My buddy Pat. Come on, man.
Everybody's standing up. Who's
He hasn't
Pat?
said man.
Pat came to see me, and he told me they're ready to increase their investment
know who that
from
is.
$20 billion to $100 billion.
Pat,
American
they,
oligarch.
they,
That would
Pat.
be
Pat.
the biggest
you know,
investment
Pat.
in
Defense
manufacturing in American
He's
history.
gonna give us millions of dollars, Pat.
Do you know what company he's
all
talking
they're
about?
waiting for is for you to pass
Intel?
this bill.
Intel?
So let's not wait
He
any
was on
longer.
Intel.
Intel.
Send it to my
Taiwan,
desk.
not
I'll
Singapore.
sign it, and we'll really take off in a big way.
Dude, Pat's going to help us make $135 a day in the field of dreams.
Who is this person that
Microchips
has?
the size of your
alone.
finger.
Who is this person that has purple
There's
hair?
something happening in America.
In
Like,
Congress?
yeah.
Oh, I don't
Just look
know.
around and you'll see an
Interesting.
amazing story.
Where's Waldo with the purple
The
hair?
pride that comes from
Someone
it.
chatted, "Look,
Stamping
Pat."
products
That's like
made
Pat.
in
It's
America.
I'm pretty sure it's a congresswoman.
Revitalization of American
Some-
manufacturing.
Someone, even in Canada,
Companies
someone
are
with
choosing
hair
to
like
build
that, I
new
don't think would
factories
be able to
here.
get elected. That's shocking.
When just a few years ago, they would have gone overseas.
Even in Canada.
Even
That's
in
what's
Canada.
happening. Ford is investing $11 billion in electric
Did he say
vehicles,
Florida or
creating
Florida?
11,000
Florida. Sounded
jobs
like he said
across the
Florida.
country.
Also,
GM is making the largest investment in history.
Gemma, our friend Gemma.
$7 billion to build electric
bad.
vehicles, creating 4,000 jobs in Michigan. All told, 369,000 new manufacturing jobs were created in America last year alone.
Pat Gilsinger, CEO of Intel. That's who that is.
Intel, 20% of Intel is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street.
Ah, well, this is fun live checking this.
21%.
It's just an advertisement for Intel, the State of the
Powered
Union.
by people I've met like
Powered
Jojo
by
Burgess,
Intel.
Right.
Generation
Pfizer,
2
Intel.
steelworkers in Pittsburgh. Who's here tonight? Where are you, Jojo? There you go. Thanks, buddy.
Jojo.
I bet he was
Did
cool.
JoJo give
Ohio.
a few millions too?
As Ohio
They
Senator
needed Intel
Sherrod
to run
Brown
the deep
says,
fakes of all the people in the crowd.
Oh my gosh, that's going to happen.
The
one day.
president should not sound this drunk when he's sober.
Who is Jojo?
I'm serious.
as Sherrod Brown says, it's time to
probably
bury
on
the label Rust Belt. It's time to
all like,
see
why?
the what
Forgot what he's saying.
Rust
Yes! What would you call it? Oh, no, he's saying it.
Now quiet.
I'm on with all the
We lost
bright
Lauren.
spots.
all right,
in our
drink,
economy.
drink.
Wait,
Forgot what
wait,
he's
Did he
saying.
forget?
Yes.
What
That was
the
10
end
seconds.
That
That
was
was
like
10
10
seconds of
seconds.
silence.
It
Close.
felt
That was like
10
5
seconds.
10 seconds and
Yeah.
It's
forgot.
not silence.
Shut up.
He's robbing them.
Did he finish his
They
sentence?
thought otherwise,
Yes.
they would be able to feel.
But he forgot what he was saying
I
for
get it.
several seconds.
He did.
That's
he
why
did.
my
Let me-
top priority is getting prices under control.
Lauren actually
Look,
fell off her chair.
faster than almost anyone predicted. The pandemic meant that businesses
The
had a
pandemic,
hard
Matt.
time hiring enough people because of the pandemic to keep up production in their factories. So you didn't have people making those beams that went in the
They
buildings
said
because
you
they were
couldn't
out.
work.
The factory was closed.
Beams.
The panic also disrupted the global
What did
supply
he say the
chain.
Rust Belt needed to be called?
Factories
Because whatever he
closed.
said is probably.
Well, he forgot
And
too,
that
so
that would
don't
be-
expect me to
longer
remember.
That'd be
make goods
newspeak.
and get them to
That'd
the
be
warehouses, to
Latinx.
the stores, and
Always.
prices go up. Look at cars last year. 1/3 of all the inflation was because of automobile sales. There weren't enough semiconductors to make all the cars that people wanted to buy. And guess what?
Correct.
Prices of automobiles went way up,
It wasn't because of that.
especially used vehicles as well. And so we have a choice. One way to fight inflation is to drive down wages and make Americans poorer. I think I have a better idea to fight inflation.
Oh,
He
good.
is a
Lower
genius.
your costs, not your wages.
What the hell will that do
does
to
that mean?
taking money out of the money supply, Joe?
We could lower inflation by lowering inflation. Thank you, Joe.
Inflation
lower the
solved.
cost, man.
Spend less money? That was
we
his
got-
his goal?
Kyle super chat
That
saying
means
Biden
make
just signaled
more
they won't
cars and
save Taiwan.
semiconductors
That's what I
in
said,
America.
yeah.
More
How did he say that?
infrastructure and
What did I miss there?
innovation in America.
They're building a semiconductor
More
factory.
goods moving faster and cheaper
Alluding
in
to the fact
America.
we're going to lose Taiwan.
More
Yeah, they're
jobs where
preparing
we can
for it.
earn a good living in America. Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
Yeah.
That's very
Look,
We should have had stealing credit from Trump.
Yeah.
Economists.
Yeah. Plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah,
do plagiarism?
That's
It's a little, no.
No.
Well, to
more
be
if he's reading
fair, what's
something.
written here is plagiarize, which could
Plagiarism.
mean, which could actually mean what he's talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa, I did not expect
Economists-
that.
USA. Hello,
I did
Democrats.
not.
What?
Didn't expect that. Yeah.
Capacity of our economy.
It's comedy.
I call
Company.
it building a better America.
Better.
Bro, this new Biden update
My
is
plan-
interesting.
Yeah,
Fight
it's like
inflation.
It sounded like he quacked.
Lower your cost and lower the deficit.
Building better
17
America.
Nobel laureates in economics said my plan will ease long-term inflationary pressures.
economists always wrong.
Top business
Yeah,
leaders.
right?
All-
They also
Paul
told us
I
to
Krugman.
print
believe most
trillions.
Americans support the
So
plan.
Exactly.
And here's the plan. First, cut the cost of prescription drugs.
That is
Oh,
a
like
platitude.
Trump
were these the same economists who
We pay
aren't
more-
sure where this inflation is coming from and didn't predict
Yeah, I
it?
think
Are you
so.
talking about economists? Because I don't know.
Economists? Yeah.
By the
I think,
same
it's not
company
economists, it's
in
economists.
America and any
Right,
other
Ian.
country in the world.
That explains it.
Just look at insulin. 1 in 10
There was an
Americans have
insurrection.
diabetes.
Vosh super chats. This is
Virginia,
literally
I got a
MAGA,
13-year-old
and he's
boy.
right.
It is.
Insulin,
Young man
talking about
standing
that
up
stuff.
there.
It was low
I
under
said
Trump.
America.
make better America or something. He just did a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
He's building back better. You know?
He and his
Building
dad
America
both
Come
have
on out,
type
Ian.
1 diabetes, which means they need insulin every single day.
That's correct.
It's an interesting
Insulin costs
switcheroo.
about $10
A bunch of
vial
right
to make.
wingers like,
That's what it
screw
costs
all this. I hate this
the
country now, and now they're
pharmaceutical
like USA because
Right.
they've got their
Drug
woke
companies
republic.
Charge families like Joshua and his dad up to 30 times that amount. I spoke with Joshua's mom. Imagine what it's like to look at your child who needs insulin to stay healthy and have no idea how in God's name you're going to be able to pay for it.
Is that a fake story?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Joshua,
Let's
it's
give him the benefit of the
insulin
doubt.
does cost like a
Yeah,
ridiculous
yeah.
amount.
You're
Like I
willing to
wouldn't.
look your child in the
We'll give
eye
him benefit of the doubt here.
to be the parent you
Makes sense
expect
to
yourself
bring a
to
kid
be.
with type
he
1
whispering?
I really mean to think about it.
This is whispering.
That's what I think about.
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
was a
whisper.
whisper.
He
That was a
whispered.
whisper.
All right, everybody drink.
Joshua's really like
Oh,
yesterday
boy.
was his birthday. Happy birthday, buddy, by the way.
Obama did that a lot. Biden's ripping him off. That whispering
So
tactic.
Joshua-
plagiarizing.
Make things better.
And 200,000
Dude,
other young
Obama
people
talked
with
like
type
the
1
Arthur theme song.
diabetes.
We got to work
Let's
together
cap
to
the
make
cost
things
of
better.
insulin.
Christopher
$34 a
Walken.
month.
Yeah.
Comes from the heart. Believe
So
in yourself.
everyone can afford it. And drug companies will do very, very well. Their profit margin.
That's what I'm
Wait.
worried about.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
see
really
what-
worried about
Wait,
That's
how
what-
are we
that's
going to
what
lower the
Americans
drug
want.
prices
Richest
and the
agreements
drug
on the
companies are going to do
floor.
very well?
Let's let Medicare negotiate the price of
by
prescription drugs.
Isn't this what Trump was saying?
Prescription
Yes.
jugs.
So-
Well, they're going to negotiate the price of prescription jugs.
Oh,
So-
They already
No, they prescribe those.
set the price for VA drugs. Look, the American Rescue Plan is helping millions of families with Affordable Care Act
Should've put
plans
look.
to save them $2,400 a year on their health premiums. Let's
What
make
was
these
that?
savings
Health premiums.
permanent. Second,
Ah, it's fish in a barrel, though.
I'm writing them all down anyway, dude.
What did you call it before? Eugraemia or
let's
something?
cut energy costs.
Uranian.
No,
An average
Before
of
the show.
$500 a year by
Yo,
combating
you
climate
Krangus,
change.
man.
You
Let's
Krangus.
provide an investment
You almost
plan
got that.
to
Well,
provide
I
your
know, I
own
was-
You should have just put it on there.
He's like,
to be energy efficient and get a tax credit for it. Double America's clean energy production in solar, wind, and so much more. Lower the price of electric vehicles, saving another $80
I'm sorry, what
a month
universe is he
that
living
you're not
in?
going to have to pay at the pump.
Like we're all going to make money and stop production of like fossil fuels and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
we're all going
Lauren, you don't understand. He's going to stop inflation by lowering
Third
prices.
thing we can do
So-
to change the standard of living for hardworking
Good
folks
plan.
is cut the cost of childcare.
We're going to do all
Just
of
do it. I know
We're
it's
going
like-
to do all.
here's what we
No
better,
more
man.
childcare, no more cost of insulin, no more inflation.
What we're gonna do? That's a good plan.
Vote for me.
Yeah, exactly.
leave Iran alone,
I've
man.
had,
Live in
you know, a
major
little
city
while
in
to do it, but
America.
I've been busy.
I'm gonna write you a check for $100, and I'm gonna come to your house and bake you a cake for your grandma.
And
I
snip
was
your
a
hair.
single dad for 5
every
years.
good thing
raising
you've ever
2 kids. I
wanted.
had a lot of help, though. I had a mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister that really helped. But middle class and
was he
working
a single
folks
dad for-
shouldn't
Yeah.
have to pay
Yeah.
more
His
than
wife
7%
died
of
in
their
a car
income to
accident.
care for the young children.
With his son. It was pretty
That's
hard.
my
That's
plan.
really horrible. That's really horrible.
My plan would cut the cost of child care in half for most families.
But pay those workers more somehow.
And
Pay
help
lower-
parents,
lower
including
prices.
millions of women who left the workforce during the pandemic because they couldn't afford child care to be able to get back to work. generating
Don't they have
economic growth.
Husbands?
Yeah.
But my plan doesn't stop
No.
there. It also
Seamus is
includes
shaking
home
his
and
head.
long-term
No,
care.
I think you're right.
More affordable housing.
I have no idea.
Pre-K for 3 and 4-year-old. All these will lower costs to families.
Oh, more affordable housing.
Under
We
my
do that too.
plan,
about
nobody,
child
let
support?
me say this again, nobody earning less than $400,000
I love how the plan isn't to figure out a
a year
single
will
family
pay an
wage. It's
additional
how to make it
penny
easier
Lie
for
and
strangers
Out and
to
out,
raise your
Lie.
kids.
out
Single
and out,
penny.
lie, out and out, lie.
What do you say,
My
Tim?
gosh.
No one making less than $400K will see their taxes go up.
Where is the out and
I may
out
be
lie
wrong.
box?
Well, next year 400K is going to
My
get you
guess
about
is
what
if we took
50K
a
a year gets you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
floor,
He's counting
that
on
we'd
inflation.
all agree that the present tax system ain't fair.
Ain't.
No, we don't agree with that.
Ain't.
We have to
Calmly.
fix it. I'm not looking to punish anybody.
Oh yeah.
But let's make corporations and wealthy Americans start paying their fair share.
Look, Bernie Sanders.
Define fair
Last
share.
Not
year-
looking to punish anyone, but let's make corporate America
Last
and rich
year-
Americans pay more.
That's right. No punishments. Fair share.
Like Chris Coons and Tom Carper and my distinguished Congresswoman, we come from the land of corporate America. There are more corporations incorporated in America than every other state in America combined.
What did he just say? There are more
And I still
corporations
won
incorporated in
36
America
years
than
in a
every
row.
other state.
I think he's talking about
The
Delaware.
point is,
Yeah,
even
because
When
it's
he
so,
stumbled again.
It's so quick
just
to
a fair
build
share.
business. in
Last
Delaware.
year, 55 of the Fortune 500 companies earned $40 billion in profit
40.
and paid zero in federal taxes.
That I don't believe.
Such like an
I don't
elegant
look.
way to
Don't
say
believe it.
40 for someone
It's
who's
not
like,
fair. That's why I
It's almost
proposed a
Irish.
15% minimum tax rate for corporations.
Ooh, tax the rich.
We've got
Socialist.
50
Let me look
or
up how much
15?
they pay right now. 15.
And that's why
Okay, that's still
in
pretty.
the G7 and other meetings overseas, we're able to put together, I was able to be somewhat helpful, 130 countries agree on a global minimum
Degree?
tax rate. So companies can't get out of paying their taxes
come
at
on.
home by shipping jobs and factories overseas. It'll raise billions of dollars. That's why I propose closing loopholes for the very wealthy who who pay a lower tax rate than a teacher and a firefighter. So that's my plan, but we have to go more detail later. I'm going to grow.
That's what
we will
concerns
grow the
me. Like, I'm like, I
economy.
don't hate this
Lower the
proposal,
cost of
but
families.
we're going to go into detail
So-
later.
So-
We'll figure it out
Waiting
later.
for.
15%
Let's get
taxes
this
for
done. We
corporations.
all
Right
know
now they
we've
pay
gotta make
21%.
changes.
What?
He's saying minimum.
Well,
So
they
there's
already
no
pay
way.
21%.
What, is he suggesting
Folks.
like they're escaping that though by finding loopholes, and he wants to ensure that they pay
Yes.
actually the 15%?
And while you're
Yeah.
at it, confirm my nominees for the Federal Reserve.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Buzz off, dude.
plays
This is
a
about the
critical
U.S.
role.
Ben.
Jeffrey Mack Super Chat says,
fighting
has
inflation.
Hunter paid his fair share?
Oh,
And
question.
conversely,
Lower
has
cost
Joe
and give
Biden paid his
families a
fair
fair
share and
shot.
10% for the big guy?
It will
That's
lower
true.
the
Good
deficit.
point.
The previous
Come on, man. That's a
administration not only ballooned the deficit
conspiracy
with those taxes,
thingy, man.
Conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy thingy.
it undermined the watchdogs, the job of those to keep pandemic relief funds being wasted. Remember we had those debates about whether or not those watchdogs should be able to see every day how much money was being spent, where was it going to the right place? But in my administration, the watchdogs are back.
We're spying on you again,
And
everyone.
we're going to go after the
With all those
criminals who stole
microchips on the
billions
fields
of
of
relief
dreams.
money
That's right.
meant for small business and millions of Americans. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Justice Department will soon name a chief prosecutor for pandemic fraud.
Ooh.
You gonna get this one fired too?
Oh, yeah. Right?
I thought he just got rid of prosecutors.
yeah, I thought he got rid
We
of
need,
people
we
investigating
need an
fraud.
independent coalition to investigate that.
I think we all agree. Thank you. By
This
the end of
sign
this year,
language
the deficit
interpreter's
will be
having a
down to less than
time.
half of what it
Yeah.
was before
They
I
have to be
took office.
expressive. That's part of it.
The only president ever to cut the deficit by more than $1 trillion in a single year. Lowering your cost also meant
She's great. I love her.
demanding more competition. I'm a capitalist, but capitalism without competition is not capitalism.
What?
Capitalism without competition is exploitation. It drives up profits.
He's talking about monopolies, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, to be fair.
Yes.
And he also
Impossible.
talked about
Corporations
cutting.
have to compete. Their profits go up and your prices go up when they don't have to compete.
Wait, what?
Small businesses and family farmers and ranchers, I need not tell some of my Republican friends from those states. Guess what? You got 4 basic meat packing facilities. That's it. You play with them,
Okay.
you don't get to play at all.
That's true.
Yeah,
And you pay a
this is
hell of a
based.
lot more.
I
A
gotta
hell of a
say.
lot more because there's only
WTF?
4.
I love Joe Biden now.
Moving goods in and out of
Look at
America.
Mitch McConnell's
Look at
face.
Turtle
Gotta do
Mitch.
more
During the pandemic, about half a dozen or less
He cursed.
foreign-owned companies raised
cursed.
Yeah,
prices
What did he say?
She said
He
heck.
said hell.
1,000%.
Did he say?
And made
Did he
record
say hell?
profits.
Yeah, he did.
No,
That's
YouTube
a
censored it.
crackdown on those companies
The closed caption
overcharging
censored the
American
word.
businesses
That
and
was
consumers.
fine.
I think
Fine.
that might be a profanity rather than a curse.
What do you mean by curse then?
Like,
Good question. I mean, colloquially, curse usually just means something you would consider a swear word, so I guess it would count for most people.
And as Wall Street firms
I'm
take
being
over more
pedantic.
nursing homes, quality in those homes has gone down and costs have gone up. That ends on my watch.
Tough guy.
Medicare is
Fake
going to
tough
set
guy.
higher standards for nursing homes and make sure loved ones get the care they deserve and that they inspect and they will look at closely. We're also going to cut costs to keep the economy going strong and giving workers a fair shot, provide more training and apprenticeships, hire them based on skills, not just their degrees.
Pork and Super
Let's
Chat
pass the
says a
Paycheck
lot of
Fairness Act
promises,
and pay
no
leave.
accomplishments.
Yep.
This isn't a State of the
Raise the
Union, it's a
minimum wage
campaign
to
speech.
$15
True,
an hour.
Sounds
because he's
like
not
that, that's
talking
so
about
funny.
anything that's actually
And
been
extend
done.
the child tax credit so
Yeah.
no one has
True.
to raise a family in poverty. Let's
Surprised he
increase
hasn't
Pell
mentioned
Grants,
COVID
increase
yet.
our historic support for
I wonder if it's going to work as well as his other programs.
I think it's
And
really cool that
invest
Biden solved every problem in
what
America
Jill,
tonight.
our
I think it's
First
really
Lady
cool.
who teaches
that he's done
full-time
that.
calls America's best-kept secret, community colleges.
I'm gonna fix it. You just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. It's like
Let's
that guy
pass
that
the
always
PRO
tells
Act.
you about that business he's about to
When a
start,
majority
and he
of
always
them
has like a
that
new one.
friend,
They should
yeah.
have been
I'm
able to
starting this
stop.
rap album. It's gonna be huge. Do you
That
want to
one
invest
friend.
in it?
Yeah, you just need $100.
Yeah,
From the
exactly.
bottom up and the middle
100
out together,
billion.
we can do something we haven't done in a
The
long
middle out.
time. Build a better America. For more than 2 years,
Make
COVID
America
has
great
impacted every decision
What's the
in
difference
our
between
lives.
build a better America?
life
I
of
guess
this
make
nation.
America
that's
great
like
again.
a new world
And I
order
know.
style.
Build a
That's
better
true,
America.
Build
Frustrated
back better, though,
and
is pretty much the
exhausted.
same as Make America Great Again.
That
Yeah.
doesn't even count the close to 1 million people who sit at a dining room table or a kitchen table and look at an empty chair because they lost somebody. But I also know this. Because of the progress we've made, because of your resilience and the tools that we have been provided by this Congress, tonight I can say we're moving forward safely back to a more normal routines.
Normal.
We've reached a new moment in the fight against COVID-19,
Flight.
where severe cases are down to a level not seen since July of last year.
Oh, so we're
Just
back
a
where
few
we were under
days ago,
Trump.
the Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued a new mask guidelines. Under the new guidelines, most Americans and most of the country can now go mask-free. And based on projections,
Ending COVID?
Convenient.
based on
Midterms.
projections, more of the country will reach a point across the next couple of weeks. And thanks to the progress we've made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives.
Ooh, takes credit
I
for
know
ending
some are
COVID,
talking
man.
about living.
You have that one?
Putin
Yeah,
did
I have
that.
that.
Thank you very
Tonight,
much.
Takes credit for
He
ending
did.
COVID. I'm so
we
close.
never will just accept living with COVID.
I just need January 6th.
just
If he
need
says
one
Trump,
Yeah,
I
that's
win.
it. January
If he says
6th
Trump,
is
I
that
win.
other
crux.
diseases.
If he says man,
Because
I
this
win.
virus mutates and spreads.
He's going to say
we have
both.
to
Who does he
stay on
mention
guard.
first?
And here are 4 common sense steps as we move forward safely, in my view.
It's all stuff he
First,
wants to do. None of it is stuff he's
Stay
done.
protected with vaccines.
What kind of
and
progress report is
treatments.
that?
We know
I
how
will do my
incredibly
homework.
effective vaccines are. If you're vaccinated and boosted, you have the highest degree of protection. We'll
your
never give up on
boosties.
vaccinating more Americans. Now, I know parents with kids under 5 are eager to see their vaccines authorized for their children. Scientists are working hard to get that done. We'll be ready with plenty of vaccines if and when they do.
I'm going to throw it.
We're all ready. We are also ready with antiviral treatments. If you get COVID-19, the Pfizer pill reduces your chances
Oh,
of
the
ending
Pfizer
up in the
pill.
hospital.
Are you allowed
by
to talk about ivermectin in the
90%.
States?
Yeah.
We're
Not on
we're
YouTube.
allowed to.
Kind
More
of.
pills than
It's like that
anyone
one
in the
thing.
world
Yeah,
has.
so never forget I said anything.
Pfizer is working overtime to get us 1 million pills this month and more than double that next month. And now we're launching the Test to Treat initiative. So people can get tested at a pharmacy, and if they prove positive, receive the antiviral pills on the spot at no cost. Folks,
He's saying these things
if you're
gives you the best protection, but from what variant? What's he
you're
talking about?
immunocompromised
Pfizer
or
made
have
that
some
pill.
other vulnerability, we have treatments and free high-quality masks. We're leaving no one behind or ignoring anyone's needs as we move forward. On testing, we've made hundreds of millions of tests available, and you can order them for free to your doorstep. And we've already ordered free tests. If you already ordered free tests tonight, I'm announcing you can order another group of tests. Go to covidtest.gov starting next week.
Joe,
Didn't we be talking about that forever?
Yeah.
We must prepare for new variants.
What happened with the last mail-in
Over the
test?
past, we've gotten much better at detecting new variants.
know.
If necessary, we'll be able to develop new vaccines within 100 days instead of maybe months or years. And if Congress provides the funds we need, we'll have new stockpiles of tests,
100
masks,
days
pills,
is months, by the
ready
way.
if needed. I can't promise a new variant won't come, but I can promise you we'll do everything within our power to be ready if it does. Third,
This guy's really stupid.
Dude, my
I
Twitter
gotta
feed
say.
is killing me.
His intelligence is not that
Just
high.
lower your costs is the new
we
just
demand the
stop being
shutdown of
poor.
schools and
Yeah, right.
businesses. We have the tools we need. It's time for America to get back to work and fill our great downtowns again with people. People working from home can feel safe and begin to return to their offices.
Josh Super
We're
Just
doing
in
that
time
here
for
in the federal
midterms.
government.
Josh Super Chat saying the
The
State of
vast
the Union
majority of
brought to you
federal
by Big
workers.
Pharma.
Yep.
And once
Pfizer.
again,
Intel and
work
Big
And
Pharma,
Intel.
dude.
schools
Yeah,
are
Brought to you
open.
by
Let's keep it
Pfizer,
that
powered
way.
by Intel.
Our
Yeah.
kids
Brought to you
need
by
be in
Pat in the
school.
Field of Dreams.
Gotta pay you $50, man.
Those patriotic colors. Oh, they're not American.
They're wearing West Virginia's colors.
I like that.
Well, 75% of adult Americans
Purcelled?
fully vaccinated.
That's it.
It's interesting that on the
Hospitals
White
are running
House
down.
This is so bad.
on the White
Most
House live
Americans can
stream,
remove
and it's
their
not like
masks
this on all of them.
and stay in the
Like Fox
classroom
News has
and
a
move forward
image
safely.
of Nancy Pelosi and
We
Kamala
achieved
Harris
this because we
behind Joe.
provided free vaccines,
The White House has cut off
treatments,
the head of
tests,
the
and masks.
vice president
Of
in this
course,
live stream. They
continuing
could have
to
just panned
discuss
out a little
money.
bit.
Will not
Sexism.
surprise you. I'll be
Honestly.
back to
Probably
see
just
y'all.
sexism.
Absolutely.
How does he have 290,000
Send a
views? This
request
is the
to
worst
Congress.
streamer I've ever seen in my
The
life.
vast
Yeah, but look how many
majority of
likes he's
Americans
got.
have used these
How many
tools.
super
Hold
chats
on,
has he
hold
got?
on,
Look at that
wait, wait, wait,
ratio.
Hold on, check it out.
Again, so I expect
They've got
Congress-
290,000
I hope
live
to pass
viewers
that
and 13,000 likes.
Fourth,
We have 64,000
continue
viewers and
vaccinating the
19,000
world.
likes.
Look at that
Which means
ratio.
Spent
their dislike
475
ratio is probably
million
massive.
vaccine
What
doses.
he should do is be
Ratio
like,
the
smash that
president.
like
That's
button.
right.
That's
More than any
incredible.
nation
A savvy
on Earth.
president would tell them to smash the like button.
We won't
Absolutely.
stop.
He's not in control of his own bowels.
That'd be
He's
awesome
not
if he
even
said that.
reading out
Build a
super
wall
chats.
high
How can you call this
Yeah,
man a
he's
leader?
not a
They're
good
watching
streamer.
Timcast IRL because they just panned out and
vaccine- the
showed
vaccine
Kamala
can
Harris's
stop.
face for
Totally
the
are.
first time.
Yeah, look at that.
Cool.
Now that they're zooming in again.
No way.
Thanks, guys.
You know, we've lost so much in COVID-19.
Guys, can you get him to say words right?
Time with one
Next.
another. The worst of all, the
Have him
much
say
loss of
man.
life.
That's all
I
I
don't-
need to win bingo.
I was
man.
surprised
Choose
he
this
forgot
moment
what
to
he was
reach.
saying because he's got prompters.
Okay, so
Stop
they're
looking
focusing
at
on Joe's
COVID
face. I see what you
as
guys
a
are doing.
partisan
They
dividing line.
panned out so you know the
See
context.
Talking
for
to
what
them.
it is.
I need you
God
guys to get him
awful
to touch
disease.
someone so I can win this
Yeah.
bingo.
Let's stop
Have him say
celebrating
man.
each
Listen.
other as enemies.
He said touch someone.
Yeah, I've
Inappropriate
got
contact.
inappropriate
Who we are.
contact.
Who would
Fellow
he touch?
Americans.
I just
High
need
five,
Trump.
Kamala
I
Harris.
I
just
don't
need
care.
Trump and I win.
Oh, I just need man and
Come
I
on,
win.
man.
I don't think he'll say Trump.
I don't think he'll say man either.
Yeah, I think he might say
It's
January
like he
6th.
who must not be
I'm not
named.
gonna say Voldemort, man.
Yeah,
He who
exactly.
can't be named.
I need January 6th, though.
We can't change how divided we've been. It was a long time in coming.
Who's
But
responsible
we can
for
change
that?
how to move forward on COVID-19 and other issues that we must face together. I recently visited New York City Police Department days after the funerals of Officer Wilbur Mora and his partner, Officer Jason Rivera.
Let me see if that's
They were
true.
responding to a 9/11 call when a man shot and killed them with a stolen gun. Officer Moore was 27 years old. Officer Rivera was 22 years old. Both Dominican Americans who grew up in the same streets that they later chose to patrol as police officers.
That was true.
I spoke with their families, and I told them that we were forever in debt for their sacrifices and will carry on their mission to restore the trust and safety of every community deserves. Like some of you that have been around for a while, I've worked with you on these issues for a long time.
He's slurring more.
I know what works. Investigating crime prevention and community policing, cops who walk the beat, who know the neighborhood, and who can restore trust and safety. Let's not abandon our streets or choose between safety and equal justice. Let's come together and protect our communities, restore trust, and hold law enforcement accountable. That's why the Justice Department has required body cameras, banned chokeholds, and restricted no-knock warrants for its officers. That's why the American Rescue Plan
No knock is.
that you all provided $350 billion that cities, states, and counties can use to hire more police, invest in more proven strategies.
Interesting. They're breaking with the far left.
I don't like federalization of police.
It's already happening.
Iggy says, I have an app allowing me to see dislikes. 3.9 thousand so far.
Messengers, breaking the cycle of
It
violence.
could be embedded live
Giving young
viewers, like
people
it's
some
being
hope.
played on other websites.
We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police.
That's right.
No, it's refund. the
What?
police.
They are breaking with the far
Fund them.
left.
Pay the people that you
Absolutely.
screwed back.
He's playing Trump's lines.
Yeah.
He's saying, build America back and buy
Fund
American
them
and
with
fund the
resources
police.
and
But this
training.
pandemic's
This
crazy,
is all,
man.
the whole
Whose
thing
idea?
is plagiarism.
and
Come on.
Yeah, the whole thing,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Protect our community.
Is that fair? Can we call that plagiarizing?
No, because you didn't
it's
quote
tough,
the exact
but-
words.
It's true.
Pass my
But
budget
plagiarism
to
doesn't
keep
have to
our
be an exact
neighborhoods
quote.
safe.
Let's
Often
see
it
what
isn't.
plagiarism
Yeah,
is.
we
Do
meant like
everything in my
stealing
power
other
to
people's
crack
work.
down
I think he
on
has,
gun
at this
trafficking,
point, plagiarized.
ghost guns.
I agree.
I mean, they were good ideas, so you could say Trump
we've got
plagiarized.
tons of super chats saying
No
he's stealing
serial
Trump's
Yeah,
lines.
it's taking
Yeah,
work
Trump
or
was like,
ideas.
okay,
and
pass
using
my
it
budget,
to
my
my
always-
homework.
just
it's
change
interesting
it a bit.
because, like,
Plagiarizing,
I
I
yeah.
always wanted to know what a
Pass
Trump speech
universal
would sound like if
background
he was
checks.
drunk.
Why?
And I'm getting an
Anyone
opportunity to hear
on the
that tonight.
terrorist list
Look at this way he wants
is
to ban
able
guns.
to purchase a weapon. Why?
It was a stolen gun.
Why?
I was going to put gun control on here, but I thought no
Dang
one
it.
cared about that
Folks.
issue right now.
Is he going to bring up immigration?
I
we
say
said no one
plagiarize.
cares anymore. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
plagiarize. I think plagiarize. He has totally taken Trump's talking
There you go.
points.
I'm drinking.
Plagiarize is a legal thing, though. So
No, it's like
Kevlar vests?
an educational thing.
Allegedly.
Look,
Well, we
repeal
spelled
the liability
plagiarize wrong,
shield.
didn't
It
we?
makes
Yeah,
gun
we did.
manufacturers the only industry in America that can't be sued. The only
no
one.
pharmaceutical companies,
about
bro.
Here's one for the audience.
Imagine
Every
had
time
we
you're
done
annoyed
that
by
with the
Biden, smash
tobacco
the like button.
manufacturers.
Yeah. Yes.
These laws don't infringe on the Second Amendment.
Oh,
They
that's a
save
lie.
lives. The
Gaslighting.
most fundamental right in America is the right to vote and have it counted. And look, it's under assault. In state after state, new laws have been passed. Not only to suppress the vote, we've been there before, but to subvert the entire election.
Lie.
Wait,
You
is he
can't
gonna
let this happen. Tonight I call on
appeal
the
to
Senate
African Americans?
to pass the Freedom to Vote Act, pass
That
the
is
John
pander-
Lewis
that
Act,
is-
Voting Rights Act.
Well, he's got
It's
to.
not. Yeah, it needs to be.
And while you're
overt.
at it, pass the Disclose Act so Americans know who's funding our election. Look,
And who's funding our president?
tonight, I like to honor someone who dedicated his life to serve this country. Justice Breyer, an Army veteran, constitutional scholar, retiring Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Justice Breyer, thank you for your service.
Thanks for retiring, dude.
So I can fill your place
Yeah.
mean it.
with an African American lady.
Get up, stand, let them see you. Thank you.
I think that counts.
I have mad respect for people that step down from power willingly.
I think that counts, though.
And we all know, no matter what your ideology, we all know one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president has is nominating someone to serve on the United States Supreme Court.
Here it comes.
As I did 4 days ago, I've nominated the Circuit Court of Appeals, Ketanji Brown Jackson, one of our nation's top legal minds, who will continue in Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence. A former top litigator in private practice, a former federal public defender, from a family of public school educators and police officers. She's a consensus builder. Since she's been nominated, she's received a broad range of support, including the Fraternal Order of Police and former judges supported by Democrats and Republicans. Folks, if we are to advance liberty and justice, we need to secure our border and fix the immigration system.
What?
What is going on?
Base!
You gotta be
Biden
kidding
is so base!
Oh my
goodness.
Come on, man. I've been saying it's got
Lauren's been the most excited for Biden out of all of us.
This is legitimate.
I'm way drunker than all of you. So I'm like buying
Sure.
into
Yes,
everything
I
he's
think we
saying.
Lauren, you've had way too much. All
I
right?
can't believe
At
he's
our
saying
border,
that.
we've installed new
That was a
technology
non
like
sequitur.
cutting-edge
He
scanners,
was like, "We're going to
better
appoint to the
detect
Supreme
drugs
Court
Gotta build a
and
wall,
secure our
man.
borders." Yeah,
Gotta
what?
build- Gotta build that wall, man.
We're putting in place dedicated
My
immigration
mind
judges.
is
in
Does this
a
count as him
significant
being
larger
racist?
number. So families
Yes.
Wanting
Not,
to
not till they want to
That's
retcon this guy and
faster
cancel
those
him.
who
I
don't
always said
legitimately here
build
can
a
be
wall.
sent
Wait, wait,
back.
I love
We're
Pink
screening,
Floyd.
we're securing commitments and supporting partners in South and Central America to host more refugees and secure their own borders.
Yeah.
We can do all this while
They do
keeping
need to
lit
do
the
that.
torch of liberty. that has led to generations of immigrants to this land. My forebears and many of yours.
It's almost like he's polling
Provide a
poorly or
pathway to
something.
citizenship for dreamers.
You could be on
Those
something
with
there.
temporary status, farm workers, essential workers. Revise our laws so businesses have workers they need and families don't wait decades to reunite. It's not only the right thing to do, it's economically smart thing to do. That's why the
Just like
immigration
lowering
reform
prices
is
to
supported
stop
by
inflation.
everyone from labor unions to religious leaders to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Let's get it done once and for all.
Get what done? This is vague.
Biden's gonna put like the last Lego piece of Trump's wall in and be like, I did it.
Build the wall,
I did it.
man.
I made the vaccines and I built the wall.
Advancing liberty and justice also requires protecting the rights of women. The constitutional right
Women's,
affirmed by Roe v.
I'm told.
Wade, standing precedent for half a
Oh,
century.
we didn't have that one, did we?
Dang
As
it.
never
We didn't
before.
put women in the
If you wanna
bingo
go
sheet because
forward,
Lauren
not
said no
backwards,
one
but
cares about
protect
women.
access.
That's actually true. She literally
correct.
said that.
I didn't
Right.
think they did.
No, that's
Continue
true,
to
yeah.
advance maternal health care for all
Is he going
Americans.
to talk about?
And folks, for our LGBTQ plus Americans, let's
Yeah, that's
finally
what I was
get the
thinking. They don't
Bipartisan
care about
Equality
women.
Act to my desk.
Yep.
The onslaught of state laws targeting transgender Americans and their families. It's simply wrong. And I said last year, especially to our younger transgender
Newspeak.
Americans,
Let's
I'll
get it.
always have
Yeah.
your back as
Let's
your
go.
president so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential.
You use the word
Folks.
God?
Interesting twist.
Yeah. He's not.
You know, this is a
pulling
Christian
I-
nation, man.
That's right.
Just
To build that wall.
demonstrated, while it often appears we do not agree,
Did we have a blasphemy card?
No.
we do agree on a lot more things than we acknowledge. I signed 80 bipartisan bills into law last year. From preventing government shutdowns,
These are
protecting
unifying.
Asian Americans from still too common hate crimes, to reforming military justice, and will soon be strengthening the Violence Against Women Act that I first wrote 3 decades ago.
Twisted Logic
important.
says, did they turn CERN on again?
Yeah,
It's
right.
important for us to show
Been thrown back.
the nation we can come together and do big things.
Nathan says they know the red
Tonight
wave is
I'm
coming,
offering a
and they're
unity
trying to gain
agenda
some
for the
ground.
nation.
That's
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
very
Four
good
big
point.
things
The
we
war
can do
machine
tonight.
has
But they
no,
can only get me when I'm
Dude,
30
does he
years
think?
in.
Does he think
opioid
anyone who supports those
epidemic.
policies is going to watch this and be like, "Oh, well, Biden's going to secure the
There's
border"?
so
The problem is,
Definitely. Why vote for
we can do.
Republicans? We basically have one in office. He's
Yeah.
gonna throw out the
Republicans
damn
don't
border.
do that.
There's going to be no
Prevention.
action after this speech.
No, you're
Like
right,
this.
Tim.
Harm
Biden did
reduction
become a
and
Republican.
recovery.
He
Get
stated
rid of
Republican talking
outdated
points without
rules
doing
and
any
stop
of it.
doctors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stop doctors
Yep.
prescribing.
But lefties will be malding, which will be
treatments.
nice.
We're going to lose our minds. I love
Stop
it.
the flow of illicit drugs by working
wanna
with state
see
and local
the
law
squad
enforcement
respond
to
to
go after the
this.
traffickers.
He's
They're
not
gonna
going to
be-
gain
He's talking
any
about suffering from
Yeah.
addiction.
Biden is not going to gain
You
any
know- you
Republican
should know you're
followers
not
from this,
alone.
but he's going to lose
I
lefty
believe
followers
in
from
recovery,
this.
He's
and I
trying to keep himself
celebrate
from
the
being
23
canceled.
Beautiful.
million.
Doesn't
I
work.
love it.
23
Yeah.
million
I think he's going to
Americans in
convert a bunch of
recovery.
people.
He's trying to
Second.
appease the crowd.
Let's take on mental health, especially
Joe.
among our children whose lives and education have been turned upside down.
Yeah, what happened, Joe?
Yeah, who did that?
Tell us
Gave
more
schools
about
money to
that.
hire
Yeah.
teachers and
Yeah.
help students
Remember
make
when
up
I
for
joked
lost
that they were
learning?
going to pretend that they had
I
nothing
urge
to do with
every
COVID?
parent
Yeah.
to make sure your
There you go.
school
It's
does
the teachers,
just
though.
that.
It's not
I said that
Have
weeks
the
ago.
money. We can all play
Who
a
else
part.
didn't see it coming, though? You know what I mean?
Sign up to be a
Should I
tutor
click
or a
the
mentor.
dislike button?
Yeah.
Only if
They're
you don't
also
like it.
struggling before
I
the
don't like this
pandemic.
at all.
Bullying,
Come on, man,
violence,
that-
trauma, and the harm.
Don't hit
social
that
media.
dislike
Speak
button,
for
man.
millions.
As Francis Haugen,
If you want me to click the
who is here
dislike button,
tonight
put
with us,
20 in chat.
has shown,
Let's go, yeah.
Let's see it.
we
It's
must
going to light
hold
up,
social
isn't it?
media platforms
Yeah.
accountable for the national experiment
If-
they're conducting on
If
our
we
children.
get to
for
28,000,
profit.
how about we bargain with them?
No, don't click based
Wait.
on what the people want. Only do it if
Wait.
you truly believe
He
it.
just talked about a social
guidelines.
experiment
There it
they're
is.
conducting on our kids,
20, 20, 20, 20,
Thank
20.
you.
like mask wearing.
Thank you for the courage you showed.
I dislike what he's saying. He's stealing from Trump.
It's time
He's
to
desperate.
strengthen
And
the
Obama.
Obama protection.
Everybody agrees.
Ban
They say click
targeted
it. Here we go. We're
advertising
going to
to
click
children.
it. Bam. Dislike.
Come on.
Tech
You like it?
stop
I don't like
collecting
it, no.
personal
Feedback
data
shared with the
on our
creator.
children.
We got a
Heck
lot
yeah.
of 20s
And
here.
let's get
All
all
the
Americans
20s.
the mental health services they need. More people in
Dude,
turn for
this
help.
guy's gonna fix the
and full
economy, give
parity
everyone the
between
mental
physical
health
and mental
services
health
they need.
care.
Every kid
If
is
we
gonna
treat
get
it
free
that
health
way,
care.
Dude, imagine
You know,
making
it's
these
crazy.
promises when the country looks like this.
We're giving you some time, man.
He's gotta get
This is
wrapped up.
like the abusive husband who's
The
like,
third piece of that
I'm gonna be
agenda
the best husband ever.
is
You know, just
support
take me back.
our
I'll be
veterans.
amazing. I'll support all your hopes and dreams.
We've been abused by him for
I'll buy
over
you
a
a
year.
house.
Yeah.
And now he's doing a
And the
great
spine
speech being like, remember all the
of this
good
country.
times?
Dude, I
They're
feel like he's gonna
all
wall.
of us.
He's love bombing us.
Dude,
love you, baby.
I've
he's
always
this
believed-
far away from pulling flowers out from behind his back,
Oh,
oh, baby,
thanks.
and playing our
We send to
song.
war.
He's definitely gonna hug his wife
Care
after
for
this
those
and
in their
on
family when
camera.
they
No,
come
he's
home.
going to play Tiny Dancer
My
because that was Trump's
administration
song during his
providing
campaigns.
assistance in
Oh, yeah,
job training,
huh?
housing.
Or what's the other
now
one?
helping lower
Proud to be an
income
American.
veterans get VA care.
He's like, I'm
debt
just
free.
like your ex-boyfriend
And our
friend.
troops in
Trump.
Iraq.
Trump.
Don't go back to your ex, America. I want to secure the border too. It's
I
like
love
him, man.
police.
Many of you have
I
been
love the
there.
confused clapping.
I've been in and out of Iraq and Afghanistan over 40 times. These burn pits that
Did you
incinerate
leave
waste,
civilians there every time?
waste
Or
of
just
war.
the
Just
ones?
the one time.
medical and hazards material, jet fuel, and so much more. And they come home, many of the world's fittest and best trained warriors in the world. Never the same. Headaches, numbness, dizziness. A cancer that would put them in a flag draped coffin. I know.
What did
she just say? One of those-
She
13
said
of them?
13 of
One
them.
of
She's talking about
those soldiers was
Afghanistan.
my son, Major Bo Biden. I don't know for sure if the burn pit that he lived near, that his hooch was near,
Dark stuff, man.
in Iraq and earlier than that in Kosovo, is the cause of his brain cancer, the disease of so many other troops. But I am committed to find out everything we can, committed to military families like Danielle Robinson from Ohio, the widow of Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson. He was born a soldier, Army National Guard, combat medic in Kosovo and Iraq, stationed near Baghdad, just yards from burn pits the size of football fields. Danielle is here with us tonight.
Sam says, I love how everyone
love
is playing the
going to
game
Ohio
and
State
Lauren is just
football
drinking
games.
beer.
She's drinking straight.
It's weird that he uses his son's death. Like it's very sad actually that he uses it in a way that it's like he attributes it to his military service. That's weird, right? Not just.
I don't know.
love
I don't think so. I
building
think
Legos
he's
with
probably
their
right
daughter.
about that. Those burn pits could have caused the cancer.
Cancer from prolonged
Maybe.
exposure to burn pits.
Yeah, big time.
Ravaged Heath's lungs and body. Danielle says Heath was a fighter to the very end. He didn't know how to stop fighting. And neither did she. Through her pain, she found purpose to demand that we do better. Tonight, Danielle, we are going to
Running
do
out of beer.
better. The VA,
What is this?
the
13?
VA is pioneering new ways of linking toxic exposure to disease.
I can't allow
Already
alcohol
helping
on my
more
streams anymore.
Veterans
can I?
get benefits. And tonight, I'm announcing we're expanding eligibility to veterans
Lauren's
suffering
stealing
from
them all.
9
You don't even
respiratory
live here,
cancers.
Lauren.
I'm also calling on Congress to
House.
pass
okay.
a law to make
She
sure
shows up, she
veterans
drinks my beer.
devastated by
Yeah, that's
toxic
right.
exposure
I'm
in
like
Iraq and
2/3
Afghanistan
through one.
Yeah, I
finally get
finished
the
my Coke.
benefits and the comprehensive health care they deserve.
That doesn't. The benefits
He's
don't save
just
their
saying
lives.
it. Well, this is also like he's just saying he's going to do these things. He's not reporting on anything that's gone well that's a result of his policies because he can't. All he can do is write more blank checks. Or all he can do is pull more blank checks out and write them, even though they're going to bounce.
Fourth,
I'm glad he brought
last,
attention to the burn pits.
Let's end
Do we need more
cancer
beer,
as we
guys?
know it.
Yeah.
He's going to end
This is
cancer.
personal.
The man is going to
Everyone
end
else is
cancer. Inflation is worse than it has been in 50 years,
Longer.
40 years.
Longer.
But he's going to come in here and end cancer.
I'm writing that down.
Great. Are we going to have world peace too, Joe? Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah, I'm
Listen,
feeling
Seamus,
peaceful.
if you had as much beer as I had,
This
you'd
is
understand
personal
what
to me
Biden
and
was
to
talking
Jill.
about.
That's right. You're right. Need the right amount. Need Nancy
So
levels
many
of
of you
alcohol.
Lauren's
It's
at
all
the
gonna
point
be
of
okay.
drinking where everything he says
Husband,
sounds
wife,
good,
son,
and she's
daughter,
like,
I'm gonna vote for him.
He's so
No, Lauren.
Lauren's like,
You don't
Joe's
live
pretty
here.
beast.
Bro,
I just think I like him.
Cancer and get rid of the burn.
Last month,
More beer is on the way.
I announced the plan to supercharge the cancer moonshot that President Obama asked me to lead 6 years ago.
what?
Oh,
Cancer
Our goal is
does
to
anyone
cut
have Obama
cancer
on it? I
death
thought we
rates
put that
No.
on
by
there.
at least 50%
Plagiarism.
over the next 25 years. And I think we can do better than that. Turn cancers from death sentences into treatable diseases.
Can you make
More
food
support
affordable
for
again
patients
before we
and
talk about
families.
How
curing
about
cancer?
gas?
You
How
know,
about
food
gas?
used to be
Get there. I call on
affordable
Congress
before
to
people
fund
like you
what I
decided to
call
print
ARPA-H.
trillions of dollars, the largest
Advanced-
redistribution of wealth that has occurred in all of human
advanced
history,
research
flooding our economy with money,
projects,
so average people
Agency
have a
for
more
Health.
difficult time affording food, but you're going to cure
Pattern after
cancer.
DARPA
Before
and
that
Defense
problem's even been
Department.
solved, before you've even remedied the
Projects are led
problem
in
that has made it
DARPA
more difficult for
to the
Americans
internet,
to survive,
GPS
you're
and
going
so
to
much
stop
more to
cancer.
make our forces more safer.
I think
and be
diet and
Inflation
cancer
also
are
Make
has-
very
our
different.
fortunes more
Clarity.
safer, my dudes.
Kaya
ARPA
says,
will
that's
have a
BS,
singular
Tim. Over the
purpose
past year, VA
to drive
benefits are
breakthroughs
being
in cancer,
delayed and reduced.
Alzheimer's and diabetes.
Yeah, if you
and
destroy
more.
the
A unity agenda for the nation. We can do these things. It's within our power. And I don't see a partisan
open?
edge
Is
to
it
any
draft?
one of those four things.
Say if there's somebody out there, they might.
My
be bringing
fellow
us
Americans,
to let 'em
Americans.
tonight,
He's going to do this in America. Okay, well, then I
America.
understand.
we
It's
gather
not
in
here.
a sacred
than Iran.
space
In the field of
Yeah.
Jake
dreams.
says,
Citadel
drunk
of
Lauren is my
democracy.
spirit animal.
in this capital.
She's pretty
I'm
wild.
ending
Dylan
Generation
says,
after
Tim drinks like a
generation of
wuss.
Americans
That is
have
correct. I don't drink.
He is a lightweight.
Great
Lauren took
strife.
all of the beer.
She
done great
asked for
things.
more as well.
Typical
Fought
Canadian.
for freedom.
No, there's one left.
Expanded
No, there's
I'm
three
envious
left.
No,
of
you're
the amount
fine.
of stutters this
Debated
man can get away with. Can you imagine if Trump
and
did
terror.
half of the amount?
Oh, I know.
Built the strongest,
yeah.
Remember when
freest,
he walked
and most
slowly down a
prosperous
race?
nation in
But the
world has ever
captions are
Now is the
translating
hour.
his errors
Yeah.
into English.
Into
Our
English,
moment of
yes, exactly.
responsibility.
When he said Iranians,
test of
they
resolve
corrected
and
it to
I know.
American.
They did.
History
Interesting.
itself.
It looks like his audio volume will go down, and then
It
they
is in
won't
this
have
moment that
annotations.
our character, this
Patrick says, I
generation
can't
is
wait for the
formed.
Freedom Tunes episode on this.
Oh, it's going to be
Purpose is
beautiful.
found.
He's so good.
Can you
Our
do a
future
cartoon
is
of
forged.
us making fun of him?
Come on, man.
Well, I know this.
Gonna
nation.
end cancer, man. It's all done.
We'll meet the test.
What a jerk.
Protect
Why didn't he do it
freedom.
earlier?
Right.
Remember when Obama was in
Re-election.
office?
Exactly.
Remember when Obama was in
Well,
office?
he wasn't the
and
president.
Things
We
weren't
will
great, but they
save
weren't
democracy.
nearly this bad?
Running
Part
for
of those
office, and
times
he's
have
like,
been,
I have the
I'm
cure
more
for cancer, and if you want it, you
optimistic
better
about
vote for
America
me. It's
today
right
than
here.
I've been
I'm
What
not
an
going to give it to you.
absolute animal.
Because I see
He
the
spent
future that's
8
within
years
our
in the White
grasp.
House
I know.
Because I know
before
that
we were
there's
struggling
nothing
through a pandemic,
beyond
and
our
he didn't end
capacity- our
cancer,
capacity.
despite the fact that he
We're
clearly
the
has the
only
power
nation
to.
on earth that has always turned
Jerk.
every crisis we faced into an opportunity.
An opportunity to
The
cure
only
cancer.
nation that can be defined by a single word: possibilities. So on this night, on our 245th year
What
as
is
a
he?
nation,
Any nation
We
can
got
be defined by the
5
word
hours left,
possibility.
everybody.
Listen, no
State
other
of the
nation
nation,
on earth has
the State of the
possibilities.
Union.
Yeah,
None of
right.
them.
and my report is this:
Not even Ukraine.
I would
the
agree
State
with
of the
that.
Union is
America's
strong
number
because
one.
you, the American people, are strong.
Yes,
Amer-
we, the American
stronger
people,
today.
Keean.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are
Keean.
great. We will
You guys
We
are
stronger
great.
today
With
than
America.
we were
great
a
for
year
future
ago.
generations. We will be great for all time.
That's right.
Yes.
And we'll
Welcome
be
to America.
stronger
This
a
is your
year from
president.
now
Oh, don't you have
than
to
we are
yell.
today.
And we won't have cancer
This
anymore.
is
That's
our
it.
moment
You're on a mic, dude. You don't have to
to
yell.
meet and overcome the challenges of our time, and we will.
He looks
As
furious.
one people,
Your mic's
one
peaking.
America,
He's
Cry.
getting mad at me
the
because I was mad at
United
him. I
States
get
of
it.
America.
Fake tough guy act again.
God bless you all.
He said
and may
God
protect our
twice.
troops.
Is that it?
Times.
No!
Thank you.
Nobody won.
Oh!
Son of a gun! I'm so
Wait,
close.
did he end it early?
No.
He's
Yeah.
going to end cancer early too, Lauren. So
Wait, hold
the
on.
man's busy.
He's shaking Pelosi's hand. That's inappropriate. She's awful. That counts.
Yeah, sure. That does count.
If they were off,
Hold on.
maybe.
Hold on. Hold on.
Kiss somebody. Kiss somebody.
Oh,
Joe.
this is the awkwardness. Yeah, see.
Fall off the
Do a little
stage.
sniffy sniff.
Come on, man.
We're gonna cure baldness.
Oh, wait!
We got beer.
Can I do that?
What's he doing?
No, he's just hugging them.
He's hugging people who aren't his wife.
Highly
What if you
inappropriate.
just like bite someone's nose?
Only inappropriate if you're not the president.
Just tickle
Yeah.
their ear, man.
Come on, I just want you to like.
I-
Give someone a wet willy, Joe.
I think saying hell was cursing, and I
Yeah.
think shaking Pelosi's hand was inappropriate.
I do
so-
too. Yeah.
Did you guys hear it?
No, that wasn't.
He say he's going to turn
that-
crisis into opportunity. That we're like the
Whoever's
best
just
at
trying to get to Biden there behind the cameras is just desperate for attention.
That got blonde hair.
I think
Or
that's
is it girl?
Maxine Waters or something.
Oh yeah, probably.
Pay attention to me, Joe.
Because everyone's about to click
That was
off.
that's a
so.
very long handshake. I'm
A
really...
little inappropriately long.
What if he just like, as he's on camera, just did a firm open palm smack on like some woman's bottom?
Dude, well, there's a woman.
Good.
One of the
Because
things
he's from the 50s, isn't he?
He was
Laughed
accused.
so hard.
One woman. There's no footage of this, but he was accused by a woman of like grabbing her face and then rubbing his nose up against her nose, which is like the weirdest
That
thing.
was so
yeah.
weird.
It's called
Yeah.
an
Just
Eskimo
bizarre.
kiss,
Like just.
Seamus.
I know, but
Oh, that's it. They cut it off.
Oh, Oh,
Okay.
was that in that early
Come on,
end?
man.
All right.
How long was he supposed to go for?
Did anyone have 4 lined up?
I did.
I did, yeah.
Yes.
I have a couple.
If cursing was one of them, did we confirm? What did he say?
They censored
Damn
the
or
word
something?
hell.
They
Yeah,
censored
they
the word
did.
hell.
said it-
So if
Yeah.
you had curses, would you win?
No. If I had January 6th, I would have.
If
Yeah,
I
I
had
know
Trump,
you
I
didn't
would've
do it.
won.
I was like done when he didn't mention January 6th.
If I had
But you needed
man.
curses, Ian?
Half. I didn't know if it was effective if we agreed
No,
that
I mean, like,
curses were
is
said.
that the only one you needed?
No, I needed to get mad at a fake Republican.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
He did-
He
He
was
kept it
very
clean. Oh, I also
partisan.
needed trips, and I didn't see him fall.
Yeah, he didn't trip.
Yeah.
Someone claimed he tripped at the beginning.
Yeah,
I don't
kinda-
think so.
Yeah, he didn't really.
Honestly, that was more like Trump than I expected.
I guess the issue is, how do we know what early was supposed to be? I thought it was going to be longer than an hour, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
It was right at an hour.
He didn't say
He made
man.
it. Yeah, he didn't say man.
That's
If he had, I
wild.
would
Proud
have
of him.
gotten a bingo.
For being Joe Biden, he
did
actually
pretty
killed
well.
it. He
He
did
did
pretty
great,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
as far as
For
Joe
being
Biden
Joe
goes, yeah,
Biden.
no, yeah.
But for plagiarizing
Oh, he
almost
did,
the
yeah.
entirety of Donald Trump's platform.
With a few exceptions.
It works.
Yeah,
well, what's
true.
the definition of plagiarize? Let's find out.
I looked it up. So it's taking
they're
credit
afraid of
for
the red
someone
light. No,
else's
it-
ideas or using their work.
Who chatted in their theory about the red wave? It's brilliant. That's it. That's it. That's what he's doing.
I don't want to pretend like he's plagiarizing Trump because it's important to use other people's ideas. That's kind of what humans do collaboratively. So you kind of want to encourage it.
You
And
sound like
Well-
you're talking to your teacher after they caught you copying and pasting Wikipedia.
I don't want in the
plagiarizing.
future someone to be like, "Hey, plagiarist," because I was like using a great idea from the past.
Yeah,
The
but
pro-
this
the
is a little
problem
bit
is-
different.
yeah, the
this
Dem-
is
You
a
have to
Make
credit
America
it.
Great Again idea that he stole
That's
from the
true.
former president of the United States, who he called a Nazi.
And I think
Yes.
the new thing is
It's
build
the
a better
name
America.
calling.
That's what it's
Immigrants.
The name calling towards Republicans who had the same ideas is what's upset. So they're going to literally do the same thing. They're going to be like, we need to protect our border because it's important for X, Y, Z. Except for some reason when they do it, it won't be
X, Y,
racist.
Z.
But when we do it, it'll be super racist.
Hey,
X, Y, Z. Because of X, Y, Z, Lydia. All
What
right.
is said? Is that
Oh,
Sad,
that?
that's
that's what
Canadians
you're
say
upset
that say
about.
Z
Yeah.
Z instead of Z. It's weird. It's one of the other
Why?
weird things they
We
do.
have the superior English language, right?
No.
I would,
need to
yeah.
back
I
up
mean, it
your
was the
own
original English language.
There we go.
So
Canadian?
Yeah,
You know they
you
say
guys
that.
did-
Talking
abused it
about
here
you
in
guys that
America.
bastardized
Oh
it.
yeah, they
No, we
spoke
don't.
English
Oh, yeah,
like
you
this.
did, Eric.
When
No.
English first came around, they
Hey,
spoke
man.
it like this. Is this the
Yeah,
original
that's
English?
the
eh?
original, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember reading Shakespeare. It's written just like this, eh? the
true,
original
eh? Yeah.
English, of course.
It's what
Make
about
you
that?
mad. and
Romeo, wherefore? What are you
It's true.
doing up
Yeah.
there, Romeo?
They actually
Would
say
you
that.
throw, if you don't mind,
I'm hungry down here. Let me in, sir.
What would-
that wasn't the right accent?
if you
there.
called a rose
So-
anything else, would it smell much different there, eh?
We've got
I don't think so.
we got Kim Reynolds,
we have to
who's going to
kill
be
him.
giving the Republican response, but I don't know what the official link
In
is
Minecraft.
just yet.
We're looking for that.
So
yeah.
there's like a CNN one, but I don't want to use
Yeah,
CNN.
Ben Shapiro's
No,
doing it too,
CNN's going to
yeah.
be like Joe Biden presents
maybe-
bold, interesting new ideas that
maybe-
we've never heard before.
Maybe we
Right.
can give a little response because I think we're more effective right now with the five of us sitting around than any
So let's
news anchor.
Let's
Yeah, sure,
do this.
sure.
We'll do our response to. Obviously, we played the game. We had some drinks. Lauren had more than anyone else.
Yeah, Lauren.
Smash
Lauren wins.
Biden made perfect sense, you guys.
Oh my gosh,
Now
too
I
much
get it.
beer.
Yep,
Way too much alcohol.
I understand.
Six
Head
of us
over
are.
head over to timcast.com if you haven't already. Become a member if you want to support our work. We greatly appreciate your support, keeping our journalists employed. And follow. You can follow the show at Timcast IRL. You can follow me at Timcast. You guys want? We'll do our like assessment of the State of the Union. Obviously, we're commenting during it, but you guys want to shout anything out as we move into that portion?
That Biden wants
Keean?
to end cancer.
I think he did better than anyone could have possibly expected
Right.
Joe
Yeah,
Biden to do.
100%.
I think he got a shot of epinephrine beforehand.
Yep.
Like, there's no way. Like, why isn't he like this every day? Like, what was the difference? Why can he not do this at any regular press conference? I've never seen Joe Biden look like this or act like this. Maybe from like speeches from a long time ago when he was a young senator, but not recently.
Well, we have a super chat here from Keith. He says, "Hey Tim, I chose to watch the IRL show over Crowder's coverage of the State of the Union." And then what does it say? State of the Union address. Roll the 100-sided die, then talk about the Federal Reserve. So I'll roll that, and wherever it lands, someone can read what it says. It's
Read the
basically
one
a
on the
ball.
top.
So what do we get?
100.
I rolled a 100.
No way, he actually did.
I rolled a
Simulation.
100.
Not
Wow.
a coincidence, by the way.
Whoa.
Can you zoom in on it or something?
Yeah, nobody
I
touch
I
it.
legit rolled a 100.
Lauren,
on the
don't
one-
touch it.
Don't
Hands off
touch
the
it.
table. Put the sword down.
She's
You've had a
pointing.
little too much. All
Well,
right.
we don't have laser
Technically
pointers, so
correct.
it's
He
the
wants you
best
to
thing.
quit drinking
So,
so that
I
you'll
know
go
he
pick him
does,
up more.
yeah.
No, look,
McDonald's.
Crowder's awesome. You guys.
I'd love to port him in right now.
I think people should watch Steven Crowder too.
Yeah,
but
he's
thanks
great.
for watching our show.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I read this one specifically because Biden said, "Confirm my Federal Reserve." Didn't he say that? Confirm.
If he did, it was while we were talking. I didn't hear
point
it.
is, no,
You
he
yelled.
did.
You
He did.
yelled.
Yeah,
Nominees.
Ian, you got mad.
His nominees,
What?
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Supreme Court nominee.
No.
Can that thing
No,
zoom
he
in on
said
it?
Federal
Oh, yeah,
Reserve.
here
He
we
did
go.
say Federal Reserve.
Let me see if I
nominees,
can
yes.
find it.
Approve
oh,
him,
my gosh.
man.
Uh-oh.
Not
No,
right now.
come back,
Where's it
come
going?
back. I don't know. It's going up to the ceiling.
So he's all about
Here's
fixing
our
the
ceiling.
economy and
That
then
didn't work.
giving the Federal Reserve
Sorry,
power.
guys.
Look, I'm going to
Makes
say
sense.
this. So you are correct that this is basically the best we have seen Biden throughout his entire presidency. But that is unbelievably depressing. The fact that he
Yeah.
was slurring the entire time, and that's the best he can do, is really concerning.
The slurring was bad, but my favorite moment was when he was like, we've chosen a Supreme Court nominee who's gotten the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of the Police, and she knows the law. So we're going to secure the borders and
what
protect
was
our
that?
country from illegal immigration. And I'm like, wait, what?
Listen, he's just got so many things he's fixing at once with
Yeah.
his magic powers that he's just got to keep moving, Tim. I know it's too high level for you
there it
because you
goes.
haven't had enough beers, but
true.
he's
True.
just,
She's
he's just
correct.
fixing this stuff. He's
Look
like,
at that.
border,
See it.
bam, done.
You can see it.
Everyone,
It says 100.
see that 100.
I rolled a
Nice.
100.
Tim
Good job, dude.
rolled 100.
It was a group effort.
Was
Tim's
it?
the front runner, the front man.
That is
I
wild.
rolled it.
I love that.
Somebody said that this was like a
1%
campaign
chance.
speech. I think it might have been you, Seamus.
No, super chatters. Several
Yeah.
of them have said.
How
It's
astute.
true. Yeah.
It was totally, it sounded like a bunch of what I'm going to do in the future, not a state of the current state of the union. Whereas what's our deficit? How much money did we lose over the last? How much
Right.
money did we get back? How many
Yes.
jobs did we lose? How many did we get back? What are the jobs reports of the, areas of types
exception.
of jobs?
One exception, but to your point, it was nonsense. He was claiming that we added 9 million jobs.
They've
He
been
said that
saying
we cut the deficit by $1 trillion. Now I'm wondering, did we raise the deficit by $1 trillion and then just
Raise
scale
the
it back $1
ceiling?
trillion?
Did we?
He said that at about 9:43. I timestamped a lot of this stuff.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna go
nice.
back and rewatch a lot of it.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, a lot of it was very generic. And so a
Exactly.
lot of it was like, I don't even know how do you respond to something that's just like the styrofoam of political, comments.
Yeah.
Then a lot of it was surprisingly
Right-wing.
Trumpian. Yeah, right-wing Trumpian. He said, I'm a capitalist. But you got to have competition. I'm like, well, duh. What do you think capitalism is? What are you talking about? Otherwise it's communism.
You
or
know what? You know what
corporatism.
capitalists are always saying? Competition's bad.
That's right.
We want the state to determine who should be in charge of manufacturing something because we don't like competition.
I want to get away from saying he sounded like Trump because I think Trump was actually had some common sense. And it's not like it's because it was Trump. It was just common sense stuff to do. You protect your borders. You want to build your machines at home so that if a war erupts, you can still build your machines. So it's a good thing that they're both at some point in their presidency focusing on these things. And maybe this will be like the bipartisan push we need.
M says, can we clip Seamus's speech about cancer and have it go viral?
was
You
great.
may, in fact, clip Seamus's speech.
You do as you
I am
wish.
officially stating that if you clip the speech of Seamus, I have no, you can share it. Just post whatever you want.
Yeah, I want
By
it
all
everywhere.
means, share and promote. Cody says, Marjorie Taylor Greene getting trash talk on NBC. Yeah, the thing is about NBC and the corporate press and the establishment activists, I view them as a totally different country. And if I heard that people
America.
in France were talking bad about me, I'd be like, I don't know why I would care about what the people of
Right.
France say about me. I don't trade in their currency or talk to them or know much about them. So by all means, say whatever you want. So for NBC to say this stuff, I'm like, yeah, whatever, man.
What about Canadians?
Look, the people who vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene are the people who already don't believe the corporate lies and the corporate press. So who cares if they keep lying about her? It's not. Is it going to convince her voters not to vote for her? I really doubt it.
Yeah, if you get a foreign complaint about something you said that was wrong, then it's like, yeah, okay, acknowledge that you did it wrong and then make it good. But if they're just complaining about your behavior, you gotta,
Speaking of foreign
tune it out at
countries,
some
we
point.
should talk about what he mentioned about Taiwan when he pointed out.
Well, a lot of super chatters pointed out that when he was saying we're going to build these plants to produce the chips, what he was really saying to those who pay attention is we are going to lose Taiwan. Buckle up.
Yep.
We will not be able to defend our allies in Southeast Asia. China's going to move in. We can't stop Russia. He was just look, what did he do? What this past year, what has he said? I enacted a policy that did this, and because of it, we did this. Or was he like, I'm going to do things. Trust me. We're going to start this initiative. We're going to build that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I mean, the reality is he can take credit for some things that kind of went away. I love how he's trying to take credit, congratulating himself. He's like, look what we did on COVID. It's like, well, there's the one thing he's claiming he did, even though technically
Deaths are worse
he
than they
didn't.
were.
Yeah, deaths were worse in 2021 than they were in 2020 under Trump. The vaccine was produced, Operation Warp Speed, under Donald Trump. What does Joe Biden have to claim credit for other than an increased rate of death? Now, I'll tell you this. If he's going to have if he comes out, and if he has the nerve to come out and tell everybody that he's accomplished this, he's going to tell everybody the vaccines provide you protection. That was Trump. Trump's Operation Warp Speed did that. He inherited this program and then had more deaths. Now, how does that make sense unless Joe Biden was an abject failure?
Well, possibly COVID was just getting worse. It was building up until 6 months ago or something.
Yes.
Possibly the reaction to COVID caused more damage. The harder the lockdown, more depression, suicide, more people breathing recirculated air.
No. We're talking about COVID deaths were higher. I'm not talking about peripheral.
Okay.
So the issue I'm saying is, if we're going to operate, we're operating completely on the establishment narrative. Okay. Biden comes out and says, we accomplished this. The vaccines protect you. But Trump did the vaccines. So imagine it this way. You've got a certain number of COVID deaths. Donald Trump says, we're going to roll this thing out. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to work. It's going to make everything better. Biden, I am giving you the tools to save everyone's lives, to make this better. And he goes, all right, Jack. And eats his ice cream cone. And then everything got worse.
It could have been that, what's Omicron is more transmissible, so more people have COVID in their system when they die from a motorcycle accident.
Well, no, because
and so they're being counted higher
compared to other
I am saying
forms of COVID.
We are not operating off of speculation. But if we operate off of the establishment narrative, Biden was handed the tools to solve this and screwed it up. Anything else you want to talk about speculation is fine. What I'm saying is, based on what he is saying, what he believes, what the corporate press has told us over and over again, Donald Trump gave him the tools and everything got worse. It's Biden's fault. Period. That's their worldview. I don't anything you want to say about, potential how they were calculating it incorrectly. Well, that's not what the narrative is from them. It's the CDC that came out and said there's more deaths.
I guess they'll argue that COVID was just getting more deadly it was surging a deadly surge.
But their narrative is that it was becoming more transmissible and less deadly, according to their own narrative. The only thing I can see then is based off of what they have told us. Joe Biden made everything worse.
Yes.
His administration. It's not just him.
No. And it's the deep state, the administrative state around him that's not even part of it. I mean, it's not even part of his administration. They've just been there for 40 years.
You know what? He said that the State of the Union was strong. He said he said that things are going great.
Things are going great.
Oh, he did. I missed that part.
Okay. So great that we're going to go cure cancer. But on top of that, there were so many empty promises. I'm starting to think that the Russians will end up getting the hearts and minds of the Iranian people.
Right.
The Russians?
I believe it was the Uranian people.
Oh, the Uranian.
I heard Iranian.
Oh, hey, can I jump in here? So that was Lauren Boebert yelling out about the 13 U.S.
Good
service
for her.
members who were killed because of negligence from Biden withdrawing from Afghanistan. So that was Boebert.
Glad she was there.
Well, that was a surrender in Afghanistan.
His botched.
He surrendered to the Taliban. He surrendered. The U.S. military surrendered a war that they were winning.
Withdrawing was good. The way he did it was bad.
It was a surrender and then a rout.
And I firmly believe if it was Donald Trump, it would have not gone down that way.
He wouldn't have surrendered. He would have stayed there and then got out slow.
No, well, yeah, Trump negotiated for us to leave prior to the time when Biden ended up leaving, but I believe he would have done a much
Trump would have got to the withdrawal date and pushed it back if we weren't ready.
Right.
But I think it's simple as this. Trump would not have abandoned Bagram Air Force Base.
Not until the operation was
That's
done.
the most insane thing. No.
You don't let it go.
Well, it's part of getting out.
No, they didn't even tell the Afghani National Security Forces that they were leaving. Under Biden, they left in the middle of the night and told no one until looters came and started ransacking the buildings. And then the Afghani army was like, they did this, it was intentional almost. Like they just buckled up, left. Under Trump, that wouldn't have happened. Trump would have been like, look, Trump's the kind of guy who's not going to let that go down on his watch because it affects his name. Yeah. And brand for him is so much.
I've just been scrolling Twitter here for a minute.
Nice.
Who was it here that said that this isn't going to win him any votes? It's just going to lose him the far left?
Yeah, it's going to lose him the far left, and it's not going to make any conservatives vote.
I've been looking. So Vosh and Hassan didn't comment at all. Hassan just said that if someone has COVID in the room, Joe Biden's going to drop dead. And then I've seen Anna Kasparian come out and tweet, Biden doesn't get to brag about his agenda when he doesn't fight for it and has no plan to get it passed. Build Back Better is dead. It's going nowhere. Sorry, State of the Union.
That's the unity I was looking for.
Leftists hated this speech.
Of course.
They're not alone. I mean, I don't even think of myself as a rightist or whatever, but leftist, centerist, I don't even, this stupid directional function. Come on, it's a three-dimensional reality.
Yeah, but this is 100% a campaign speech. This was not a State of the Union.
No one bought. Yeah, no
because
one
what is he supposed to flex on?
He
What
has
are the
nothing to
accomplishments
flex on.
he's supposed
He
to show?
campaigned on COVID because he really thought that he would be able to use Trump's vaccine to make this all go away. He really thought it would work. Like, he had great confidence in what Trump had done. Did not pan out that way, and that's the reason he's not talked about it at all over the course of his speech. It was very refreshing to me to hear less of the partisanship he has pushed so hard. I think he's noticing that it's really not playing well with people.
Dude, this is an opportunity for Anna to come on the show. There's been back and forth with the Young Turks and Timcast, from a distance. I want to hang out and dude, this was crap, Anna. I know it was crap.
I love Anna Kasparian.
I love her.
I love Anna Kasparian. I've seen her so many times come out and correct herself. like on Kyle Rittenhouse, she actually corrected herself.
That's
and
right,
I've seen
she did.
her come out and like call out Cenk and stuff whenever she sees things.
That's
that are,
good.
She did
you know,
correct herself
she
on
is
Rittenhouse, which I
obviously left wing.
appreciate.
She's obviously progressive, but she does have these moments where I'm like, there's something in her that's like not fully NPC at all.
Well, I only remember that she's better than me, and that really sticks with me. And I really
Well,
don't
she didn't
like
correct that because she didn't have to.
Yeah,
Lydia.
right, exactly. I mean, that's fair. Okay,
So
thanks,
there's
Seamus.
some sort of competition.
Anna, date me.
Oh wow, okay.
And I love you.
I love you.
I would love to have Anna on the show and talk about this State of the Union and what the desperate times we're in, and maybe how we can come together as a country and a world and fix.
I wonder.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Together.
So,
on.
but and I'm not saying it couldn't be an interesting or productive discussion or if it occurred, but I would say that the issues that you took with the speech and those which she took with the speech are probably very different. I don't know if you'd be unified.
Oh,
I think
I'm
you would
down with
agree
that.
Biden is bad. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
cool.
I'm saying I think you guys would agree Biden is bad, but for very different
The
reasons.
speech was bad.
Yeah.
You know,
You
I'm
think
not
the
going to.
speech was bad?
It was the best
I
he's
think
ever
it was.
done.
If it was it felt like a campaign speech. I didn't get it.
It
I
was-
didn't know what the State of the Union is now. I still don't know.
Okay, but what else? Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
It was a campaign speech, but
Yep.
he didn't have an option. Like if you're looking at like, okay, we're just going to try to have the most successful politically speech we can. We can't focus on what the state of things actually are. We have to try to do a State of the Union speech without talking about the State of
And
the
no,
Union.
exactly.
And that's what they did. That was the best option they could have
This
taken.
is what we were talking about yesterday. Is it ethical to lie?
Yeah.
Tell a lie like in this situation to give people hope.
They don't care if it's ethical though.
it's
It
wrong
was
to lie. Of
campaign.
course
It
not.
was like his administration, his speechwriter. They all work together, and they're like, "There's no way we can talk about the State of the Union."
The reason, exactly, and Ian, the reason I would argue it's wrong to tell a lie to give people hope is because then you give them a false hope when they could be
Right.
pursuing the truth and finding a real way out of the predicament that they're in.
Yeah.
And I do find it kind of hilarious because generally speaking, when the country is not in good shape, presidents have just sort of tried to gaslight the American people about the kind of shape it is in and pull phony statistics out
Can't
and try to
even lie
warp the
about it
numbers to make it
anymore.
seem like things are better than they are. But it's so clearly horrifically bad that he knew he couldn't get away with it, or his handlers knew he couldn't get away with that. So they just ended up having to say, well, it will be better, guys. Next year, come back next year. The state of the look. I can't tell you about the State of the Union right now, but next year
Boy,
it's going to
next
be a good
year.
one.
Oh boy.
The question is, will a speech of promises affect his polling? If it does, because he's trying to create a feel-good movement, will that benefit Democrats in the midterms?
Guess we're about to find out.
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe I'm giving. I don't know if this is too optimistic, but I think a lot of people are going to watch that and they're going to notice what we did, which is that he didn't really say anything positive about the state of the country. There wasn't anything he could take credit for. He just made a bunch of promises which were equally as empty as those he made on the campaign
He didn't
trail.
really say anything
Yeah.
negative about the state of the country either. He didn't really talk about the state of the country.
Exactly.
But he's still going to come out on a win, because if he came out and was honest and was like, "Listen, inflation is a mess. We've got war in the world. Like we're
Yeah.
more divided than ever." Bam, 100% lose.
No,
Comes
yeah.
out and he just talks about promises. He's like, "I'm not necessarily lying.
Yeah.
Listen. It's like that abusive boyfriend.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
You know?
gaslight. Yeah.
It's- I'm talking about what I'm gonna be.
I got you flowers,
I got
baby.
you flowers, baby, this
Exactly.
time. So he's gonna win some people over with that, and not just have that 100% loss. So it was smart. Like you can't deny that this was the smartest, best move they
So
could make.
here's what I'll say. I agree with you that he basically had to make promises. And in some ways, he gave the speech he had to make. However, what fascinates me is that he was willing to say things like, we need to secure the border.
So interesting.
That, to me, is something that is going to lose him a lot of left-wing voters. Why? Because the media just spent his entire presidency telling us that there is no problem at the border
Yeah.
and gaslighting the American
Right.
people into believing you are a racist xenophobe who hates Hispanic people if you think there's an issue.
What?
So his followers are going to hear that and go, oh, wow, or at least the ones who drank the Kool-Aid are going to hear that and go, oh, no, Joe Biden's a big, bad racist just like Trump. I knew I shouldn't have voted for him,
Or just
and
that
I'm
he's
not going to come
playing.
out for him again.
What conservative, moderate, post-liberal, or politically homeless person is going to hear Joe Biden say that and think, wow, I guess he's finally turned around, taken the right path, and now I have faith that if I vote for him, he'll do the right thing on the border. Zero.
Absolutely
How
not.
many of them will be like, well, I'll try voting for Trump, I suppose, because he tried building the wall.
Right.
Exactly. Well, also, but it does not instill confidence in the American people to deliver a speech 2 years into your presidency, which contradicts everything that you said would be good for the
That's
nation
true.
on the campaign trail. Why do that kind of a
change?
180 unless you have been terrible?
Yeah.
I got some timestamps of some words that he said possibly wrong. At 9:15, he said, when he was meant to say conflict, he said clownfict.
Yes, so good.
Clownfict.
At 9:20, he was saying Ukrainian. It sounded like he said Uranian. People think maybe he said Iranian. It sounded like he said Iranian.
He said Iranian. He said that the Russians will not win the hearts and minds of the Iranian people. In fact, checkers are going to come out and say, it is true. There is no reason to believe that Russia will win the hearts and minds of the Iranian people.
At 9:26, he said infects when he meant to say affects.
He said degree. He said degree instead of agree.
Oh, I didn't hear
like,
that one.
our allies degree.
At 9:28, he said loving instead of level. And at 9:34, he said Imanaki. What the hell? I don't know. Something about the economy. He blew up.
No, you said a communist.
A comedy. Yeah, he said a comedy.
Comedy.
Was there anyone that was...
My vice president, Kamala Harris.
Was there anyone that was just one away with tripping?
No.
Bingo.
No.
I said tripping.
Oh, were you? Would you have
Yes.
gotten it if he tripped?
Well, I'm noting here that it says trips. It doesn't say Joe Biden trips.
Oh, like was he on mushrooms?
Oh.
I mean,
I've been tripping.
Yeah, I guess I did win then.
Makes
Was he
sense.
on mushrooms?
outside of Joe Biden tripping, Nancy Pelosi tripped.
Did she?
Yes, and there's a video of her tripping
I
at
don't know.
10:02
It doesn't
o'clock.
say
See,
Joe Biden.
I don't know.
counts.
I
It
see.
just
Hold
says
on.
trips.
Everyone,
counts,
I
everyone
hate to be a
drink.
party pooper, but the
Everyone
reality
drink.
is, I see very well drafted, decently cartoon caricatures of Joe
That's
Biden
right.
on
Nope.
this
Look
bingo
at that
card, not
pose.
Nancy Pelosi.
Everybody, it counts. Drink.
Okay.
Come on,
All
man.
right.
Bingo.
Who got bingo?
I get to drink.
you get it?
Who got bingo?
Keean's a genius.
Of course, Ian wins on trips. All right.
Okay, I know, right?
Did you really get it, Ian?
Shouldn't joke.
I did. I got 5 in a row. I got plagiarizes, plagiarizes,
Plagiarize.
trips.
All right, wait. Let's go one by one and explain exactly how you won
Okay.
and what each means.
Wait, Ian won?
Yeah,
Ian won.
trips
How?
connected me.
I'll
So,
show the video of the tripping.
I'll start from the top.
Well, I'll see if I can pull it up on Twitter or something.
It's
First thing-
Elijah Schaefer just tweeted it.
Oh, okay,
Beautiful.
perfect.
Thank you, Elijah. You won me a sip of beer.
Rude.
I love you, man.
Elijah's an absolute king.
What
Fair.
a gorgeous human being. I love that guy.
All right, let's see what we got. Where how far down
22 minutes ago. Yeah, that one.
Oh, wait, is that the... Wait, watch that, Nancy.
Wait, we got it. We got it.
I just say it is ridiculous.
Hold on. Pelosi is going to fall.
Just fell forward.
No,
She's probably wearing high heels.
Yeah, bro, she was playing the game with us.
Yeah, right.
where is it?
She's
Just-
always
it'll
playing
come.
the game.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's quite the stumble.
There. Well, I think it counts. I think for the sake of having a winner, it counts.
I'm not going to argue it.
Look
know,
at those
alright.
dentures flapping.
All right, so the first thing I was
You're just gonna hand it to
plagiarizes.
Ian?
Plagiarize.
I think we agreed he was plagiarizing Trump.
Absolutely.
Arguably, I don't like that terminology actually. So
No, that's
I like to
legit.
think
Look,
that he's using Trump's ideas, but
That's
not
legit.
necessarily like
as Seamus
the wall.
brought up,
representing them as his own.
it was the opposite of what he was campaigning on before when he was like, decriminalize border crossings. He campaigned on that.
He's a known
Yeah.
plagiarist.
He's
so
like,
that's
we
very
need to
interesting.
secure the border. We got to figure out who's flying these people around the country, man. What's that?
If it wasn't plagiarism, he would have acknowledged the fact that he was wrong previously and that
Amen.
his ideas came from Donald Trump.
And he would have said the previous
Amen.
president
Yeah,
installed some
was right.
great things
Yeah.
that
That's right.
we're now.
But
He's
he
taking
didn't do
credit.
that. He lied about.
He's taking.
Okay,
credit.
so
This
yes,
is
plagiarizes.
just-
The next one
this
is
is
trips.
hysterical because for weeks, months, we've been seeing left-wingers and celebrities come out with takes that conservatives and center-right people and people in the middle have been coming out with for literally 2 years at this point, now that they're safe.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where we are literally watching Joe Biden deliver a State of the Union where he is regurgitating Trump's talking points.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what opinion, if you're a left-winger who wants to know what opinions your leaders are going to espouse in 2 years, watch our show.
We got Elijah Green real quick. He says gas prices this summer will speak louder than any promise.
Yeah,
Man, I just bought a $40 razor and it was $53. It was $40 a year and a half ago. It's $53, so that's a 30% increase in
It's
2
bad,
years.
man.
A lot of stuff.
I went to the store recently, went to the liquor store to pick up booze for the studio, and I couldn't buy it.
Yikes!
The prices had
Couldn't
gone up.
buy it.
What were you getting?
Homesteading
Well,
is the future. Or
So
one of the futures.
we like to have some of the good stuff, some of the good whiskey, and some of the stuff I buy can be. Well, I'll just say because we talked about it before. We had Pappy.
Yeah.
The cost of Pappy has gone up substantially. We can't get it anymore.
Yeah,
It's like, man, yeah.
that's
It's people who know
which
Pappy
is
know it's
terrifying
expensive.
because the history of war is basically unifying the food so that your population has a bunch of different types of
you
foods.
were going to say something
After the
Oh,
trips,
yeah, I wanted to argue that racist by accident absolutely happened.
Okay,
How's
so
that? How's
explain.
100%. So at the beginning, I can't remember if it was Tim or Seamus that said we need to judge Biden by the standard he would judge us.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was me.
Right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was Seamus. So he repeatedly, when he talked about the Ukrainian people, he said their nation is their homeland. They are a proud people. They have an iron will, their hearts and souls. Every single one of these pieces would be considered dog whistles by the
true.
SPLC, the way he spoke
That's
about
true.
the Ukrainians.
I can't believe when Biden went out there and
and
said
the
blood and
Azov
soil,
Battalion.
I thought,
Azov Battalion,
Nazi
everything he talked about, that they have a right to defend their homeland. He literally used the word their homeland. He would 1,000% be called a racist,
I'll
a
take
nationalist
it.
by the
I don't know.
SPLC.
Trump said that.
So
Trump
racist
said that,
by if he's
absolutely, yeah.
judging by his own standards.
But Ukrainians aren't a race. It's he's being nationalist.
Well, no one
Yeah, but he
cares
would call us
because
racist
if he
if
judged,
No, Ian.
I don't wanna
No,
assume.
stop. He's not being racist to Ukrainians. He's being a white supremacist.
Yes.
By saying that a nation of white traditionalist Europeans fight for their homeland with an iron will are all far-right dog whistles. The SPLC would be like, if it was Trump, they'd be like, look at all of the white supremacist
It's
rhetoric
true.
that came out.
Trump
He's a
could
racist.
never say that.
never in a
Right.
million years.
guess we should do
No,
it.
but just seriously, imagine Donald Trump saying, the people of Ukraine are strong, proud people fighting for their homeland with an iron will.
Yes,
They'd be like, whoa.
I don't know. I'm the kind of
Like,
guy who's
okay,
like
Mr.
a swastika.
Nazi.
Just because you see a swastika doesn't mean it indicates
No,
Nazism or
Ian,
racism.
Yes, it does.
Well, it's like an
Ian,
ancient
Ian,
Indian
Ian,
wheel of
slow down,
time
slow
thing.
down.
That one's
Hold on,
backwards.
hold on.
It's
My
actually
friend,
it presents
we're
differently.
judging Biden off of his standard, not ours. So you
That's
can
a hard one for me. I can only judge him off of my standards.
Well,
But I get what you're doing, though.
We're playing a game. If Joe
Okay,
Biden,
you win.
I'm not.
Or Lauren wins. Did that win you, Lauren?
That's right.
We all win because we all take a drink.
We all
All right. I'll read off the rest of mine. Then Lauren, you can tell
Yeah,
me
yeah,
yours.
yeah, let's
So the free space. Then I got the forgot what he's saying. I think that happened.
Yeah, that did
We
happen.
all
Yelled
forget
out.
what he was saying.
And then the
pretty
final
excited about
was
that one.
whispers. That's why I could be like, is he whispering? Is he whispering?
Yeah, it's true.
So wait,
Careless
so
whispers from Joe
after
Biden.
tripping, there's Nancy Pelosi.
There was the free. There was the tripping was Nancy.
I
The free
see.
space forgets what he's saying and then whispers.
So the forgets what he was saying. There was a period where for about 5 seconds he just kept stuttering and stammering.
I wish we could replay
And
that.
he's got
Can we replay that?
prompters.
Can you find that?
I have time.
Do you have a timestamp
No,
on
not
that?
for those.
No,
Not for the
stuttering,
X's.
yeah.
Because you started screaming.
I was so happy.
You were like, ah!
I can't believe it actually
Lauren, calm down.
happened.
Yeah.
I know. Because he had a prompter. I was like, there's no way he'll forget. And he did.
He
Well,
messed
but
something
what
up,
was he
and then
talking
you could
about?
tell in a few seconds he was thinking about what he messed up, and he messed up more.
Right.
Truth be told, he probably never knew what he was saying in the first place. He was just reading the prompter, and the prompter probably jammed up. And so he was like,
Come on.
I hope the thing jammed up. I hope that's what it was.
and what was your last one? Whispers.
Oh, whispers.
That's right. He whispered a couple
Comes
times.
down, and then he starts going like this. It's like an appeal. Gotta secure the border, man. You gotta get
Dramatic.
those Ukrainians. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
So what is this tweet we have from Black Lives Matter?
This is great.
It says
Oh, yes,
POV. Listening to Biden declare the answer is not to defund the police, it's to fund the police. And Maxine Waters just looks totally,
Amazing.
They
totally
turned off
upset.
comments on that one for sure.
Oh, did they really?
They sure did.
Oh, only people who follow Black Lives Matter can respond.
Or people who they follow. or whatever.
So listen. Joe Biden, we thought he was going to do newspeak like Latinx. He went the other way.
Yeah.
He said, fund the police.
He went
He
full
said,
on
I'm
MAGA.
a-
will.
Iron
Homeland.
will. Homeland. I'm a capitalist.
Wild.
Secure the border.
Come on, man.
It was actually it was more Trumpian in a lot of ways.
That's actually very promising. Whoever's writing his speeches,
No.
whatever this administration is
No,
has
it's-
caught
dude,
on to
It's
something.
cynical. No, it's cynical because they're waiting for the red wave.
I mean, it's better than him being up there and being a racist BLM. Like, we gotta get everyone pink banners and transgender everyone's house, and like you're like,
I don't know though
understand,
because he's still gonna end up doing that stuff.
but he didn't.
Once
At
he's
least he
reelected.
didn't in the
If-
State of the
I
Union.
shouldn't say what's-
That
you
was-
believe him?
I don't believe a lot. I felt like he was just
Dude.
reading talking points, but at least he wasn't espousing racism.
It's like there's a guy who keeps taking a dump on your lawn, and then one day he's
does
like,
it.
I'm gonna use toilets, man.
no. And then he comes to your house and he's like, if you vote for me, I'll make sure no one takes a dump on your lawn. It's like, bro, it's
Oh,
you.
Biden got me. It was-
You did it.
He was the dumper.
He's like,
Why would I
"Oh,
vote for you when
Oh,
you're
you-
the one? So
I
Thanks
don't
for
know who's
reminding
been
me.
doing that,
when
man.
Biden says we're going to secure the border, it's like, yo, the border's insecure because of you.
of you.
I'm not going to vote for the guy who's making the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, man.
so you can come to me and say whatever you want, dude. It's like, bro, I have you on camera pooping on my lawn.
right, exactly.
Like,
I can smell the poop.
He's like, no, man,
Yeah.
no, it's not
I
me.
zoned out for like 2 minutes
Yeah,
there,
you
and
came
then I
back
came
and
back.
put
You'll be able to
on
rewatch it later. It's
Yeah.
great.
We have the
Welcome
best
to IRL.
analogies.
We do.
We have the best analogies.
It's hot.
Everyone
greatest,
agrees.
the greatest one.
Greatest.
Every temperature in between.
Number one.
Yeah, I think it was a
So-
bad
but he-
speech. Could have been worse. So at least there
It was
that.
it was good in some ways, but I don't believe him.
Oh,
I don't
of
believe
course.
No,
I
yeah,
was surprised.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
when Lauren screamed based at securing the border.
Yeah, of course.
I think that was
yeah.
our third
I
beer.
think she's being a little ironic.
Although it would be great if we could secure the border. What does that even mean?
He doesn't
didn't
mean it.
explain
He doesn't
what he
mean
meant.
it.
Like,
Well,
what does he
he
mean
doesn't
secure the
secure
border?
it.
It hasn't never happened before, so how's he going to do it?
Yep. No.
I
It's like,
don't
you
know,
know
man.
that thing that I
He
was
said we have new
unable and unwilling
technologies.
to do for a year and a half.
48 years? Yeah.
So
Let's do
I
that
signed
now.
up for Truth Social.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, how's that going?
It's just, I gotta be honest. right now, the way they're rolling it out, useless.
Why
It
is
was
that?
crazy when Biden announced
Well, so
his new social media
here's the
company
annoying
at the
thing,
State of
right?
the Union.
First, when Biden
When Biden's like, okay,
it's called
we gotta fight back against big tech censorship.
it's called Lies Social.
Lies.social.
Lies. So I signed up for Truth Social, which is Trump's thing,
Mostly true.
and I'm like number 422,000 on the wait list.
Oh wow, it just keeps
But-
getting bigger.
Of course, they reached out and said, we'll get you on. We would like to get you an account and all that. And I'm like, sure. But I had to sign up using like some random, I couldn't actually sign up as Timcast. And I'm like, I'm not interested in creating some other account.
No.
And then reaching out and being like, please give me an account with my actual username. So then after 3 days of trying to figure it out and getting these links that weren't working, I finally get logged in because they jumped me in front of the line to log me in. But I have some account that it's not even at Timcast. And I'm like, dude, look, maybe in a month when it's activated for everyone and I can actually have my username, I'll use it.
Feels
for the
very
time
sloppy.
being. Yeah, it feels very sloppy.
Like the rollout, they had Mastodon code and didn't give the software code that they were using in the very beginning, which is illegal. And
What
then
are we talking about?
Truth.social, Trump's
this
new
Trump's
social
Biden's
network.
new social media network that he's
Yeah,
launching.
Biden's friend's new social network.
Can you imagine if Biden at this, during the State of the Union, he was like, and censorship. It's a big problem. So I'm launching Biden.social. We're going to make our own network. It's
They banned me from Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Why did they do that
I'll make sure you don't get banned.
Someone super chatted. Did anyone else notice he was getting oranger the longer he spoke?
No, I didn't.
Not
Yeah,
literally,
that's awesome.
perhaps.
Yeah, Truth.social worried me from the beginning when they used free software code and didn't show the code, which is a violation of the terms of service.
There's a serious
The license.
problem with there being a conservative grift of just creating the conservative version of anything. You've got Twitter, I'm going to create the conservative version of Twitter. Oh, you've got anything, and alt tech needs to actually make their own stuff, and there are a few that do it, but
Lydia, you only needed Come On Man?
I needed man.
You needed man.
say
So
come on, man?
Elizabeth Carmela says one more time, just in case Lydia did win. He said, "Come on, man!" Right after he talks about securing the border. Rewind and see.
Oh, we were laughing.
Yes.
I believe that's Lydia
Can
would have
someone?
won.
Is there a clip we can pull up somewhere
Did he
to
say
verify?
Trump?
Did
he say
Nancy
Trump
Pelosi
at all?
trip
So
before
funny.
The
that?
stakes are high.
They are indeed. I will get a beer if this.
Well,
is
we're
true.
gonna assume she's being honest.
stakes are
and just
high. Very
everybody
expensive
drank
under
and man
Biden.
is there.
Indeed, yes.
wait, what are we drinking at? I'm so
Man.
gone.
He said, "Come on, man," according to a super chat.
He said, I knew it. I'm like, he had to have said man once.
Yeah, even human. Does that count?
I still,
Man.
So I think if we're going on the truest sense of things, Lydia wins because we did the Nancy Pelosi tripping.
I wonder if Nancy
Oh, so
tripped
now you're
before he
revoking
said,
that.
"Come
You're
on."
just
now.
like Biden.
You just want to get me
Now
drunk,
that
Tim.
we're
No,
halfway through the game,
Seamus,
you're
it's
changing
like,
your
it's
position.
like the American
Okay.
League and the National League. Like there's certain rules in the American League and certain rules in the National
And the
League.
National League is always better.
Whoever helps
Because
you
the
sleep
pitches-
at night, man.
debate
Pitchers
team
hit.
here. I'm going to add one more.
What's
Did he
that?
say LGBT or LGBTQS?
He did say QS. He did.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
he-
that's
did.
newspeak.
that is
That's
newspeak.
newspeak.
And then
That
I
is
win.
Newspeak, yeah.
I win.
He said LGBTQS or
Yes.
plus.
No, but what did
He
he
had a
curse?
plus in there.
You're saying hell is cursing?
Yeah.
Well, then I win too.
He's the president.
Wait, hold
He's
on.
the president. of the
Everybody
United
wins. This
States.
feels like
Did
a
he
trophy.
get mad at a
Right.
fake Republican or say the word Trump? Because then I
I
win
don't
twice.
He did not say the word
He-
Trump.
he
At least I
didn't-
didn't hear it.
He didn't
Wait, no,
demonize
where's
half
10
the
seconds of
country like
silence?
Democrats always.
Well-
that's
He
always
did
their big
before.
fail.
Wasn't that nice
It
of
was
him?
He
five.
publicized
Very
the
nice.
talking
That's
points.
like a moment of silence.
Yeah. Okay.
There wasn't
Wasn't
one.
quite
Yeah.
So we don't win.
Okay.
Come on.
Keean and I have the same cards.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, that's brutal. It's hard.
I'm
So,
so
what are you gonna do?
close.
Flip a coin? Roll a 100-sided die?
No,
to see
no, no,
who
there
wins?
was-
No, we're not going to count the 10 seconds of silence.
That's a
I
It was
needed,
like 5
I
seconds.
needed inappropriate contact. Shaking Nancy Pelosi's hand.
very
I petition the
inappropriate.
courts.
That's
No one
gross.
should do it.
No one
no
should
one
do
should
it.
ever do it.
Not on TV. Good God.
And
Did we
hugging.
have misinformation? Did we?
He didn't say the word.
You said.
Okay.
It was to say
it's
the
in
word.
quotes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I thought he told a fake story, to be honest.
I could
But the problem
pinpoint
is
it.
like
We
can't-
have to verify
yeah.
that later. So we're going to come back with our bingo cards after we
Right.
get a nice thorough fact
Early in the
checking on
morning.
Joe Biden.
Take a drink. If
We're
he
going to
did.
determine if someone else won.
Just kidding.
our democracy. He didn't say that.
Honestly, we crossed a lot of these out. A lot of these.
Many such.
I have. Hold
cases.
on. 1, 2, 3.
He didn't play the race card.
Yeah,
He
that was.
didn't?
Yeah.
I
Didn't
think
mention
that's
He
January
turned
6th.
into Trump. He didn't do
That's
any
true,
of
that's
that.
right.
I
We're
mean,
close
out of
to it when
out of
talking about voting
25,
rights,
I
but-
have 11 that aren't checked. So more, yeah.
He did not get pulled off
Yeah, I
early.
got
I was
12
very
that weren't
impressed.
checked.
He held up really well.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we were so what we
12
were
online,
doing is
actually.
we were trying to put fun ones in as well. But if we were trying to guess exactly things he would say, he would be very predictable, I think.
I'm actually embarrassed.
I would not
didn't
have
think
thought he
to
was
write
gonna talk
look
about
on
the
there.
border.
He says
No,
Look,
those were
man.
unpredictable, but his general language, like most of it, and then there were those spicy bits where you're like, "Whoa, where
Curing
did
cancer.
that come from?"
I mean, he said he was gonna. Did he say he was gonna cure that we're gonna cure cancer? Did he actually say that?
They're starting an initiative to cure cancer.
The thing about cancer is the cancer treatment is an industry, so there's a lot of resistance
luck
to
with
stopping
that.
it from happening,
And on
it
top-
is a lot of it's dietary.
On top of that, he did that like he started talking about that right after talking about inflation. But like inflation hurts people needing to be treated by cancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like medical inflation is actually a thing, and it's a problem, especially in the United States where you guys don't have free healthcare. And I'm not saying free healthcare is good because it's actually awful, but
What do you think about like
well, here's the thing,
a
but no,
hybrid
hold
system?
on. Biden actually has a solution to medical inflation, which is to lower healthcare costs.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
you should
He
do
solved
that.
course,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should
So
So
he'll do
we're
that
good.
too.
I just realized too. There's some I mean, there's some good stuff going on here. It's not just about Biden. Him embracing border security means those of us who, for instance, Lauren, you want to do a documentary on migration or borders, they're not going to ban you anymore.
Yeah. Well,
I
Because
don't
now-
know about
now-
that, man.
No, hold on.
I don't know if they're that consistent.
There's still, of course, there's risks. I'm not saying it's absolute. I'm saying they moved back a little bit because now, well, Biden said we have to do it.
It's
And we
possible.
really do, or
This,
should.
this is a little pedantic, but I actually think this is an important distinction. He's not embracing border security. He's embracing the talking point of border security. He's not going to
guys, no. Obama put some of the best border policies in place, and people don't realize this because
But Biden didn't for the first year and a half.
He was his vice president. They did
No,
it.
I'm saying as president, Biden has it.
Sure, absolutely. And it's been a lot of their language. A lot of migrants have thought, "Oh, Biden's in power," and in his election, he said all these things.
Let
were
me
gonna
in,
be
Joe.
let in. But you know, the Southern Border Program that Obama put in, like 2013, 2014, that reduced like South American migrants from coming to America by 70%. They were getting caught by Mexican police. So they kind of outsourced it where they made the Mexican police do it and the Mexican border security, but it was very successful. The
But
programs.
Obama was the deporter in chief.
Yeah.
That's
what they say, but didn't they actually change-
Jorge who's
Ventura?
But all right, to be fair though, didn't they change the metrics for deportation under Obama's presidency? It used to be that if you sent somebody back and then under Biden or under Obama's administration, it was changed to stopping someone at the border and sending them back.
People
counting as a
say that, but
deportation.
I've never really, I don't know. I've heard that, but I haven't seen evidence that
Okay.
proved that was a significant factor. Like, I think it's more so they actually genuinely believe that the border was an important factor, but they couldn't tell their base that. So
Interesting.
they just made it so that, okay, Mexico, we're going to give you money and resources. They literally set up like checkpoints across the Guatemalan border, like Obama did this, to look for South Americans coming across. But, you know, no one cares about foreign news. So they're like, Obama loves
It's
migrants.
true.
So we
Canadians,
we
they
have
love foreign news.
the State of the Union response from Governor Kim Reynolds, but it's only like 10 minutes long. Is it
Cool, wanna play
did
some?
Did it end or?
Ultimately, for yourselves, by that most important
That's like a script. She's reading a
blessed
script.
United States.
That's the
She's
problem.
talking
Yeah.
She's
to
reading
me
a
like
script.
It's only
my
it's only
mom.
like
What if someone talked to you in that tone in
I
real life?
listened
That's what
to
Trump
the
did when he got
governor
elected. I was so
say,
disappointed.
As a mom,
he went on
As
script.
a mom, I literally said she's talking to me like a
worried
mom,
our
and then she
country
started
is on
her.
the wrong track. We're now 1 year into his presidency, and instead of moving America forward, it feels like President Biden and his party have sent
did
us
we
back
pick
in
this
time.
lady?
If we talked like
to
this
the
on
late
IRL.
70s
Does
and
each
early
governor have
80s,
like a
I do
response?
when
No,
runaway
it's just the
and
GOP response.
clamoring for
Let it
I
out.
think I might win.
Why?
There's a Biden inappropriate touching moment.
No,
no.
Absolutely.
Hold
Okay,
on.
Tim, I'll let you
I'll-
be the judge. Look at that.
Hold on.
Who did he inappropriately
Oh
touch?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Who is that woman?
My guess
So
is.
I'm going to send you that.
Am
tweet
I the
by
only
DM
one who didn't
right
my
win
guess
here?
is either
Oh,
nose,
hey, hey,
interior,
I
or
win, I
hand on
win.
lower back.
Hold on.
No.
I win too. Yeah.
Okay.
Whispers, starts late, trips man, and uses fake
Wait,
word.
if we count whispers, then I
Okay, wait,
got
we're
it.
gonna we're gonna
Oh, yeah,
bring this
whispers.
up on
Too.
screen.
I win as well.
Bingo, baby.
Wow, we're drinking while
Lauren,
we're playing
you have to tweet
bingo.
it.
Okay, send. I just
You
sent it to
tweet it? No, you can't send it to me because I don't have access.
We're not
on this
logged in.
computer.
Yeah, we don't have
Inappropriate.
logged in.
Okay,
You gotta
I'll
tweet it
retweet
yourself.
it. All right, fine.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
was it?
Lauren, please.
Oh, no.
Retweet that.
I'm too drunk to figure this
There's
out.
You got it,
definitely
Lauren.
Get Lauren another beer.
we
Yes,
definitely
No,
have.
How do I open my notifications? Okay, I found it.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Okay, I
feeling.
retweeted it.
Drink some water, lady.
All right. I believe it's fair to say we have inappropriate contact.
Oh my.
Yes.
There we
Oh,
go.
that sounds so bad. Holy hell.
Wow.
Hey, it's a game, like in Minecraft.
Whoa. Who is that poor woman?
Oh, cool.
Why does he do this?
Forehead to forehead.
He's
That's the
making
third eye.
contact with her forehead.
Yikes.
But the thing is, like, it is the most bizarre, inappropriate contact you ever see. That's not like the typical weird chauvinistic thing to do.
where
He's
you,
like,
grab
everybody
their
drinks.
arm
pressing
or-
his
Hey,
forehead.
Seamus, do you want
I
to
would
touch
like to drink
foreheads?
acid.
It's
No,
so weird.
It's so weird. Stay
like
away from
Coneheads.
me.
I'll drink to that.
It's like
Cohen.
Okay, so we
thing
all
is,
won.
he's
We
intimating-
all won because we bent the rules a little
That's
bit to
right.
make sure we
Just a
won.
skosh.
That's not bending the rules. This is a
That's
certified
right.
W.
I like
I'm-
that
I'm
the
saying
State
for,
of the
like-
Union ended. Nobody won, and then we just drink more.
We just drink until everybody wins. Yeah.
Well,
I crossed them all up. I
curses.
still feel
like
like I
this.
lost. What
Yeah.
the hell's
because,
happening?
because they censored a word, I think that's a fair assessment of what constitutes a curse.
Yeah. Since it was censored.
The White House
Yeah.
actually censored a word he said.
Yeah.
And it was on YouTube, and they're typing in real time. So I thought that was fair.
Did he say
So-
our democracy?
No.
did not.
So let me read you off mine. We have only Democrats clap. That happened a lot. So inappropriate contact, which we've shown on the screen, plagiarize like the entirety of his speech, whispers, and curses.
Yep.
Well, there it is.
So yeah, I have whispers. Starts
There's one.
late.
There's one beer left.
Trips.
Oh, no, that's Seamus got
man
him.
and uses fake word. I've also won, dude. I can't believe we literally all won at bingo. Except, did you win? Who didn't win?
I don't want to talk about the fact that I didn't actually win. I
Oh,
just
wow.
got a lot of
That's
circles.
humiliating.
That's
Oh, you didn't win.
Technically not.
It's a different kind of
But you know
winning.
what? I got like it all across. But if he just didn't mention January 6th or insurrection, and that messed me up.
Oh,
That was interesting. That's
Yeah.
kind of when I say it could have been a lot worse.
What
that
is
was
this
the kind of
giving
stuff. I'm glad he
away?
didn't fan the flames.
Yeah.
At least he
Yeah.
was
True.
like giving false platitudes.
Even though you would have gotten more drinks.
Yeah.
Would've got more
exactly.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
You're
11.
hoping for him to to do something wrong. so you can
Destroy
drink
America
more.
so you can have another
Thirsty
shot.
Joe.
Have another shot.
I'm thirsty. Yeah, like people were saying, you're not even drinking. It's like, that's a good point. Lauren was drinking the whole time,
Yeah.
regardless of whether Biden did anything wrong.
I was drinking
and
Diet
we
Coke.
weren't when he was doing things
Yeah.
wrong.
We're just talking about it.
I played.
Yeah,
by
this
the
is
rules.
unfair. This is a setup.
Yeah. It's true.
It was your idea.
Wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, no,
Or it
we
was,
did- we
whose idea
forced
was it?
you.
Was it your idea?
It was
Keean?
an
The bingo, yeah.
amalgamation.
But
Keean's
Whose
idea.
operation was this?
Like I was like, we're going to have a very boring stream tonight, and then Lauren was like, no, Keean says
no,
we're gonna
that's
get
not
drunk.
happening.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
But
relaxing.
the highlight of my night was I rolled a 100.
He did.
That was
What did
very
you-
So, like,
what
was
is
it
rolled
hanging
that,
out
on?
or
with
did
me?
God roll that through your
Was it
body?
hanging out
Someone
with me, Tim?
super chatted said that it was like I can absorb all of the sorcerer's powers to cast any spell I want or something.
I'm
like
here,
that.
bro. Feed off my passive energy.
Who says you're the sorcerer?
Well, I'm like half sorcerer, half wizard.
Stop being a sorcerer.
I'm more
Cut it
wizard
out.
than sorcerer, but I got them both.
You don't have to do either.
I cast magic with my charisma,
Stop
which
it.
is the sorcery.
Stop it.
Then I cast it with
Don't
my
do it anymore.
understanding, which is the wizardry. And then when you combine those two, you create like a hybrid class of magic casting that's kind of cool. Like you can do it on stage really fast.
All right, here's a good super chat. Rilo Shigaraki says the best part about the show is all the different views. So bias is impossible, and thank God for Ian saying the most won't tons saying the most
Wanton?
tons of love from Canada. The most won't.
Love that dude.
Another
Canada.
Canadian commenting on American politics.
Great. Stop it. Get out.
Yeah, it's like we Ian's like the wild card.
I truly believe magic is real. They call it comes from magnetics, that whole magos.
Right on cue.
And it's like there's iron in your red blood cells, so like we're these
Seamus
magnetic
is losing
beings.
it.
And then what is
That was teed up.
yeah? If you
Yeah,
didn't know what
seriously.
if you didn't know what magnetics
goes-
were, and you saw someone
he
pulling a
goes,
magnet towards you, think it was
hold on.
magic.
He goes, Ian is our wild card. I fully believe magic.
That was glorious.
Not even joking.
That was
Call it
great.
what you want, though. I'm
Didn't
down to
miss a
debate what it
beat.
is.
Did
How
not
you want
miss
to
a
define it.
beat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
It's good
dude.
stuff.
When you see the human dynamo, I mean, you know it's there.
Well, I was just in a
Dynamo.
magnet
Wait,
chamber
wait,
earlier
wait,
today,
wait.
and I
Patrick-
didn't get sucked in. So.
Patrick says Biden did say our democracy at the very end while you were all talking.
Wait, oh, come on.
What?
He's just goading me.
Yeah, is this for real?
Yeah,
Let's
he
find.
Did. I
Let's
remember it.
see if we
I
can
crossed
confirm it
off.
independently. Did
Yeah.
you?
He did say
I
it?
did. Yeah,
But
I
let's. Do
crossed
we
it
have a
off.
more
What?
reliable? Do
Yeah.
we have a more reliable source than Lydia?
Oh, okay. You cannot find a more reliable.
Then I
source
won
than
again.
Lydia.
Well, then I can't trust anyone.
I know,
Let's keep
right?
winning. What do you say? Our democracy.
I want to give a shout out to our friends again over at Old 690 Brewing Company.
I won
Your
twice.
beer is awesome.
They can
guys.
get you so drunk, Biden makes sense.
I know. It's a great
That's a-
selling
hold
point.
on.
That's a great. Here you go.
If
Well,
he
so
says-
they're in like mountainous Virginia area, pretty close to where we're at. So I don't know what the politics of that brewery is, but I don't think they're going to be like urban liberal types. You know?
Alcohol holds no
I
political
won
affiliation.
twice. I won.
I won twice as well. Don't you wiggle your card in my face?
Wait,
Look at that.
Wiggle your
Where did
card
we
at
get,
him.
where did we get the
Mine's
second
better.
one?
I got a
So plagiarize our democracy free, congratulate self, and racist by accident.
he was racist by accident? When was that?
So what we concluded was...
Oh, the Ukrainians.
But not racist towards Ukrainians.
I feel like we're retconning his
He was
speech.
dog whistling to white supremacists.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Dog whistling.
He was dog whistling.
Oh, if we got racist by accident, then I
Especially
won
because,
again.
dude, there are literal Nazis fighting on the Ukrainian side. Isn't that a whole huge story?
It's like they have an iron will, man.
Should be.
I want to
Hearts and
talk
minds.
just a little bit about Canada, about those Nazis fighting on the Ukrainian side.
Are we gonna bring it, Christina?
Yeah, right?
Christia Freeland. There's a photo of
Yes.
her
She's like-
marching in downtown Toronto, and this is
You
keep
need
in
to
mind
explain to the
context.
Americans who Christia Freeland is.
Christia Freeland is our deputy prime minister, so she's our Kamala Harris.
She's
Her
so
grandfather
bad.
was a Nazi.
It's true. It's literally
I'm not making this up.
It is true.
She lied to the media and
My
they had to
grandpa
fact check
thought
her.
Yeah,
about
she
that.
was actually
she's
fact checked.
she's the lady who said we need to make these powers permanent.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Financial.
Who-
Yeah.
Who's like tweaking out and
And
everything.
runs
Yeah.
around.
Oddly
Yeah.
enough, I was sitting on a plane, literally right next to her. I got a selfie with her. I tweeted about it. So everyone
You
should
took a
go to-
selfie with her?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. I saw
she
that.
was upset about it.
That was amazing.
She didn't know who I was at the time, but I took a selfie and published it and then interviewed her
great.
afterwards.
Good for you.
Anyway, she was marching in Toronto with these Ukrainians. Not real. She must have known though, right? Like the whole.
I don't think politicians know as much.
Do you
about
think-
the
yeah, do you
subjects
think
as they
politicians
pretend
are
they
that
do.
smart?
No, she
Yeah.
would have no
Oh.
idea.
Yeah, well, maybe. She was holding the scarf, right? And
Of like the
and
Azov
she reads
telling or
Ukrainian,
whatever.
like she
So
speaks.
like
it.
what was the Ukrainian message
that's
that
bad.
it
I'll pull it
translated
up
to?
here.
Yeah.
Can you guys explain what the Azov are exactly?
They're a battalion of a few thousand troops, and then a good portion of that battalion are like actually like Nazi affiliated. So like they have like swastikas tattooed all over them and everything. And a lot of people looking at it don't understand that there is, when Putin says we want to denazify Ukraine, there is this like back and forth of like, you know, Russia has that Soviet history that, you know, defeated the Nazis. They were the ones that went in to at the very end, right? And then there are Ukrainians that are against Russia, but also like we are white. They're Asian. They're Eurasian.
Oh, yeah.
They're not white like us.
I just retweeted
There
the
is
tweet
that
if you
like
wanted to-
identity collision that happens there, but we don't understand any of that. We just are like Putin's lying, or there is the exaggeration that like all Ukrainians are Nazis. It's yeah, but there are people within those groups that do believe that on both sides.
So that scarf right there, that's the Bandera movement.
This one right here,
Yeah.
the red and black.
Yeah, and Christia Freeland is the one in the white Ukrainian dress there in the
Where?
middle.
Which one, right here?
Yeah, right there. And then so she tweeted that. She tweeted that herself.
Whoa.
And then she
Well,
Deleted
she
deleted
uses
it.
the
and-
phrasing in the actual tweet.
Did she
no?
just
She
like
deleted
See,
it?
is that
Stalin that
no.
out of the picture?
This
Yeah.
right here. Oh yeah, look, she said it. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
she literally says
Yeah,
it.
we need to look up what that message means, but I can't.
Yeah, I
'cause
have
I'm
no
too
idea
drunk.
how to look
Someone
that up.
who's more sober than me try to figure that out.
Someone who speaks or writes Cyrillic.
Jeez. I'm in the process of looking up her grandfather's name, which is not on Wikipedia. You can't see her parents' names. They give you a link to her uncle, who is like Canadian Parliament.
I'm sure he was.
All right,
You
I'm about to do something really boring that every conservative is. I'm about to point out that if we did what the left has just done here, they would lose their minds. But of
Ian.
course we wouldn't do it because it's insane. This woman, I mean, can you imagine if Trump was talking about a group of people who he was defending, among which there were some number of people you could actually fairly call Nazis, and then he was saying things like, they have an iron will,
Yeah.
they're defending
Yeah.
their homeland.
Yeah.
Ian, you got to roll the 100-sided. People are saying.
Okay, bro.
Because I rolled 100.
Here we go.
If he can
What's
do it too.
Ian's?
If he rolls
What
a
is
20, I'm gonna
Ian's
lose
power
it.
level?
He's gonna roll a 1. Okay,
29.
no, 29. All right, it's not bad.
29.
Nice prime number.
All right, here you go. Here's yours.
Nope.
Everyone's gonna
Nope.
roll the
Nope.
100.
The Danes are gonna defeat
What am I
the
doing this
Irish
for?
right now. You just roll
Why
it.
is
Roll it.
First of all,
roll
the
it.
Americans are going to defeat the Canadians.
That's right. Correct. That is so loud.
You know,
Yeah, I
calm
know.
down, Lydia.
That's loud.
That's
That's so
funny.
heavy.
Seamus hid it from you, too.
Seamus,
no.
you rolled
Keean,
it.
what did I get?
22.
Tim, you're never going to
What
All
did
right,
Seamus
Seamus,
get?
Seamus got
It's so astounding that you'll never see it.
55.
Nice, dude. Double number.
Yeah, not bad.
Unbelievable.
I want Lydia
How's
to
it feel,
roll.
Canada?
Yeah, I can roll.
Lydia, do you want to roll the rainbow one or the
How's
blue
it,
one?
how's it feel, Maple Leaf flag?
I just rolled a
you know what?
99.
Feels bad.
No way.
Dude,
Swear to
what
God.
is up?
No way.
I swear to God, I just rolled it to get it out of the monitor, and it rolled 99.
I love 99. It's my favorite number of the first
Roll
100.
again.
Crazy.
See if you
No,
get
now I don't
98.
want to.
So
No, you don't want to. You're
this
gonna
is
mess it up.
the grandfather's name. This girl's grandfather's name is Michael Chomiak.
Chomiak.
I don't know if you guys
so
are familiar
this is
with it.
Christia Freeland's grandfather?
Yeah, he volunteered to serve in the German invasion of Poland.
98.
This is from Wikispooks.com. I don't know if it's
What is
real.
Wiki Spooks?
I don't know.
That's
I've
Just
never
like
heard
where
of it.
we
Simple.
monitor
Government.
alphabet agencies?
Yes,
Like-
yes.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
Wiki
Chomiak.
spoofs.
Ottawa. There's not a lot on the internet about it, and I don't know if he served in the Nazi Party or if he was just a German soldier.
There was a confirmation from mainstream media, so it must be true that what site was it that actually confronted her?
I think it was actually American media, and that's how
Was
it
it?
always is in Canada. We rely on American media to actually cover our own
sorry.
stuff. Like it was Time that published the Trudeau blackface stuff.
Wow.
It was American outlets that published convoy content before anyone, like that was back when the CBC was saying that the convoy was about like it was protesting icy roads in Canada.
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
if the convoy is there, then it's small, and if it's not small, then they're racists, and if there are actually a lot of racists, well, then we need to shut them down. They just keep.
There was an icy roads protest. It was like 7 trucks.
Yeah.
And then I that was really crazy because it's a weird timing for truckers to have an icy roads protest.
Reading about the Deputy Prime Minister's grandfather, Michael Chomiak, or however you pronounce it, it says that he's affiliated with the Nazis. I think that what happened was he wasn't in the party, from what I can tell, but he was working with the German
military. He really
military.
wanted to be with them and volunteer.
Yeah, he was working with them. Like you were kind of forced to if you're in the German military.
Well,
Unfortunately,
here's the thing. Like objectively, I would not judge someone if they had a grandparent. And it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. I don't care what your grandparents did. I don't care what your parents did. I don't even care for a lot of the time what you did in your past. It's like what you're doing now. But that's obviously not the standard they hold people to.
I hope they start to, because it's super important.
That would be very nice.
I think of that like when they're like, if someone killed someone like 20, 30 years ago and they're like, and then they come out today, are they still a murderer? We have this discussion from time to time. Like, at what point do you say they're no longer considered what
no,
they
but
did?
they would always be a murderer.
So I'm not the first person to make this point, right? But the reality is there are people who are more willing to believe a murderer could be rehabilitated than someone who tweeted something racist in the past could not be racist today.
Your beer's gonna.
No.
But let's put this into context with Freeland, right? Like her grandfather was at the bare minimum a Nazi sympathizer, and then she marches in a parade holding a flag, holding a scarf that supports the Nazi ideology, and she treats her political opponents, who are in the thousands in Ottawa, working class Sikh Canadians,
Indigenous Canadians, white Canadians,
who
doesn't
are on
matter.
the other side of a city to a Nazi flag that photographs exist of it, but nobody really saw it with their own eyes. She doesn't get to talk about who is and who isn't Nazi when she marches with Nazi memorabilia, and maybe you can set her paternal grandfather.
But she wouldn't.
Maternal.
She wouldn't.
Maternal.
She can talk about herself.
She wouldn't lend you that forgiveness.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's gotten late.
Ooh.
And I think it's time to wrap things up. Everyone's going to have a nice pint of water,
Yes.
and some electrolytes.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Maybe
Yes.
some vitamins before bed.
Got the
Coconut
electrolytes,
water?
plants
We'll
great.
we'll call in the special IV treatment therapies for everyone to remain hydrated.
Vitamin drip.
Get a vitamin drip.
Got
and
that drip.
some nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide.
Get healthy. Heal those telomeres.
So partially say this as we wrap up, just to follow up, because we mentioned this early on in the show about the swatting. I have posted a partially redacted photograph from our surveillance cameras showing an officer with a short-barreled AR-15 approaching my personal house, which is separate from the studio because I was swatted. We were swatted here, and police show up. We've again instructed them to show up every time and take it seriously every time, because the concern we have is someone's going to call it in. The police will show up. Then once the police leave, then the psychopath shows up, and the police are like, "Oh, we just responded." So we're like, "No, no matter what it is." And we also have armed guards. So there are some concerns about security in terms of like my house, because there's other people who actually live there, and so this could have been really, really bad. But everything's fine. And I posted the photo because it's legit, and I want to make sure that everybody understands. Like when we say this stuff, we're not making it up, and it's really happening. And this is is it the fifth? I think it's the fifth time, because the other day was yesterday was the third, I believe. Today was the fourth and the fifth we've been swatted, because I swatted 2 houses. As I mentioned before, it's now cross state lines, which makes it federal. And we have a name, which we believe is fake. It's the calls have been traced to an automated system in California. You can see the photo I posted on Instagram at Timcast. Check it out. We're taking it seriously, and I'll say it again, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about it" or whatever. I'm like, the problem is, we want to make sure everybody knows that we're taking it seriously, and I want everyone to know when I say we are currently in the process of going through criminal charges against a man who entered this property and tried to use it to publicize his congressional campaign, then put out a press release trying to make a bunch of wild claims, and is now facing, I believe it's a felony charge. And so, we had this conversation about, like, do we really want someone to face felony charges? It's not up to us. In fact, we were told by the state where I don't know exactly what they're saying, but they're like, charges are being filed, and the cop was like, you got to follow through, because if you don't, there's like a precedent being set. So considering now what's going on, you show up here, we got armed guards, we've got the police are on high alert, obviously, and you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
I want to thank the police of this town and its neighboring communities. You guys are really helping. I mean, you guys are doing really good work, and thank you for coming out here in the middle of the night sometimes. This is ridiculous, but thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Look, I'll say it. I'm not happy with them claiming exigent circumstances when they knew it was a swatting, but I can respect them saying we're going to rush out to a place where we feel there could be a serious threat to our lives.
That is scary. Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
But again, there's issues, there's challenges. Look, when they showed up and I came down and I said I would appreciate it if you would leave. They said okay, respect, and they left. I don't like that they came in, regardless. But I'm glad they're responding every single time. They're showing up. And it's a waste of their time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, should we get, other people commented too. They were like, you should get a bunch of donuts and coffees. And so when they show up, they can come in expecting.
Oh, yeah, pizza.
That's nice.
Give them some healthy foods.
Just order pizza before the show, and they show up and be like,
a
hey, all right,
12-pack of
gentlemen,
coconut
today we got pineapple.
Pineapple pizza.
And then we get arrested.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They'll be calling the SWATs in like, we get pizza when this happens.
Guys, we missed one last bingo that actually ended up being legit.
What happened?
Did we now?
I've been monitoring Twitter
That's what
for
you're
this.
trying to tell me.
I know. I'm like Lydia. There was
calling
last.
it in.
Biden did legitimately plagiarize Trump.
Of course he did.
Yeah, we got it.
Did
I
you
crossed
put that
that
down?
plagiarism.
But
Yeah.
did you get an exact quote, or was I
Did
just
he?
like?
No, it was just him saying, like, the entirety of his campaign was built.
No, but there was like an exact
There was
quote.
an exact quote.
Really?
What was it?
Plagiarism. So Trump 2018, the state of our union is strong because our people are strong, was what
That's
Trump
what-
said.
Wow.
Biden 2022 said the state of the union is strong because you, the American people, are strong. So there was one word flip there.
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right, everybody.
I think we should publish these and post them so people can play along
Yeah.
when they rewatch.
We'll post the when they rewatch.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of mine. I wrote clown feck on mine. All right, everybody. You can follow the show at Timcast IRL again. You can follow me at Timcast. Thanks so much for being a part of our crazy, fun shenanigans, the State of the Union address. Go to timcast.com and become a member if you want to help support all of the work we do. Normally we do members-only segments, but considering we did this extra long special show, we're not going to have one tonight, but we will be back tomorrow. What day is today? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Yes.
Tomorrow is going to be an amazing show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Should we? I mean,
No.
we shouldn't say
I don't
anything.
even know. I don't even know when I'm on this show.
I don't know. You're the marketing genius.
I think.
But you've had a couple
should.
drinks.
I'm
You've had a
very
couple sips of
excited.
that.
It's Majid
beer.
Nawaz.
Yes.
Nice.
What?
So I've known Majid for several years, and I interviewed him once, and then we've obviously, like, I think he's fantastic. I think he's brilliant. That guy is a smart guy.
I'm really
and
excited.
especially like when you hear him on Rogan, there were a lot of people who were like, I see your tweets, and I'm like, this seems kind of crazy. And then you hear him speak and back everything up with sources, facts, citations. And it was amazing on Joe Rogan when he was like, pull up this article, and he gives him the specific article to pull up. No, here it is. Here's the source. Like, he knows.
And he's got a new show coming up.
Oh, he does?
All right.
It's on Odyssey, I think, and
He got
starting in like a
canceled,
month
yeah.
or
Yeah,
something.
they got canceled from
Yeah.
his
Good for-
LBC broadcaster position.
So he's just going full like blockchain,
Yeah.
like done with
Good
the
for
mainstream.
him.
And but we've got some pretty awesome guests coming up for the
We
rest of the
do.
week as well. So we're gonna have a good week.
Best
So
guests.
again, follow Timcast IRL. Subscribe to timcast.com as a member to help support our work. You can follow me at Timcast. Keean, you want to shout out your social media?
Yes, please. Please follow me at The Real Keean on Twitter, and be sure to go subscribe at thecountersignal.com if you're interested in what shenanigans Justin Trudeau's getting up to that the CBC is not telling you about. Go to thecountersignal.com and sign up there.
Yeah, go sign up for Keean. Forget about me. I'm too
Thanks,
drunk.
Lauren.
Keean's
I
great.
appreciate it.
Keean's amazing.
Lauren's weird.
Keean's awesome.
Ignore her. Seamus, how are you
Lauren.
doing?
How you doing, folks? I would like to promote Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is tomorrow. It's the
Yeah.
beginning
Oh, wow.
of Lent.
That's right.
If you are Catholic, that is a holy day of obligation, just like a Sunday. You're required to go under pain of mortal sin. So please get out there, get your ashes, represent the faith, do some penance through Lent. God bless you all. Our country certainly needs penance and prayers right now. So let's get it done.
Are you going to mention your social media, Lauren?
Oh, I was about to.
I honestly, I'm now feeling horrible. Like this is God's curse on me for being drunk this night. Wednesday, I don't get to.
I
mention
didn't actually
my
think
socials.
Seamus was going to jump. I was joking. Seamus was supposed to be a gentleman. And
What? Well, I thought she was done. I'm sorry. I
Fine.
don't understand.
At Lauren_Southern on Instagram or Twitter. I don't know. I don't know my socials.
Twitter.
That's
right
it.
now.
I checked too. It's Lauren_Southern. Check
On
it out.
Twitter. Yep.
She's great.
God forgive
What's
me.
your newest movie that's coming out?
American Mirage. It'll be
Yes.
out within the next few weeks.
Do you have your last movie that you would like to point people at?
Crossfire. I made that with the guy who's making Tucker's documentaries right now.
Nice. Where's the
I'm
best?
Scooter Downey. He's such a legend. You can
did
find
he-
it on my
he did
website,
Hoax, right?
laurensouthern.net. Yeah, Scooter
Yes.
is a freaking legend. He
Yeah,
did the
wow.
Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. He did the
Send it
January
my
6th
way.
stuff with. You guys should interview Scooter. You should
Yeah,
have
there
him
you
on.
go.
yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Scooter, let's do it.
Let's do it. Follow me at IanCrossland.net. I love you guys. See you later.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in this evening. Our super awesome, cool studio. We never could have done something like this during the election, but thanks to Andy, we have this amazing new studio. And we can put all the pictures on the sides, have a really fun conversation. So thank you all.
That crazy tech genius.
Andy
I know.
Lederman legend.
I want to address one last super chat on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
Big League Drew says, Tim, if I was on a grand jury, I wouldn't indict. Also, Tim, I'm pressing charges on a non-violent offense. Let me clarify. If I was on a grand jury, I wouldn't indict because unless I witnessed the crime happening, I'm not going to give the benefit of the doubt to the state. If someone literally drives 1,000 feet up my driveway because it's an easement with multiple signs saying you are being recorded, no trespassing, you are being warned again, you're trespassing, and then literally walks in my house. Yeah, especially after we were swatted twice.
Lay off that dude. Dude, Tim's one of a group. There's a lot of people here. It's a big deal. So like, he's got to protect. He's got a job. He's got to take care of like a lot of
his
people.
employees.
We had James. It was James O'Keefe and Andy No, right?
Yeah.
And so we
Evans.
actually had. I want to get into the specifics, but a guest threatened to cancel because of what that guy did.
Correct.
When that guy came in, we that and the swatting, and so it's like.
You're doing a good
sorry,
job, man.
But
You're doing a good
more
job.
importantly, I'm not pressing any charges. That's not how it works. The state is doing it.
Right.
So as soon as someone trespassed, we had to call it in, and the cops were like, "We're doing it." That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, man, it is what it is. Don't come here unless you have permission. Do not enter the property. Like, we're taking security extremely seriously. We have high-profile guests. We have members of Congress.
Right.
And so I'm not a fan of having to live this way. It sucks. We're planning on doing a private club for members. We're going to actually build a building. And if you're a member of Timcast.com, you just walk in the front door. Like, no joke. We're literally planning that. Of course, you'd have to drive out to West Virginia, but it will be a separate property. It will be secured and away from everything. More of like, it's not a public venue, but imagine there was a public venue, except it was a private club. So it'll be like on a busy street or something, because I want people to be able. I want life to be accessible. I don't want to experience this. This is absurd. People should be able to talk to other people. Just because someone might know who I am, but you see what happens with the threats. We got to take it seriously. So that being said, thanks for hanging out. Thanks.
Hold on. I want to make a point. I'm reading, actually, I saw something in the chat. I want to double check. That is saying that Ash Wednesday is not a holy day of obligation. I would still encourage going. It's very confusing to me.
Lies.
Yeah.
Mortal sin.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, hold on. It's
Really?
information to know.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. What is Ash
but
Wednesday?
check it out. Well, it is the beginning of Lent. It's the beginning of Lent.
But not a
It's when
holy
Lent
day.
begins.
But
Yes.
you're encouraging people to take on Lent.
So it's a holy day of obligation when you were required to. I believe there's 6 days in the calendar, the liturgical calendar each year that are considered holy days
I
of
expect those
obligation.
tomorrow,
but,
Seamus.
yeah, my
Thanks,
apologies.
Seamus.
My apologies. It looks like in the current year it is
the
not.
Americans
So that
giving out
is
the
that is
fake
my
news.
I know,
mistake.
right?
That is my mistake.
Would
I
you
know.
still
I'm
encourage
sorry.
people to practice?
Absolutely, get over there.
All right,
Go above and
everybody.
beyond, baby.
We are taking off. We will see you all tomorrow with an awesome show. Imagine Nawaz will be joining us. We'll see y'all then. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.